हेलो सेंटिनल्स। हाँ स्ट्रीम कर रहा हूँ। हाँ ठीक है। अच्छा पहला मैप जीत गए। कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशन यार। ठीक है डन से डुओ करते कभी। हाँ ठीक है। बाय यार टेंस यार। ठीक है रखता हूँ। हाँ सेकंड मैच देख। ठीक है भाई साहब ऑलरेडी पहला मैच जीत गए भाई। कैसे हो ना क्या है ऑब्वियसली भाई। हाउ आर यू गाइस हु विल विन सैन। सोया नहीं तो मैं सोया लेकिन जल्दी उठा थोड़ा सा। भाई आज मेरी सबसे लंबी स्ट्रीम होने वाली है। आज वॉच पार्टी के बाद तेरा भाई करेगा रूटर सुबह को 6-7 बजे और हम करेंगे 10-11 बजे तक फिर 1 बजे फिर से आएंगे। ये मेरे साथ वो सच होने वाला है पता है। कांड की ब्रह्मांड करके पता है बैठ के। hairs are the paid actor it seems. Excuse me. हम सोए नहीं मतलब भाई क्या सोना वो ना। हाँ 1 बजे क्यों कल नहीं है क्या। ओ तेनु आज नहीं है कुछ। आज नहीं है कुछ। भाई आज ईएमआई चालू हो रहा है और ईएमआई के बाद सीधा एनए चालू हो रहा है। मतलब मेरा स्ट्रीम 8:30 बजे से लेके सीधा सुबह के 8 बजे तक होने वाला है। वाओ ड्यूड्स बंचो। क्वार्टर सिंगर है क्या शर्म करो। डॉगमा कंप्लीट तो करेंगे बे। डॉगमा गेम तो सकते है कभी वो मत पूछो और करो 3 बजे मजा तो आता है बे। कुछ भी बोलो मजा तो आता है। गेम्स देख के मजा तो आता है। आज किसने मेरा देखा रूटर देखा गेम प्ले देखा घर जाएंगा हेटर्स। लास्ट गेम लेके राफ किलरे को हार देने का बहुत मन कर रहा है। भाई एक नंबर बताओ ना कितने कैप्सूल्स बेचे हैं अभी तक। हाँ 1 मिलियन कैप्सूल्स इंटू 2400 करने का कैलकुलेट। वेंकी सो जाओ। यार कभी कभी बेचारी लगती है भाई बेचारी पॉटर पूरा 0 से फिर से स्टार्ट करना पड़ा यार उसको। जागमा बोलते भाई मैं भी ये टाइम पे जाग रहा हूं तो मैं भी जागमो हुआ। उधर ने $20 होगा। हाँ क्या
EG knows that this is going to be a difficult task for them to accomplish, but on the other side, you have been there and done that. This is a squad that looks ready for the prime
रुद्र भाई
time
काहे
of
वो
EG.
सब
On the
कर
other
रहे हो।
side, they have an opportunity here to
जीता तो
upset
दे
the
देना लेकिन
world
कैसे
ender
नहीं।
and maybe even pull off something magnificent.
Look, I don't want to oversell you, but EG they look like they're having a good time.
Crimson
When I passed
बड़ा।
them in the halls this morning,
बड़ा था।
keeping it light, smiles on their face. They're coming in. I think they're playing loose.
Yeah, they only have 2 games left in the season. Making playoffs is unlikely. I think they really need to
US
just
से
focus
तेरी
on
stream
improving,
पे
playing
बुलाया
as well
कोई?
as you can. Last week was a tragedy.
कौन बुलाया?
Way too many advantages
US
let
से तेरी
slip away.
stream पे
If those
बुलाया
same
कोई?
mistakes are happening,
कौन आ रहा है?
Sentinels is going to destroy them.
Look at them. They're still having fun up there.
I mean, we heard Kaplan talk about how Potter is just so good at anti-stratting, and we've heard about her ways of making sure
By
the team gets the
powerful
reps
players
and the
तो
team
है,
works
लेकिन
on
क्या
those
वो लोग
fundamentals. So as long as they play
10
their
को हरा
game, I'm
पाएगी?
sure it'll be close.
Yeah, and you know, Coach Kaplan in the piece beforehand had even mentioned that they're not going to come into this, you know, playing like their standard. They don't want to approach every game like that. That is the right way to do this, honestly. You can't treat every opponent like, you know, oh yeah, we're going to walk all over them. You can't do that, especially
भाई
not
अपने अपन भी
Absolutely. I mean, Sentinels have definitely learned that. They already had a loss
क्या अपना भी
this
fist
season,
bump क्या
and
बोलते
they
हो?
came back so much stronger off that one. I know that
Love
this
you 3000, love
is
you
going
3000.
to respect everyone, as we should.
बस मैं
with
किसको
VG,
support
the
कर रहा हूँ?
players
भाई
on this team, we've
किसको
seen
करेंगे
greatness
भाई?
before. It's not working
Sentinel.
yet, but it's a project and takes
Sure.
time.
Yeah, and honestly, like in terms of first map here, I think EG are going to be very happy with getting Lotus into the mix. All things considered, even though they have had losses on the map, this is a map where I think we've seen APOS lurks really shine through. Nature defensively has looked strong. I think their macro generally good as well. It's weird because I usually have positive things to say about like some of the bigger decisions EG make, but it's the mid rounds when the rounds get dirty where things do start to slip away, and that's where I want to see that improvement.
Yeah, they're certainly going to need to have to clean those points up. As you had mentioned before in that telestrator, right? Like all of those advantages that they were able to get in that crew matchup, and they gave it away so many times.
And look, Potter said it, you know, like, EG are going to be on watch when they have numbers.
Yeah.
Like, Potter's not going to let any
The
round
question
slip
is,
away.
though, is that if they do have numbers in that instance and the same situation still happen again,
Then you have the cope that it's against the best team in the world.
that's perfectly fair.
That's a decent cope.
It is a good
I
cope.
like what you're selling.
I mean, I'm going to add some more coping. I
Aye.
think AG does a great job
Aye.
at playing to win versus playing not
Okay.
to lose. Because even though they are in those situations where they're so clearly about to win the round, they still aren't
अरे
scared to
पिंकी
be
एक काम
aggressive
करना
and play the way that they
वो
normally
हॉल
play.
में
Yes,
अपना वो
it
जो
doesn't
वो है
go
ना काउच
well a lot of the
वहाँ
time.
पे लेफ्ट कॉर्नर में देख
However,
तो शायद दिमाग गिर गया रहेगा
I can still be aggressive.
I disagree with you somewhat here. On their Lotus against
Sorry.
Eagle in particular,
Sorry.
once they started losing those
Sorry,
advantages,
no.
I saw them really start to, especially on their attack side,
हमारा ना मैं
shelter
टिका
down,
लाइव
play
पे
full offsite and post, tuck in together, while
Supreme
not
Court सो रहा है
actually
ये
being set
टाइम
up
पे
to trade each other. I want
Supreme
to actually
Court.
see more of that proactivity, more of them
Bad
not
लंबी
necessarily
stream है, आज
taking
लंबी stream
risks,
है।
but not
मैं इसके
playing
बाद करने
scared
वाला
if
हूँ
they're going to have a close game.
Yeah, I actually
कल सोऊंगा
100% agree with you, and I think that that's
कल
why
दोपहर को
EG goes
सोऊंगा फिर
back
शाम
to
को
their
सोऊंगा फिर
fundamentals.
बाद
They
में
have a
ये नहीं है
lot
फिर रात
higher
को
of
नहीं
a
फिर रात को
chance
सुबह
winning
खत्म हो
this.
जाएगा
We don't expect really any
अपने 3 दिन
surprises
के
in
लिए
Age and
मिसिंग
Select. This has
नहीं
been
करो।
a pretty secure map. The one thing is that EG plays the Cypher here, where APOP has been great, especially on
नहीं
those
दिखा
lurks.
यार
Yeah,
कैमरा
especially like being able to use the
अच्छा
cages to help him scale up
किया
front
यार,
B in
कैमरा
particular
किया।
is something that he does
Dance
look
कर
good
रही
at. And then on defense too, it sort of changes how you have to play your way into a site as well. I think attacking teams need to do a better job of like scouting out if there's any early aggressive
यार
cameras.
देखो जितने भी सिंगल हो गए जला रहे तुमको ठीक है मेरे को मत
Yeah, I
बोलो
want to highlight on the other side the Sentinel, who is Zelsis. He had a great match last week.
There's 5 of them.
Yeah.
सो जा
The one guy who's the
Good luck.
Sentinel
Yeah,
player
okay.
on Sentinel
Sentinel squared.
Ooh, he was great. They were doing an excellent job at
La,
taking
la,
aim and
la,
control on their
maro,
defensive
maro,
side
excuse me.
and constantly pressing MIBR to feel forced into these late
ये
games
मेरे को लगा
where they were getting
ये मेरे को
destroyed
लगा
by John and
इसका
Zelsis.
डब्बा है।
And where I get concerned for EG is that, you know, they were able to do that against MIBR, a team that we do hold in
टक्कर लगाओ
pretty, you know, we're
अरे
optimistic
यार
about
हाथ
holding
में
some
I
decent
think they're in
regard.
a similar position to EG.
Task
That's
के भी
what
वो
I'm
लगाना
saying. Yeah, so that's why I feel like I'm a little worried about EG in this particular instance because of
क्या
exactly as
scene?
you had mentioned.
I mean, the one thing that I really do like about the Cypher is being able to set up all your Utah on one site and also still being able to rotate away. And I feel like they can try to do so many more fake outs that versus Sentinel.
And look, this is all fine and dandy, but we need to
Oh,
see the
Thanos!
beast release. We need to
एक
get
subscriber
Jocko
बढ़ा,
back in the server and show up for Evil Genius.
And if he does that, who
Real
knows
bana.
what's possible? They want a world champion off
Look
the plays that he
at-
was making. Let's see what ends up happening here. We're ready for map 1. Just go ahead and send it over to your casters who have never,
we are close to
ever been
300
wrong
के
about prediction
ट्रेंड वन क्या
ever.
रे कोई
It's Brennan Sideshow.
चलो 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 गो करो भाई भाई आज एनर्जी आई है मस्त
And
नहा
there's been a
धो
lot
के
of
आया
trash
हूँ मैं
talk, you know, swirling and circling around this match
सेक्सी
here, John.
स्ट्रैट
I like
चाहिए
it. I
मेरे
mean,
को
Potter as
सेक्सी
well talking, you know,
ए
all
से
that
जाके
smack
बी
back
से
there.
जाके सी से रिटर्न
Never
आके
lost
ए
to
जाके
RG,
बी
never
जाके
lost
सी
to
प्लांट
Kaplan,
लेट्स
not
गो
gonna start now as a coach. as a code.
I'll tell you what, I was taking a look. I don't want to leak anything, but I was taking a look at the lobby
Language
chat
surveys.
between these two teams.
Okay.
And Derek did say to the Sentinels players, I'll use the Sen Classic for 5 gifted.
Oh, okay.
So, listen, when we jump in, I'm going to need a little Derek check here to see what weapon he's using to open things up.
What is he using? He's going to go to him. He's going to be buying the ghost or
बस
something.
मैं इन्वेस्ट करते हो क्या इन्वेस्ट करता था अभी सब निकाल के नंगा होने वाला हूं मैं बहुत
He's got a
जल्द
knife out. Is this Derek?
लेके
Is this a Sen Classic?
Find you.
5 gifted.
YouTube community post Insta Twitter सब जगह
I mean, he's being squeezed here, isolated on an island early on. He's been actually
भाई घुस के नहीं मारा रे उसको लेकिन
respite as EG
हल्का
reacts
सा
now into
रेस्पेक्ट
the
दे
A
दिया
side.
उसको पेट
There's a
को
fast play from the rest of the Sentinels here, making sure the Snakebite goes out flying here for John QT to delay.
अटक गए ना
Celsius taking a little bit of space up towards front B.
Again,
He's going
huh?
to be in a position to hear anybody that would be running, pathing back towards C. So
भाई
Celsius
कोई
is gonna be
दरवाजे पे
getting
नॉक
nice
कर रहा है
in front
दरवाजा खोलो
and can tell the rest of his team to force stack A.
There's a lot of noise being made. Holding for the paranoia.
भाई क्या एक और बार
All the angles watched for.
20 बार दरवाजा खुला है
Second prowler now going to be used with the smoke. Propped up Zekken. Absolutely decimates nature. Good night. Nade rebounding. Now Apov did find that kill into the front section of B main.
B
Allows
जाने
them to
वाले।
pivot into the B side if they so wish. Only have to really contest and tangle with one more player. That's up in heaven. That's going to be Sassy.
30 seconds.
He's going to be feeling that heat now with a satchel through. Breakneck
क्या हो रहा है
pace.
भाई?
Be able to get that plan
आराम से झक घुमा
Both fades using the C's.
एक बंदा इधर बस भाई
Sentinels have
परफेक्ट
enough
खेल रहा है
utility
जी
to get back through this area that Derek's watching.
Risky angle to be taking out fight at. So
The Sen
wait,
Classic,
wait.
it won't betray its master.
it really won't. It truly will not. But how do they clear Superman? He's tugged onto that 90-degree angle. But wants to
Guard.
take the fight to them anyway with the right clicks. Okay, why not? Straight forward, John QT. Eventually going down
ओह
here.
1v1
Netflix doing
Standing.
एपॉट
working
निकालेगा
for one
एपॉट
versus
निकालेगा
one
ब्रो
Sassy.
एपॉट निकालेगा ये रहा छुपा
Just the confirmation that
छुपा नहीं
Sassy
लगा
now actually sticking and missing onto the cam. Sassy!
God, bे।
Don't know how to get it all the way. That's EG.
भाई बाप खेला
Taking the first
इजी
pistol round here in our series.
Great round from Apov. What a
Baap
start for
khela.
EG there. I was highlighting the fact that Celsius had got himself into a good macro position. And
अच्छा खेला ना?
Apov works his way
अच्छा
up
खेला
B
फिर।
while the rest of the team is doing
ये
this
shot क्या
kind of
crazy मेरे
forced
जैसा
play.
था भाई
And this is the kill here that turns the round for EG. Yes, it's a 4v4, but because Sen had gone for such a stack on A, it gave them access to the B site and allowed them to complete this post.
भाई क्या
And actually, the
मारते
way that
हुए
Sen are
दोनों टीम
defending B was one of the biggest changes that I noticed between their Lotus
जीतेगा इजी
previously.
जीतेगा
when
क्या
Kaplan
पता
was saying
है
it was
एक पिलोट
predictable on
कद्दू
defense. And what they were doing now. Now, of course, they were also doing a lot of these mound contests on defense. It's something we pointed out the last time we were casting the Sen game is that they weren't really coming up against a team that was using that more meta omen smoke that you'll see the attackers throw kind of to the left of this first choke point that Jorg's at.
भाई
Something
क्या
smells up here for
sexy
EG.
poses है
Yeah,
बे
for sure.
They've sniffed it out.
They're just slowly making their way in towards A here. It doesn't look like there's too much danger.
Celsius using the wall to reposition. Goes up. Close. Weaving in and out. He's got himself
दरवाजा
one, but
बंद
surely
है।
not any more than that. It's not going to be cleaned up though. He's really still staying alive, and they haven't cleaned him up. Eventually though, through the box,
God.
damage being done with the guns, and Superman making
भाई
sure that he
अच्छा खेल
contains
रहा है यार
that
इजी
flank.
क्या हो गया आज
Nice cleanup.
भाई
A few confidence kills for Jorg
अच्छा
as
खेल रहे हैं
well.
ना?
I would absolutely agree
Just
with
what
this.
I'll be
Has
with you,
got to be
full
the
watch
X
party,
factor
that's
for
it.
EG. Of course
Let's
he
kill
does.
it,
He's
yaar.
the player that they retained from that championship winning roster. And it's not like Jorg was just some
भाई
supportive
सेकंड राउंड
element.
है अबे लेकिन
Like
वो
somebody
दिखता है
getting
ना
carried
फंडामेंटल
throughout
दिखता है
that
क्या
chance
प्लान है
run.
वो
It's the tip of
दिखता
the
है
spear.
लास्ट
He
टाइम
was
जो
going in
इजी
there
खेल रहा था
on
बहुत
a
लॉस्ट
lot of
था
the maps,
मतलब
especially all the
पहले
ones
राउंड
where
से
he was
दिखता
playing
तो है
Raze, and Demon 1 ended up being on smokes, and he was opening things up for that team.
बाय राउंड आने दे
He was on fire in their big
मेरे
games,
हिसाब से
and it
EG
has
अच्छा
been
खेलेगा
a slump recently for Jorg. Not over a long period of time, nothing
सेन
that
को
you
हरा
can't
भी
shake
देगा
off,
शायद अगर ऐसा
but
खेला
just
तो
something you don't want to make a pattern of, for sure.
Just the recent appearances. But for now,
EG
all
को
those
खुद
early
समझ नहीं आया
kills
कैसे जिधर
going his
इतना
way. One
बेशरम
away
हुआ
now
है
from the showstopper. Big ultimate to get online.
गेम
Gets
का
the
आवाज
perfect
बढ़ाओ
beginning. This is John QT seeking to punish it. Look at this. Off the orb tap.
Oh,
Just off that noise. Sending a few stray bullets out along with a snake bite.
There's a little bit of damage done there. Zelsis is now getting into the
भाई कितना
smoke.
रिस्की था रे.
Off the mark though. That's the second snake bite now going to be used. The paranoia will clear John QT out of there. Respect this one. Tree control going to be lost for them. Now the showstopper. Oh, he's missing that.
Did he not see
Potentially an
Zelsis?
easy kill onto Zelsis, but he
भाई,
is going to be
उसको मारा लेकिन
down on top.
डेरिक
Still
ने कैसे
holding
तो
until the end of the fuse. Rebounding. John QT will fall.
उसको पिंग किया है मेरे हिसाब से उसको पिंग किया क्या कि वहाँ पे
He's only just rotating his way over towards the site.
This is a phenomenal opening for EG, but another fight
किधर गए?
that they cannot afford to lose. Lighter weapons, but they have
Down
to
और
convert
increase
rounds
करो.
like this.
The advantage is they've been letting slip. Jorgamo,
Hello.
low on HP, might choose to take a timing right through this smoke. Second with the nade. Clearing out through, but right from behind, it's Jorgamo who strikes. Forward second, overwhelmed from every possible position there. So 3 in a row now for EG. Very, very strong position. And start for them. I mean, converting the bonus round.
अभी ये मत बोलना 3 ही राउंड हुए करके.
Yeah, that's an
ये
excellent
मत
beginning.
बोलना.
Loading all of those kills early onto Jorgamo, you see what difference it makes. Yes, I mean, he
EG
does
इसलिए जीत
catch
रहा
a
है.
glimpse. At least if Jorg wasn't paying
बेशरम है
attention, that will have come
दर्शन.
up on radar.
Enemy remaining.
You know, influence the
अच्छा
fact that
खेल रहा है.
Zelsis ended up going down. On top of that, Jorg also gets the kill. Kaplan's not happy about it.
भाई टिल्टिंग मैच होने वाला लग रहा है.
Sen found it difficult to wake up
ऑर्डर जोड़ता है.
a couple of games ago,
Yeah, and
playing the Lotus game against Leviathan.
it felt like in the MIBR match that fire
Every
was
match
reignited.
ऐसा
The
improvement
team
दिखता
definitely
रहता
wanted to
है.
win.
But to be honest with you, I feel like they've been playing fairly well so far in this game. It's only 3 rounds in. But the way that they played there on the bonus, they still had a lot of good ideas. They knew to try to deny the orb from Jorg. They were spamming it. They didn't get the kill.
What a critical punish.
It makes such a difference if this guy is on.
Door open wide. So you're going to take the fight Jay straight through B main after losing control of this one. Apoff cleaning up. Straggler that is tens. And yeah, it does make, I mean, massive
Guys.
difference to Jorgamo just playing lights out. A
Eco है,
championship
ठीक है,
form that we
ठीक है.
know
Next
that,
round
you know, he's been at the peak of before. Hasn't quite delivered up to it. That, again, my mind's kind of circling back to the beginning of this. You know, Liz is doing all the interviews with Potter. And Potter was saying that it's Sentinels that are going to be feeling all the pressure.
Spike planted.
You know, win or lose, she said, we don't care. We don't care,
Yeah,
win or
that's
lose, which
it,
is
yeah,
honestly a
that's
crazy statement to make.
That's it.
But with the position that they're at in terms of
A
the
पे sound
table,
कर रहे
in
हैं,
their
B
group,
lurk हो रहा
in
है,
stage
C
one,
पे sound कर रहे हैं,
it's
फिर
got
वो
to that
decide
point,
कर रहे हैं
right,
किधर
where,
जाना
you know,
है.
it feels like playoffs is a
Aim
bit
on
of a distant
point
dream
है.
for this team.
Yes,
on point
EG
है.
are 0-3 playing against the Masters Madrid winners. They should be considered underdogs, even if you live and breathe evil geniuses.
But से
You got to
देखता हूँ.
admit it. But that doesn't mean they can't win or put up a fight and put the pressure onto Sen. And as for pressure, yeah, Sen's not a lock, having lost 1 game so far already. And another
का
match
जीतने का
up
chance
against
है
Loud,
कुछ.
which you never know what kind of Loud you're going to get. Maybe Loud
नहीं
could
ना.
end up being really
Yeah.
good at that point.
Shit, easy qualify नहीं
Sen
हो
still
सकती
need
यार.
some of these wins to feel comfortable about their position.
qualify
And
नहीं हो
also,
सकती.
getting top seed in groups and stuff like that ends up being really important. Every game is worth a point.
Yeah.
नहीं
These
हो
kind of
सकती है
things,
qualify
they're
पे.
going to add up. You can't let winnable games like this slip away from you.
And Sen are in a quite a
हो
competitive
सकती
group
है, हो
themselves,
सकती
to
है.
be honest. I mean,
Oh, easy
almost all
qualify
the
हो
teams
सकती है.
are really overperforming, exceeding that minimum 2 win
अगर
threshold.
Sen और एनर्जी को हराया तो
It's
क्या लगता है?
an unusual format for them, but here we go. Some guns in the hands of the defensive players that are
Good
Sentinels.
morning,
See if they can
after-
fight back and bounce back.
And I just want to point out, look at that, 2 away already from another showstopper from Jorg.
पता नहीं. तो मैं
Sen
तो
looking
समझे
to try
देता
to
हूँ.
dominate the A
आप तो समझे
alt
सकते
orb,
हो.
and EG have brought it towards B.
कौन है वो mod?
Here we go. Paranoia actually missing that.
Saksam
but
bhai,
well,
naam
getting his
le.
sight. And gun locked onto the angle. Sassy, no match for it. Hearing that reload as well. They're just guns out. Wading right into them. I mean, this is pure aggression on display. The Sentinels
Dad.
left reeling here. 10s in a 1v3.
क्या हुआ सक्षम भाई नाम
Spike
ले.
being dropped down for him. Only one thing
Killer
really to
रहेगा
work
बड़वा.
for, and it's going to be faced doubled. Isolating into the 1v1. 4 bullets left. Tag still in and revealed entirely. He's dodging, he's dancing. Tipped out of the toes. The snake bite narrowly avoided one single bullet. The reload. Pause into the round. Anything you like, really, at this point.
भाई क्या था?
Finds the minerals to just take it to him.
कोई तो टूटने वाला है, कोई तो बहुत टूटने वाला है। मैं तो डीएम में बता था, अभी बता।
worried that EG were about to throw that one away.
कभी हुआ लेकिन मेरे को यहाँ पे chat delete
We were talking so much about EG closing out those rounds where they have a massive player advantage. The strat was amazing. Jorg goes in, looking fantastic. They carry on the aggression in the waterfall.
One enemy remaining.
And then Ten's almost
ठीक है यार,
ripped it
थोड़ा
away
टफ काम
from
है यार
them.
सक्षम भाई मॉड करना, समझ रहे हो? इतने सारे chat
Composure from nature
अरे थोड़ा
towards the
filter
end.
करने
Ten's
का।
had many different ways of playing that too. He had
Direct without
teleports and
context.
ults
5 मिनट वो
that he could have
minimum
tried
time
to
out है
work
यार।
with, but he was so confident in his aim.
5 मिनट वो
Nature
minimum
ended up
time out है,
edging him
लेकिन
out.
टफ है थोड़ा,
Jorg is
समझ रहे हो?
currently 12 and 2
कभी-कभी हो जाती है
and
गलती।
didn't even have to use his ultimate. He's up to his second ult. Could have used it in the prior round, but didn't need to, and had already got so deep on that B hit. And Sen have been, I think,
अरे उसको
struggling a
लगा
little bit
hate
with that
comment
B
है।
attack.
Chill
Or
करे,
rather,
chill
deal
करे।
with the B defense.
उसने मेरे को
There's a
भेजा,
lot of
उसको
teams
लगा
that
hate
just play
comment
B
है।
purely for retake. Cloud9 actually looked phenomenal with their flood retakes of B. But Sen are worried about leaving it open for lurkers to get through in the mid round, I think. You saw that against MIBR. MIBR were trying to walk through the Viper wall in B and get good timings onto Sen.
हेलो
So
भाई
they've
निकोल
posted
कैसा है?
up
बॉटल
Sassy
के
or
साथ है
somebody
खाली।
there to watch for that.
अनिका हाँ चैट
He just
5-0
couldn't hold on.
पहले
He was
राउंड में मैं
backpedaling
बोला था
against
इजी
utility
बाप
and
खेल रहे,
Jorg
ठीक है?
got a favored fight,
5-0
spraying Sassy, who was reeling through a smoke.
What a turnaround
मुझे
for
तो
Jorg.
time
I
out।
mean, that's kind of highlighting as well. But this guy has just been slumping recently. The fact that he turned up this next ult. Round 6 now. Timeout taken. On the other side of things here for Sentinels, you have to see a turnaround.
Okay, so they're playing this trap play here. If
मैं
Apoth comes towards B, it's going to be a prowler in his face and second ulti to try to get a kill. This has worked against EG before many times. Apoth has fallen to this fairly often. And now as it gets to about 120 on the clock, Sen are like, okay, we can't still commit 3 bodies to B. We're going to have to try to force the fight and then back. So now Apoth filling in this space as Sen.
लक्ष्मण भाई मैं तो बोलता हूँ ओमी भाई को एक बार बड़वा बोल दो, समझ रहे हो? पिटूस हो जाएगा।
Are just kind of drifting into the right spots here. This is such a large hole in the defense right now over towards A. With everybody on Sen gambling that it would be a C hit.
John QT knows it. Look at his position. I mean, he has to hold essentially the 2 avenues and give up A entirely with the door opening. It's going to be a big indicator. Prowler getting broken though.
Chat, is it 6-0?
Yeah, but as
don't
soon
know
as,
how many.
as soon as the plant goes down here, they're going to get a good idea that it's only Apoth.
Chad!
EG love doing these 4-1 defaults. It's not normal that Apoth has somebody with him. I think
ये एक चीज
at this point, Sen are going to have a good visualization
मेरे
where
को
people
चाहिए
are,
था
but
कि ये
that's
प्लांट
less than half the battle.
करे, फेड प्लांट करे,
I'm playing this
ये
post
रहा।
plan.
लेकिन ठीक है अच्छा खेल रहा है।
Ult still online here for Zek. He's going to be using this one to try and pave the way for the rest of his team to get into this site now. Through the back with the smokes. Cutting up these appropriate angles. Paranoia on top of it. Now being offloaded and let rip. But it's a rocket for a rocket and a kill for a kill. Drawing blood.
Oh! Whoa!
Ripping away the hopes and dreams of Sentinels.
6-0, baby!
Again, last one left in time. Far too short to make anything of the round. It's a 6 on the board for EG. They are running over them.
Guys,
Sen fans
what the
must be
fuck
in
are we
shambles.
watching?
They've watched Aspas set records against them,
What the
and then
fuck are we
Jorg suddenly
watching?
decided to wake up to put on this performance against them too. Second does what he can here, but this play from Jorg. What is that? It's so nice to deny the
सेंसर
trade.
करके बोला था ना यार।
And that level of constant middle of a team fight impact kills, and he's so locked in.
ओमी तेरे गलती था, उसने सेंसर करके बोला था ना, उसने ऐसा नहीं कि
Finally kill, it does go to ASN.
Opening pick off a
लेकिन ठीक
rubble
है,
fight.
कभी-कभी हो
EG
जाता
have not been committing to these. The first time they do, get caught by it a little. And this is where the ult cycle starts to stack way more in favor of Sen. EG
भाई क्या
have been
scene?
building those up. Unreal quick on Jorg.
सेंटर
But now Sen
शंघाई
have
तो
some of their own.
जाते
They've used
हैं ना,
seconds to get back
कंफर्म
into
या
the
डाउट है,
retake.
एक
And
सेकंड।
Celsius one away.
Bit of a breather for them. Celsius is in a bit of a one and done.
नहीं सेन क्वालीफाई हो
Very
जाएगा।
committed position
सेन
here.
इनके सामने हारा तो भी फ्यूरी और लॉर्ड के सामने
Without
मैच है तो
utility to
दोनों
play
जीतने
off,
वाले
but
हैं।
he's got 10's
तो
paranoia
सेन
to
तो क्वालीफाई हो
support.
जाएगा।
Still in a
10
dangerous
qualified
spot.
है.
All things considered, sees nade towards the back pillar. Haunt in and through, smoke fading.
Excellent support from Tens.
भाई
Breaks the
3
horn.
बंदे भाई ये लोग
And
निकल
able to
जाएंगे
throw
भाई
the paranoia.
बोला ना.
Might have been John actually breaking the horn from Waterfall. But either way, Zels is supported in that spot.
One of the first rounds where EG looking a little bit lost in terms of which direction to land in because they don't have a control. Apoth seeking to take the fight and actually ends up taking out Zekken.
Not many people are doing that to Zekken.
There's the confidence though, and that neural theft gives Jorgamo a good indication that Sassy is repositioning up towards heaven.
ओमी बट वट कर मत और कैप्स में तो मेरे सामने लिख मत, ठीक है? उसने सेंसर करके बोला है ना, पूरा लिखा है क्या? उसने सेंसर करके बोला है ना उसने, और वो कॉन्टेक्स्ट कुछ और था वो.
Zone. Let's give the peace of mind here. Apoth could choose to play in a more forward angle, but it all comes
देखते
onto a
बोला
nice
ना मैं.
edge of how these fights end up being taken. One bullet left, has to commit the reload. He will be falling at least. Should be no way. Apoth.
Guys, 7-0, 7-0, 7-0.
The Sentinels, it's all falling to pieces.
That's it. That's the round done.
डन सीन है, चिल है, चिल
Apoth's
है.
destroyed Zekken to give them an entry into A.
चिल है,
And
सक्षम
then
भाई, चिल
somehow
करे.
managed to pull out another 2 in that spot.
You are joking.
He's on for the
Down these
ace.
guns, he is.
I mean, he might die to the turret.
He's not careful. Breaking it, hunting it, smelling it out. Okay, Zelsis.
Guys,
Puts a stop to it,
7-0,
but still won't be able to keep that
7-0.
gun kicking into the next. This is 7 rounds in a row.
पहले राउंड में बोला था,
Coming
haters क्या बोले
flourishing, yeah, he is a good-
फर्स्ट राउंड है, इको है.
We have had some absolute
फर्स्ट गन
brawls
राउंड
this
है,
week. And I was looking at
इको है. भाई मैं बोला भाई.
On paper, Bren.
On paper.
पहला
I
राउंड
think
जैसे खेलता है
again,
ना, उसमें
Madrid
मालूम
winners,
पड़ता है.
one of the favorites for being the top teams in Americas against a team that's currently 0-3. Doesn't look like
बस
the
इनको
right amount
ये
of firepower.
कंटिन्यू करने का है.
We
समझ
might be
रहे
in
हो?
for a roll again today, Bren. And it's
खुश की वजह से
exactly
ना हार
the
रही है
other
तो भाई
direction.
क्योंकि यार
Opposite
इजी
direction.
What
I mean,
is
you-
Valorant?
अच्छा खेल रहा है
predict
इसलिए.
it. You can't predict
इजी
it.
अच्छा खेल रहा है.
Don't try and make sense of it.
Jorg and Apoth, though, are just...
इजी अच्छा खेल रहा है. प्लस पॉटर
Apoth
ने
especially
वापस
in that
पूरा
match,
टीम
just taking
बनाया है.
turns to
आज बस भाई सब बढ़िया सब भाई. Love you.
Heavy stack though with 3 of these players, including the close quarter angles. Near sighted up, and they are evening out these fights with these pistols.
टेंसी
That's a
बचा
nice
सकता है अभी
sniper
लग
as
रहा
well
है.
to give them an opportunity to go for a
ये
play
लोग
like
सी
that.
जाएंगे ताकि उनके पास गन्स ना है.
They should have all of that information. They heard
साथी
2
लोग,
players
लिख
running
रहा हूँ
away
मैं.
there.
ये लोग
Zekken
सी
and
जाने वाले
Sassy.
हैं.
They should know that Tens was over towards C. So EG are now going to have a really good
या
idea
फिर
of where
भी
people are on the
वो भी
map.
चलेगा.
Opening the door to allow the spike to reconnect on B. Like I said, they know that Zekken and Sassy ran away to fill that gap over on A.
Trouble is as well, they're too worried to even grab these guns. I think Tens is considering it. He wants a rifle. It's been dropped down out
बाकी
towards
लोग
sand.
गन्स
He
नहीं
realizes
है.
now it's been
कोई ना
cleared.
मैं
He takes
समझ
that
नहीं
risk
वापस
forward. He's going to be able
आता
to relink now and apply that pressure by opening this door.
Usually when he opens the
मैं
door, though, he
boxing
has
match हो जाए.
paranoia to work with. Not this time.
This time just raw aim and firepower. It's going to persevere for him, but everybody drops and Toppers 1v1 again!
अरे टेंस बोला था भाई टेंस ही बचा सकता है. Not looking for this series of this NRG अभी भाई sexy होने वाला मैच.
The tension in the air.
टेंस
There's no
ही बचा
celebrations.
सकता
There's
है.
no
बोला
cheers on
था.
the Sen side. Everybody's locked in.
क्या ब्लाइंड दिया बे.
Honestly, I'm amazed that that refight works as well as it
Last
does
player
with the
standing.
lighter weaponry. But you saw as well Zelsis popping off motor mouth at the end of the round.
Oh, yeah.
He's not just going to be trying to give them, you know, the spirit
जोश
to go
है,
for this
जोश है,
game.
जोश है.
But I think he's probably going to be talking about going for like
जोश
3
है.
clears around the map or something like that. It's clear that EG have a good understanding of
ये राउंड
the fact that they can get these late round
सीने
executes
जाने
towards
चाहिए
A,
बस.
and they're not getting Apoth
दिलजा
punished
अल्ट
by
वाला
going for
बीटी
2
वाला
aggressive
सीन हो
lurks.
जाएगा.
This time, making it feel like it's only Apoth B and looking to try to punish Sassy. Again, Jorg, he's in.
It's all the way in. I mean, Sassy just can't really hold that one back. Not from the position he was in, but no casualties yet. Will be the...
But this time, Brent,
retake.
all of Sen set to flood defense. This is nowhere near like what it was
क्या
last
नीड
time.
मारा
Find their way into
उसने.
this one. I mean, it's a lockdown committed.
डैमेज
The
देखो.
defender side, and they're actually just trying to evacuate out of this one here, but it's going to be pushed forward to the fight taken by EG right from behind. It's the backstabber Zelsis. Does claim 2, 1 player detained. There's definite chances here still for Sentinels in a 2 versus 3. Jorg forwards, but running and gunning Zelsis. Gives him the old fade away. 2 versus 2
ना
now.
बाप खेला था
Broken. Unaware of where these players are, but eventually the fans
यार ओवर हिट हो गया यार जोकोमो ओवर हिट हो गया
done.
रुकना चाहिए था 2 पीमेंट पे तो उनको पहला फाइट लेना चाहिए था
Jorg picked up 3.
Yeah.
भाई
His
नेड
stat
बाप
line's
का
gonna be
बे
absurd. Just getting one purely based off timing.
ओवर हिट हो गया बे सेक्सी मारा था
Lovely shots, and Sen had it all to do. Zelsis did a phenomenal job.
But this time the macro element from Sen did recognize that. They didn't allow Sassy to get punished at the start of the round defending B, despite what EG were doing there.
सेक्सी खेल रहे ना
The whole of Sen has set up the flood retake and did a great job getting in, even though Nature used
दिखा दिखा
hit.
छोटा छोटा मिस्टेक दिखा
You have to be very decisive to get through a pick quickly enough to still get on top of that post plant team.
I think that's what I've noticed.
Thumbnail
I think
very
for Sen,
correct
whenever they're in
today.
their timeout is that they are just increasing the tempo. Making
Yeah.
sure that they make those decisions a lot faster.
Yeah, I think they can outpace EG, and usually I would say they can out-aim EG too. But when Jorg is 18-5 and Apoth's at 11-4,
भाई ये क्या जिम है लाउड का है क्या
that's a strength you maybe can't rely on today, or at least not right now.
He's earned himself another ult. I mean, it's the 3rd showstopper he's got.
Yeah, and it's not. I mean, yeah, sometimes people are getting showstoppers if they're like farming every
Hi,
orb
Bunks back.
and,
Good morning,
yeah,
Bolo.
getting
Good
every plan,
morning.
and then it's like round 12. Oh,
Water
I
को
have my
G का
third
pose
orb.
बना दो
It's round 10. He's
सही
been
टैलेंट रिक्रूट हो गया
annihilating
एक्सक्यूज
people,
मी
and he's been able to use
चैट
them to get
3.6
space for
के
his
लोग
team
देख रहे
every
हैं
time.
लाइक कर दो जल्दी 2k लाइक्स हो जाए पट से
EG feeling pressured enough, at least to take this time out now. Realize
ये
that they
राउंड
can, this
निकाल
advantage
सकता है
slip
जी
that's
ये राउंड
fallen.
निकाल सकता है
Sen could still make this a very respectable half.
ये राउंड निकाल
This is
सकता
an A rubble fight here, but not a super heavy committed one from Sentinels.
भाई
They don't have enough people
9-3 लग रहा
to
है
go blow for
9-3
blow with
वाला
this, but
फील
they
लग रहा
do
है मेरे
have showstoppers on
Yeah,
either
Sen.
को
side.
बाय केस लव
So-
यू
Second ult could make the
10
difference here.
डाउनफॉल
Same
नहीं
could be said for Jorgamo.
डाउनफॉल नहीं
See how they end up taking it. On to the boom bot. A slight reveal. Second not fast enough onto the line to be able to get that early kill. Sending it flying with a seized nade.
I like that.
That's nice. A bit delayed, seeking
Yeah.
to punish Nature, who's usually playing up.
दो बंदे ए पे मालूम पड़ गया
It doesn't find anything, but Sen have managed to get posted on the
Oh,
other side.
bye.
And there's Tens with his op.
क्या
He
एंगल
said he
था
was
बहन
enjoying playing with it
क्या
recently. It's
एंगल
been
था
so difficult for Sen to build up the economy to get it into his hands
क्या
this game.
एंगल था भाई
But there it is. There's the value. That's the smoke we've been talking about as well. It's so cool. Sinks into the
ये
ground a little
बीटी हो
bit so that
सकता है
people can
फर्स्ट टाइम
still
ऑफ
support
दिखा है
you
वो
from
भी
behind.
मस्त मारा
Make sure they can take those fights, but no fights necessary. Not when Tens gets that opening pick.
Yeah, and Sen are now re-exploring over towards A, confidently
भाई
re-clearing
सेन
these
को भी
areas.
पता है
Something
बे
they weren't
होने
doing
वाला
as
है अभी भी
much
3 बंदे हैं
in the first, what, 6 or 7 rounds?
Side by side now.
I think that this is still
Narrow
going to come
wall
down to the
face
Razer.
them,
भाई
it
अल्ट
really
अल्ट
is.
मार दे
And
अल्ट मार
Jorgamo
दे
and
अल्ट मार दे
Zekken are right there waiting. Satchels plays Rocket offloaded. The ult pinpoint accuracy onto Sassy, but they haven't cleared these players close. And now Zekken could be his time to strike. Fight to be taken, but he's paying the rest of his team, and he's really just biding his time and waiting it out. Still alive. 8 bullets left.
Aye.
Jorgamo! My goodness, how are you
ओ
getting away with this?
भाई
And Zekken forced to unleash it at least, but
भाई
loose on the rocket a little bit too early there. What he was hoping for, and will try
सारा
to take the
timings
fight.
पकड़ रहा है,
Satchels
bro.
forced the 1v2, doubled up, 3 bullets left. Backs away for the reload, and the plant is not good for these players still. Gotta think the advantage is here for EG, surely. TP, fake out, there's the trade.
सेक्सी टीपी मारा बे सुपरमैन ने
Oh, there's so much chaos
सेक्सी
in that
टीपी
round.
मारा
Jorg commits with his ult and doesn't
और
get to clear the
उसने
left hand
commit
corner.
करके
I
उसने
was
देखा
expecting
left
Zekken
पे।
to counter ult immediately to stop them taking that
लेकिन
space.
एक ही को देखा,
But he
लेकिन
doesn't.
देखा
He
उसने
tucks, baits the team as you said. Jorg just didn't clear it at all. But then the rest of Sen
गोली
didn't
पड़ी थी,
think
देखा
about
नहीं, गोली
Jorg
पड़ी।
continuing to push. They know that Jorg is on site somewhere, and yet these Sen players rotating, Celsius and Tens, just assume he's going to be sat on site somewhere. No, he's a maniac. He's got 20 kills. He's going to be
VLR
pushing you.
VLR
Fighting on
में
tempo with tempo.
नगद भाई
Takes a lot to catch Sentinels off guard. Some of these players, this kind of pace.
जोगमो प्लेयर तो भाई गोट बे मजा आ गया
Tens still
मजा आ गया बे
operated out. He's got that B
ये वाला इजी देख के भाई मजा आ रहा है मेरे को कुछ भी बोलो
fully down with a crosshair. Cam though and Cage will push him away.
And Tens is just assuming that Apoth didn't
इजी
see
को
it.
क्वालीफाई होने के लिए
Because the cam looked in
इनको
the
हराना
opposite
पड़ेगा और
direction
इसके
first.
बाद एनआरजी को हराना पड़ेगा द स्टार स्टडेड
Uses the shorty to break the cam. And Sen, yeah, minute and 5, commit the pit over towards C.
It's a good time for it.
I mean, they've got such great control around the map here. They've got 2 players in a pit on C, 2 players set up in a bait and switch setup on an A. B is really the only weakness, and TenZ is going to be looking to grab one and then fall off, and they can flood retake. So defensive setups looking nice here for Sen.
Prowler, nade, all combined in conjunction with one another, seeking see if they can clear out this pit. John QT not going to be removed from it. Still holding his ground, but Celsius will go down. So that slight pot shot taken. It's a freebie onto nature, but they've got that power plant down into the post. Nade.
Yeah.
The C is also missing, trying to take this in a rapid fashion. Probably slowing down that pace at all. Trying to take a bit of tempo, but a slight pause is all it takes to overstay and overstep themselves. For EG trying to take this one. Derek, last one left, 1v2. Sassy, safety in numbers, at least onto the defuse, and he's sticking it all the way with a smoke in his face. Gets off it, but he's brought himself that win con. Horns, not gonna trigger it.
Arre yaar, NT. Shit, NT bro.
Sassy and Derek playing with each other's expectations.
NT.
I thought Sen had made the misstep when Celsius rotated away from the pit.
Oh, उसका पैर दिखा,
Excellent awareness of what's going on.
उसका पैर का वो दिखा, Jordan.
Jog's like, yeah, I know exactly where you are.
size बड़ा था Viper का.
Jogamo has twice as many kills as the next highest player, and Apoth is still having a really good game. This is monstrous. This is
ridiculous.
This is actually, I hesitate to say it, but it feels like more impact than Aspas was having against them when he set a record.
Don't start.
Like 23 kills.
Records being broken again. Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous.
The KPR's off the charts.
It's insanity. But one final round here to convert. Sen are going to be fighting with everything to see if they can get it on their side of things.
भाई कैसे ना last match क्या खेल रहा था यार easy.
Arguably.
Unbelievable bro.
Prowler through Apoth. Might be taking some bullets through the box if he's not careful. Hello, EG.
Double swing
The
किया,
ones who are
दोनों
going
ने
to be
मारा.
fighting it right back
Left,
into
right.
them. 2 players
वो
dropping
लोग
now
को
from
पता था
Sentinels on the
B
defense
push हो
side.
गया, एक
Map
बंदा
this
मर
big,
गया,
going to be
सीधा
lacking
double
now.
pick
A lot of
किया, दोनों को
information.
मारा बे.
Bit of a scramble, wondering where
भाई
EG could
गलत
land.
बे, गलत.
In that fight, it's another situation where Apoth's duel is the one that matters. Zekken gets traded out, and there's a player there, you know, TenZ versus Apoth. Apoth wins again. Today is just so good for Apoth and Jog.
Time, John.
Oh, उनका ball उनके against use किया.
Way out there, but yeah, Apoth
30 seconds
fully
left.
deals with him.
Yeah.
Another ult, by the way, for Jorgamo. I believe that's what, the fourth one?
The fourth
Fourth one in the half, using it to just clear out the site. So peace of
9-3
mind
baby.
granted
भाई मेरा
for
बैटर
EG
खत्म हो
with
गया.
plant
अब
on
जो
top of it.
बोलूंगा सच के अलावा कुछ
And
नहीं
what a post
बोलूंगा.
plan it is to be playing into this spot. Nightfall.
हाँ?
We're getting too many trails and connections from that one. Jogmodo needs to rely on the rest of his team. The sensors are cut away.
It's not easy,
It's all going to
Jogmo.
be
Bhai,
reaction
YouTube जा रहा है ना
times in his
उसको support
sights. Dropping
करने.
down, he can't actually tell how these players are really assailing his position, but they do eventually remove him too. Stand against the 3 of EG, still into it with the smoke. Dropped across, they do cut out that triangle. 7 minutes left, reload, forward, stop covering! It's all mistimed, but EG secures on that 9.
Oh, they both walked into the
चार
smoke
ult
while
कर दिया
reloading.
उसने.
Switching sides.
Brutal situation.
भाई
But it's
TenZ
easy.
इतना
EG
अच्छा player है, Valo का
continue
still
this
no anger
dominant
issues.
half that they've had. 9-3,
थोड़ा mindfuck
sure,
तो
the
उसका
attacks
होता
are
रहेगा,
lotus,
लेकिन
but the
anger
manner
issues
in
नहीं
which
है.
it was done. Jorgamo with 23. Apoth with 1 kill per round.
God,
Over.
bे.
It's just
Apoth
been
भी मस्त consistent player है
astoundingly
ना.
good from EG.
Yeah, on an individual basis. I
वो छोड़ो, ये
it's
लोग
led
में
them
Derek
to
भी
this
है जो मारता
9-3
है.
half against Sentinels.
और वो form में आ गया तो भी scene है भाई.
So send it down to the desk to break it all down so far.
Well, you know, I don't think anyone had this one on their bingo cards coming into the Lotus game, but EG up 9-3, and we got to talk about the man who used to be a mustachio menace, no longer. He's just a clean-shaven menace. Jogamo is absolutely lighting up the server ender.
Yo, the stash might be gone, but the beast
That's
is
an
back,
answer,
baby. He is out in force. I mean, he was so
Sexy
good
man.
in so many of these rounds, fighting
Sexy
forward
man.
with the team. Really good calling around
Plus
him.
उसका
on this
timing
EG.
बहुत
The thing is
crazy
that
है
EG's macro has been good on this map.
आधे
They have a
लोग
lot
तो
of
ऐसे
nice
लग रहा है
ideas about how they play
Utils
around
में
APOP's
मरे
cages
पे।
to scale into sites like B in the mid round to condition these lurks. But now they're converting
Every
on it. The
timings.
biggest difference I'm seeing is how proactive this team is, even when they're getting an advantage. Jaw is breaking timing, satcheling into spawn, pushing advantages, and really surprising Sentinels round after round. And that confidence has been missing for
What
so
is
damn
that
long.
number?
542
ACS
ACS.
the year was cumulatively negative 45. This game, 542 ACS in the first half. It's a complete
Absolutely
180.
nuts. Absolutely nuts. You love to see it if you're an EG fan, if you're a Jogamo
Bro,
fan, most
what
importantly.
the
Because this is that
fuck?
player that we knew has that kind of fragging potential.
Yes.
That's not a shocker.
No.
What
Bro,
is
what
a shocker
the
is that it wasn't happening at the
fuck?
beginning of the season.
Exactly. Now we've seen him be woke up,
Yeah,
right? And that's
he's woke.
great news for this EG team. But this is the caveat. It has
उसने
still not been
32 और
perfect. That was still an
collect
attacking
कर रहे
half.
first
Sentinels
half में।
are not out of this just yet, and EG will have to close cleanly to make this a win.
Sen won
This is
3
got the average
clutches
combat
in the
score.
late rounds on
Glitch
that
है, wrong
first half
strats
to
से chill
make this
करो।
a winnable one. That's all 3 of their rounds coming down to heroics, but that puts them in a winnable position. They win this pistol, and EG's not out of the woods yet.
This is a massive half here for a very game evil geniuses. Can Sentinels manage to fight their way back into it?
Second
Let's
wake
send it
up
back over
good.
to our casters.
Back कर रहा है।
That's a question, isn't it? I mean, Ender set this up quite nicely. It is the attack side of Lotus that
imagine
Sentinels
अगर
are going to be
उसने
playing on. It's going to be the favoured side for this map, but
13-3
it has to
खत्म
start
किया
with a pistol
4
down here. And when
राउंड
Jordan's putting
में
up
और
numbers, that
उसने
looks
10
like
मार दिए ना
it's like a
33
radiant
मेरे
into an
सबसे
iron, maybe.
highest
I mean, it's
highest
difficult. If
का
he
record
keeps
रहेगा
this
इसका।
up, this prowess, this firepower, I mean, what a hell of a task for Sentinels.
It does seem almost silly to say it's got to start with the pistol, but actually the attack side of Lotus is so momentum based with the ults that I think you literally need the pistol to even
But
begin
jinx
the
करो नहीं बे मैं
process
सच्ची
of that
चाहता हूँ easy
snowball.
जीते at least
It's
ये
not
map
like you can drop the
next
pistol
जो
and then
सन
come
जीतेगा
back
चलेगा
from
भाई
11-3.
heavy
It's way
potential दिख
tougher.
रहा है fundamental strong हो गए
Broken the
stats
trip,
बाप थे
looking to try to
counter
pressure C,
बाप किए
and EG
space
are not
खतरनाक
home.
लिया है
Not home at all.
चुम्मा खेला है
No one hard
भाई
anchoring, of
चुम्मा
course,
खेला
so will be that retake.
Yeah, they have paranoia and C's nade.
Fast retake है
The C's nade's ready to go.
Hello. There it is.
oh
Snake
कोई
bite
तो
underneath.
मरा
That actually does all the work. On top of that, I believe there's a C's as well.
plus pit है वो लोग अभी जा भी नहीं पा रहे
Collapse
spike
spike
तक
out into the open. Fight needs to be taken out. Forward Shogamo again.
Shogamo ने मारा
The
वापस।
chance for his team. The nade rebounds, but Sentinels this time. Pistols.
बाप रे क्या round निकाला सन ने
So the
45
first difficulty overcome.
And it did look
सन
difficult.
ने क्या round
Because
निकाला
even though EG
bro
won there, that C's nade was wonderful.
Yeah.
Predicting the new meta plant spot on the stairs. And yet Sen able to group up and deal with that. Kind of put the onus on EG
Sen is
to
back
push through these difficult crossfires. And Sen have stepped up. Man, I really do wish we had the coach interviews at the half sometimes too. Because Kaplan went in, you know, if you
4-5
remember when they had
technically
another really
3-5
one-sided Lotus game previously, it was like, we just didn't, we were, what did he say? We were asleep for one of the halves or something?
Sleep, a disappointment.
Yeah, he was very stern about them. And in
overcommit
terms of
किया
their
नहीं रे
mentality,
पांचों जन side पे था ना
we have seen Sen bring things back from this kind of point before.
Got that experience.
भाई
EG.
वो करके मारा भाई
Ahead of
उसको
themselves.
isolate
At least
करके
Jogamo
मारा
was.
Yeah,
His
Joe
team couldn't
wants to
follow up.
force it. When you have a hot hand like that, you want to feed it, but you also don't want to feed. And so on defense especially, it can tempt you into taking fights that are not set up very well.
So they're all going to be toppling here. They just don't quite have the guns for the job. As I say that. Okay, jump in.
हाँ
right
Zen
click.
से classic
Doing
से
work.
मारता बे
It's actually,
Sen
I
classic
think it's
वाला
better
scene
for
होता।
Sen if Zekken ends up getting this kill anyway,
Yeah.
which is
Chase it
probably
down.
going to happen.
You saw how important those
Zekken
showstoppers
को
were just to
important
get
है
that
बे
momentum
और
going for EG on their own attack side. And if you've watched Lotus at all, you know it just to be the case in general. It's very
भाई what
snowballing
is
back
it
off the back of the
confirm and
ultimate. So
inhuman
second out
things
two away.
भाई वो level पे वो भी
And this is
last
where,
game वो लोग
when the
कितना
sides were flipped around,
मतलब वैसा खेला था बे EG
we saw EG go for a set play towards B. They didn't play for ult orbs and try to
EG
make sure they
last
had a
EG का last
showstopper
game
online.
क्या था
Because that just takes too
ग्रुप
long.
के
It's a bit
सामने
too
था भाई
difficult.
क्या
Instead, they went for
क्या
a set
वो हो
exit.
गया था बे ग्रुप के सामने वो लोग
Nice,
का
boys. Get this, Spectre. Good job, boys. Good job.
So they're making sure their
ग्रुप के
economy's in
मैच
a
में
good
तू
spot.
रहा था
What
जोगमो
does Sen
पूरा
have to show us?
18 kills पे था
Are they
पूरा
gonna pull
दोनों
one out
मैच
of the
मिला
strap?
के शायद दोनों मैप मिला के जॉगो में 18 kills पे था chat.
Sneak peek at the corners from Zelsis.
The thing is, they have to be. Like, Sen have been in these
और
kind of
अभी
difficult
देखो.
positions before. They know they can win.
Oh, Zekken just being sent flying straight into the fray. But you're right, they have been in this spot
Celsius,
before.
वही मैं बोल रहा
They
हूँ.
know they can win.
Hello man.
I think that should make it obvious as well. There's people ready to spam the normal plants.
Tap, yeah. So they're trying to bait it out. It's actually a season close instead. Tucking around the corner, you can avoid most of the damage that's coming your way. Saxy now going for the plant and going to be committing this one still. He will fall.
Spam भाई hello.
Angle.
That's a bit of
Bye,
it's a ridiculous one
please
too, because Sassy
check
was
karo.
not planting in the normal spot. He was trying to plant as safe as he could. Still got punished.
Still rotating. Zapov seeking to apply that pressure now. While the rest of his team goes for this retake, but a lot of angles to clear, a lot of fights to take and win out. Sentinels. But a bonus round right now, it's a good beginning. Jump popped out. Rocket committed. Sentinels though on top.
फिर भी दो मारे उसने यार. अल्ट कहाँ पे मिस किया? फटका बड़ा गया
in the
हेडशॉट.
middle of that to try to make sure they could win the anti-bonus. That's 1-0, one back. Take a look at this in the replay. What is that?
Okay, I mean...
What is that?
Okay.
Why what
That's
the
ludicrous. But
fuck?
Tennis is the difference maker here. With Shorty in hand and then getting value out of the Spectre, playing inside his own smoke. But yeah, we didn't catch it in the replay either.
Bro!
But
Bro!
no showstopper available here for EG.
Bro,
This is
it's
gonna
not
start a
possible.
big
Hello?
snowball to get sent back into the game.
It's massive. They've already got the lockdown available to them now. Again, still 2 away.
You can't give this team openings.
You can't.
भाई ये बंदा अगर तुम्हारे रैंक गेम में आ गया ना,
if they end up losing the map anyway.
नेक्स्ट लेवल लग चला. आज जॉगो भाई सारे लॉटरी लो, जो लेना है सब ले लो आज.
They can win this one. Everybody making their way out through tree. Sliding in through the back of the side here. Looks like EG are looking to try and take a fight out towards Rubble. Satchel's movement.
एक HP.
Jogo just getting caught.
और उसको बचाने को पूरी टीम आ गई बे. क्या सेक्सी बैकअप दिया यार सेन ने.
Adapting to what EG were doing.
That's wafted.
What a great round, honestly. That's an
भाई क्या
equal for
खेल
EG,
रहे हैं
where
वे
they've got
टीम.
the idea. They know exactly where Zelsis is going to position himself in that post fight. They know that there's always one player
एक
towards
HP में
Rubble for
बचा
set.
बे.
And they
एक.
throw a snakebite
अब
seize
समझा
nade.
attacking map
But
है, लेकिन
Jorg
फिर भी.
kind of bails out of the movement halfway through. Might see this in the replay.
क्या by 10.
But yeah, the whole of Sen then responds to that by opening the door. I love the game plan from both teams.
Nice, boys. Let's go. Hey, my squad's with me, boys. Let's go.
Oh, the Vibes Merchant, he is dishing it out.
Yeah, and it's all smiles on the face of Sentinels right now, because yes, they're down 2 rounds, but it's only 2 rounds. It was a 9-3 half.
Yeah.
They've won 4 in a row, and now they have the lockdown. They are
Last
1
time
away
I
from a
think.
showstopper, 1 away from Nightfall. They're in.
Celsius ने
It
बंदे
sounds
बुला लिए.
bonkers, but they're in the driving seat now.
Yeah.
They're actually like favored to not just tie this up, but
Celsius मेरे
probably
तुम्हारा कैप्सूल
start
मेरे को
building
मैं
their own
भेजता हूँ, मेरे को
economy, start
बचाओ तो
knocking
सही.
EGs.
हाँ?
It can swing in a moment, this
मैं
game.
टिटी करके आया ये तो कम हो
Case
गया.
of Lotus is a map as well, but
जा फिर से टिटी
EG,
करो.
it's so important they don't let this one slip.
भाई क्या सेक्सी गेम है. चैट लाइक करो. इसी जोश में लाइक कर दो सारे मिलके.
5v3s.
फट से 2k हो जाएगा.
Against crew, but this is a
अलसीगिरी नहीं
different
चाहिए.
scenario. This is
ठीक
where you
है.
have the lead, and you just can't let it slip now into the next half.
Yeah. It would have made an enormous
इसका नीचे
difference
करो,
for this
फिर नहीं
round,
दिख रहा.
which is
एक
an
second.
eco swing round for EG, where ults are getting online. It would have made such a difference for Jorg to still have that showstopper that he committed in round 15. EG are going to have to dig so deep. They've got to find the win from somewhere. Maybe that comes by forcing fights before Sen can get in position to use ult. They're going to fight for mound control at the beginning, while Sen path towards B.
सिर्फ 100 जन ने लाइक किया. देख रहा गाइस, देख रहा ना.
As soon as the door
Alsi
opens,
logon
though,
ko.
you now
Dekh
know
rahe na?
exactly what EG are playing for. You know that there's 2, maybe 3 players in mount. So Sen are going to try to clear that out.
Do have protocols in mind. Look at
जो
this
लोग
one
like
holding
नहीं करेंगे
for
ना.
that util.
आज का दिन अच्छा जाएगा यार तुम लोग.
But the space is going to be
Lovely.
It looked like it was going to be given up. No, it's a deep smoke that's dropped down. Prowler onto the left. Zekken out of the right still. At least with the snake bite, I will collect the kill at the end.
चलेगा.
Yeah,
Nice
honestly, you'll take that. I mean, Zekken should be favored to
Nice trick.
clean up Superman anyway, but you've opened up a path now for Zelsis to use his lockdown.
Jorgen was going to go for it.
Well, Jorg has nade too that he could use to deny lockdown if it's committed towards C.
They're gonna
And to be
rotate,
honest,
huh?
Zelsis is not even getting close. They don't like the look of this.
No, they don't. Maybe a bit of a false read of things though, but we'll see what direction Sentinels end up going into. A side still being locked down. There's a massive gap towards the middle of the map here, which is key. It feels
nice.
like the right read is now
भाई
online here for
post plant
Sentinels.
ult भी एक किल जाएगा कुछ counter नहीं है
This
शायद
corner or in this corner.
अरे क्या zoom
You might
कर रहा
well
मैं
see Zelsis just committed. It's much more difficult to have Jorg break it in that spot. Zelsis could also save it from post plant, but once they hit the trip, I think this is going to be obvious.
There it is. Sees. Looked down close here from Derek, but nades are going to be rebounding into them anyway. Locked forwards now. Sassy feeling he has to commit that one with the nightfall. He's getting a couple of tags, so he gets that acknowledgement and the information plan.
And all of these players, with the audio denied, are not going to anticipate 10 sneaking around behind them.
Fast flank all the way through here, but a fight might just be one onto the side anyway.
Let's
Crossfire
go.
all the way. 10's from the back.
भाई क्या भगाया बे
Hitting hard at EG here with only 2 left to stand. Pick up those pieces. Has to be a save surely at this point.
sexy flank किया
And the crowd realizes
नेड 1 सेकंड लेट आया ना मेरे हिसाब से नेड 1 सेकंड लेट आया वो सीट से निकल गया कॉम्बो सेक्सी था लेकिन
Oh, the alarm bot's just giving away where they're playing.
Do fend off the first one though, looking to take away those weapons. 10s, of course, are going to try and go for it. Never shut down. They keep these guns. It is necessary.
8 9
So that's going to provide a bit of a buffer there for EG.
जीरो साइन देख के गया था हेलो
But it's still difficult for them. That's 5 rounds in a row.
भाई जैसे मैंने लाइक का जिंक्स किया सीधा 600 बढ़ गए बे और कितने आराम हो रहे चैट तुम लोग
For the next.
Feeling crispy, you know what I mean? Joel, take my gun.
You hit out at the end. Joel, take my gun.
Yeah.
Empowering the player that's at the top of the scoreboard.
But 500 and whatever it was ACS in the first half.
10 टाइम लेफ्ट राइट लग रहा है नहीं रे
I mean, maybe remove a decimal point or something for this half.
भाई वो वाला
they haven't found
waterfall
the
वाला जो
opportunities
शॉट
for
था
Jorg
जो
enough
था
to have that level of value.
Yeah.
By
It's much more
next
difficult when you're on the
level,
defensive
by
side. You're
next
reacting
level.
a lot more. That's what the attack side's ended up doing.
नेक्स्ट लेवल पे क्या
plays
सोच के
fluidly.
उसने मारा और कैसा वो बुलेट लगा
Sentinel's getting a bit of a read here. That
ये
BA
साइंटिस्ट
rubble
को
fight,
इस बारे में
not
वो
even
करना
necessary. They
चाहिए
can just contact all the way up, and it's going to be easy ground gain. Out of rocket. Oh no!
Arre.
Bit of a misstep. Superman, he's missing the rope there, and still gets away with it.
Yeah, whistled past Superman's ear.
अशुमादा
Dominating this heaven smoke though. Will actually fade now with the nade. Rebounding back and away.
Bata,
Sees
koi to bata.
forwards. A fight to be taken by EG up close with the stingers. Anybody could have been favored. Second who wins
Koi
it
nahi bata,
out.
be.
Still holding down that ground. EG looking to try and flip their way through this one, but again, back positions here. It's this bait and switch setup that Sentinels, they're just so willing to just, okay, we'll give you a bit of that space. Now we're playing a crossfire setup and the doors are rotating. Too many angles to really watch for. Has to be raw firepower to sell them through it. But is it even possible for them? Apop is making a bloody good go of it. It's just
9-3 से 9-9 भाई
Sentinels have brought this all the way back.
भाई वो कॉम्बो से क्यों नहीं मर रहे बे इससे अच्छा डेडलॉक है कॉम्बो के लिए एटलीस्ट
These rounds have been such blowouts, and Sen have managed this avalanche so well that EG, they haven't even had their first ults online for the half. Jorg, we talked about in round 15 using his. The other players are only just now getting, you know, Nightfall, Viper's Pit online. They're still one away.
Yeah.
Derek and Nature still don't have access to these huge tide-shifting
lose bro ये बस
ults
तुक्का
to be
था
able to play with.
नहीं यार अच्छा
And here we
खेला
go, into the round instantly, Sen.
अच्छा खेला तो
Looking
बोलेगा
to
अच्छा
whack up the tempo.
Yeah. Quickening of the
Sexy
round
blind
right
दिया
at the
बे
beginning here.
sexy blind
A lot of util being expended just to try and shake the position and these attacking players out. Sentinels though, we push back and away from it, so they're still going to get that plant down in through B, up through heaven, and even the pitch just laid out on top. How do you deal with this?
इससे करेंगे retake अभी
It's got to be perfect. Two players out through Hobbit, Prowler, connection there onto second, a few bullets stray. Just going into him to deal a little bit of damage, but Jorgmo dealt with. It's your spearhead gone and out. Derek spraying, praying all about the nature. No chance for it.
Sen is back baby
Brendan,
Sen
the
is
only
back.
hope here for EG to right the ship is that Sen
Sen
used
is back,
ults now
baby.
and have finally hit close to the end of their bank. But otherwise, Sen are wiping them away every single round. There's a game-turning advantage in their favor.
Yeah.
This time it's John's pit that just makes the retake so much more difficult. And they don't
वो लोग
anticipate
को
the pace of the beat.
push करना पड़ेगा, वो लोग को
Exact.
space लेना पड़ेगा.
But the
Easy
problem is
passive
the
नहीं
alt
खेल
economy
सकता है.
works in tandem with the financial economy. And EG are currently experiencing a 2008 housing crisis.
Yeah, I mean, it's not looking good.
They're stuck.
It's not looking good.
They have
Wait,
odds to
Asa.
work with, but now they don't want to invest them necessarily unless they start to get advantages because, you know, Sen have got such better weaponry, and if Zekken can use that gun advantage to build up to a showstopper, this is how Lotus attack side snowballs away from you.
It gets out of
No one
hand.
can have Sen in
Maybe
pocket as
beginnings of
except
potentially
Aspas.
around on the board here for EG on this defensive half with the Viper's pit down.
Aspas ने तो
Yeah,
गलत
he
मारा.
Push Sen naturally over towards BA.
Yeah, I think EG have been very good at coming up with
लेकिन ये
ideas on their
शायद
ecos
record
of
रहेगा इसका.
putting
First half
pressure.
का जो aces है
Normally,
ना.
they're allowing Sen into A and then trying to squeeze
First
them
half
level
के लिए तो
on
record
the
रहेगा
retake.
भाई.
We've seen that twice now on EG's ecos. Similar pattern, perhaps?
ये round upset हो
Calm
सकता है
and
क्या?
collected. Smells unwilling to really rush into much at all.
एक और
here.
ult तो आएगा,
Nightfall
मतलब
isn't
एक game में कम
committed.
से कम
That's
6
there.
ult मारेगा Jog.
Losing it here, doesn't get any tags at all. Might be giving a bit of
Give me
false
clear
information, but
मजाक
now
है क्या
time
भाई?
to strike here for Sen. They're going to be using one of their own. Ults committed.
There's only 25 seconds.
Which way are they going into here? Pivot into B, doubled up, close corners into the
खाली
action.
कर
and
दिया
there's a
बे,
map.
खाली.
Taking rifles
खाली
against
कर
this thing as
दिया.
whatever weaponry that EG might have. They just barrel over them.
खाली कर
EG
दिया
were not ready
बे.
for that.
क्या
And they've just used-
cross मारा है बे.
Seconds left.
Brent, they've just used all their
That
ultimates
means everything, right?
on an eco round,
Spike planted.
and it's looking Jova. Zekken one away from his showstopper. They now have access to that to be able to work with in the next. Like, Senna's so good
चलो,
at being
defense
able
में
to
work करने का अभी.
understand the wider picture. I'm not even talking the macro
Quarter
of
भी
like,
like
where
ठीक
people are
है.
positioned.
Attack
But the
बहुत
idea
बाप
that
किया
you
है.
can
We need
snowball
to work
games
on
in this kind of
defense.
way. 9-3 down, they've just looked like it doesn't matter. They could win every single round in this half.
Never had any of that hesitation at the back of their minds. Like, you can just tell. I mean, you look at the replays, the reactions as soon as the round ends from the Sen players. I mean, the body language says it all. Locked in, ready to win.
टीम है ना Sen भी.
They know what it takes. It's one round at a time, one step at a time.
अपना
So
गोटर
they've done
टॉप
it.
फ्रैग कर रहा है क्या? 10.
Two-round differential now between these two teams when they were down
क्या सीन है गोटर का?
6 against EG.
And here,
This is
Sen
bad,
had
man, for
25
quadrants
seconds to
up.
hit the A site.
Qualify
Paranoia had
tough
denied
है
them
मेरे
from
को.
taking tree
इनको हराओ
control.
बाद में
And
एनर्जी को
two
भी हराओ.
players with
दो ही
close
games बचे.
range weapons were in Hobbit.
दूसरी टीम्स के हमने ऐसा खेल
They
भी
weren't
था
able
तो
to get a
शायद
kill
जीत
out of that.
जाते.
Apoth and Derek
Qualify भी हो
just
जाते.
folded.
Yeah.
लेकिन जब
You
तक
hope
ये
for
लोग
more
ऐसा
when you're in
फॉर्म में
that
है तो
spot.
फिर थोड़ा
That's what
लेट हो
your
जाएगा.
eco round is designed to funnel the players with better guns through tiny choke points where you have the advantage.
भाई
and they just
सेकंड
couldn't
का अल्ट आ
capitalize.
गया.
How many did Jorg have at the half? 23?
Something like that.
हाँ.
In the 20s. And since then, it's just been a slip, essentially, from the initial few rounds.
Yeah, but it's not like, you know, he's not playing with the blindfold on. He just can't find opportunities to make the impact, and he's always up against an advantage for Sen.
उसके यहाँ पे
Here
फाइट
comes
भी तो
Zekken
नहीं हो रहा है यार. वो क्या करेगा?
Oh, we'll put that one back online with the auto orb. Second now, probably going to be using this one to clear out through the side. And yeah, here it is. Offloaded. Let it rip. One target. One kill. It's a matter about a high ground position here. Jorg wants to go fast and rapid into his approach. Right into the back section. Strops into pit. I mean, Sassy
Hello,
just
Superman.
deals with him. Superman, what is going on there?
कैसे उसको दिखा नहीं?
It's up to 12 now for Sentinels. And one more round will do it.
Match
A
point.
कैसे
resounding
उसको दिखा
comeback.
नहीं? जो 9-3 से 39
And honestly, EG are going to be kicking themselves because
डिफेंस की स्ट्रेटजी अगले गेम में
literally
बताएंगे
just
बनाएंगे.
round 13 had gone the other way.
सेन क्वालीफाई होगी क्या? हो जाएगी क्वालीफाई. सेन 100% क्वालीफाई हो
And
जाएगी.
See it on their
EG,
faces.
yeah, Potter can tell as well. All of that hype and adrenaline at the fact that you're beating the Madrid winners.
फेड हो गया यार.
The crash afterwards can be worse than the high.
They will
अब
be coming.
प्रॉब्लम ये है कि ये लोग
One more
ऐसा
round stands
एकदम
between
ज्यादा
Sentinels claiming their map pick.
माइंड फोकस नेक्स्ट गेम गंदा ना
Well,
खेले.
finally, ult online.
I think
मतलब
this is the
फर्स्ट
first
हाफ
time we've
बहुत
seen
बाप खेला. ये लोग को
somewhat
सिर्फ
similar rifles and an
defense
ult
में work
advantage for
करने
EG.
का.
But here it is. Second was just lead the charge forwards. Apoth It's a stalwart protector of the site, and the vulnerability matters not for John QT. Still towards it, Tens with a trade rocket. Just catch around the corner, not too sure how that ends up happening, but the kills are flooding in this time in EG's direction.
OT. Kaiko 39 bola मैं reach.
This is right in the nick of time. Sassy though might be trying to play spoiler 1v3, make it 1v2.
If a single bullet had hit Superman, this would have been a 1v1.
45 seconds left.
So much time.
Kaiko 39 bola अभी ऐसा होने वाला है क्या?
Particular spots.
Honestly,
Kaiko 39
your
bola
instincts here are screaming go back to
39 वैसा वाला है क्या?
That's where all of the action was earlier. You know, all three
Right,
of them
let's कर दिया बे Saucy ने.
through big. You know, in
Let's
their
get
heads,
the
don't we think he
Abe.
can continue that momentum, head in the A direction? Sassy's going
I
to get a free
just
plan here.
jinxed my jinx.
I think he's played it beautifully.
ये क्या था बे? Double jinx था ये एक round में.
5 HP, it just could be the death blow.
They are so far away. Sassy, whether he knows it or not, has got a good chance here of repositioning to catch one.
They have to walk because they don't know where Sassy's positioning is, and it all comes down to this: a fight to be taken. First one found. Where's the next? Derek shuts it down.
Triple. Let's make it
Good
triple,
trade
baby.
from Derek.
Let's make it.
Very
It's
safe play from EG.
Kaiko.
Bunching up together.
39.
Yeah, they
समझ
gave
रहे हो?
Sassy a lot of
Triple.
room. But when it came down to it,
Team Ace.
the Brazilian just could not
Triple
quite
way.
pick apart EG's
Huh?
players.
Triple kill कर दी मैंने.
So 12 to 10. Like I
Almost
said at the
था.
beginning of round 22, I think that was the first time we've seen somewhat comparable rifles and an ult advantage for EG. Now there's no ults anywhere.
मस्त मारा बे Derek.
Nice edge.
movement, man. Yep. Right there. Yep.
Nice edge. But EG's still in it.
3 Guardians though for EG. They are going to
Guns
have to
अच्छा नहीं है
hit
लेकिन.
such clean shots.
प्रॉब्लम है कि ये राउंड अगर हार भी गए ना अगर सेन तो नेक्स्ट राउंड में अल्टी से आना चालू हो जाएगा. जेंसिस का अल्टी आ जाएगा, फेड का अल्टी आ जाएगा.
Satchels.
इसमें किसका अल्टी आ जाएगा और वो लोग बस काउंटर में कुछ नहीं है. साइफर के वो टुप करके क्या देगा?
We'll have to at least respect that one with the horn. Well, on the opposite side of things, that was 3 tags onto the players of Sentinel, so they know that there's a heavy committal over towards A Rubble.
And in rounds like this, the IG lane does get a little more complicated for the attack side at least, because Kaplan previously has just been able to call around, messing with the pace and playing around the ults that he had to work with.
बिना देखे ट्रिप तोड़ रहे
Now he's got to really figure out what this defensive setup looks like.
बट फुकट हम लोग को लगा कि जोगुमा हैक कर रहा है, पता सेन भी कर रही है भाई.
Ideally for Sentinels, they want the game to end right here. The more that EG win, the better their rifling is going to get. Look at that trip, designed to try to catch second if he double blast packs in. He loves pathing on top of the box.
No more satchels left. And they make the play towards it.
Oh fuck, ये राउंड ही अल्ट ले रहा है वो.
Running about, it's a marathon sprint
और
across
पे
the
क्या ये
map.
पे?
Yeah,
वो और
Zelsis,
पे
I
क्या
don't
प्लान
think
करेगा?
his rotation's going to see, but they've got the right macro idea here.
A deep haunt into C Mound, that does send EG
30
scattering.
seconds left.
Players now realizing that it's most likely leaning over towards A. Wants to play, pivot into B, have B main control. Zelsis has been holding on to this one now, so it should be that free plan. I don't think
There are 3
EG
players
have
in
anything
heaven.
to stop it. They could attempt to flood this one out. Sees nade, pushes them back. Sassy around the corner. He's got the spike. He's the one with the plant, and it needs to go online now. Defending the angles on the crossfire section. Sentinels, they do eventually defend him and get themselves into this spot. But it comes down now to the kills. Jorgo. First one found. Ape with the door. Opens wide. Smoke in their faces. How do you take the fight? All through heaven. Which direction? TB's back into main and he just crossed it up entirely. Tens, 2v3. And the kills with the smokes in their face. Sticking for Derek.
Oh, bhai sahab.
Sentinels, take it away, map number 1.
Absolute cinema.
You'd call it an unthinkable comeback.
Absolute
but we've
cinema
seen it before.
bolte.
This squad is capable of it. If you've got a chance to put them away, you've got to do it early.
Absolute
because
cinema
the
bolte
more
bhai.
you give them chances to come back,
Absolute
they
cinema
are just
bolte.
going to run away with the game. Sen were
Bhai,
down
बुरा लग रहा है मेरे
9
को.
to
Quarter में
3
बुरा
at
लग
the
रहा है.
half. And you wouldn't have believed it, looking at their attack side on Lotus. They were completely in control.
Brought it all the way back.
Yeah, dream start था बे EG के लिए.
That
Dream
experience, I
start.
think, adds for you. Team that went all the way.
But बाद में Sentinels को
won it
पता
all.
चला रहे पे वो लोग Sentinels है.
They've just got all the confidence in the world that they can come back into games like this. And compared to some of the other teams that were this week, we've seen a lot of teams go down
तो
early.
9-3 वो भी
One-sided
9-3
maps,
वो भी
one-sided
दो
matches.
गलती के बाद
They crumble. They don't
9-3
believe
हुआ
that
है,
they can win.
Even when
वरना
the
तो
sides
11-1
yeah,
होता था।
absolutely.
क्या
Even with the side
मारा
swapping,
था
in
बेचारा।
theory, that is just straight up new strategies, new opportunities to win.
Yeah.
And yet, there are very few teams that believe in themselves like Sen.
Oh, we're going to be stepping away up
Then
next.
you have
GB
to
now.
start
Let's
use
bring it all
Kia.
down for map
8
number
bit
1. Do
straight
not go
B.
anywhere. You don't want to miss it.
ये होती है, मेरे को पता है हम लोग फ्रेंड्स है ना, चैट हम लोग वो शेयरिंग करते हैं, समझ रहे हो?
Excuse me, would you mind taking a picture of us?
चैट शेयरिंग करते हैं। चैट 3700 लोग देख रहे हैं, 2300 लाइक्स है, शर्म करो। ग्रिमान के अंदर देखो ऐसा, देखो जो लोग लाइक नहीं कर रहे ना यार, देख लो ट्रिपल जिंक्स किया है मैंने। जो लोग लाइक नहीं कर रहे ना, आज का दिन अच्छा जाएगा तुम्हारा। लव यू। व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप है सन और बिंक्स। ए सबके सामने नहीं बोलने का। ये होती है एक्सपीरियंस वर्सेस न्यू प्लेयर। भाई बाप खेला बेसन बाप। कोई तो बोला इजी जीतना चाहिए मैच। ये मैच मतलब मैप यार, ये मैप एक्चुअल में बाप खेल रहे थे यार। डिफेंस उनका लेफ्ट राइट था पूरा, क्योंकि सेन का अटैक स्ट्रॉन्ग था, लेकिन उसमें भी इजी की गलती नहीं बे। सेन टू स्ट्रॉन्ग वाला सीन हो गया बे अटैक में। इधर से उधर भगाया है सिर्फ। जॉब को बेचारे को फाइट भी करने नहीं मिला बे। जिधर भी फाइट कर रहा था उधर 1-2 प्लेयर डाउन थे, और जहां पे डाउन नहीं थे 5-5 रिटेक में ये पहले मारता था तो पूरा टीम डाउन होता था। केक पे होती है चेरी, जो लाइक नहीं किया उसकी क्यूटी मेरी। ये क्या लैंग्वेज है? क्रेजी गेम था बैग, मजा आया, लेकिन क्रेजी गेम था। कर दिया चड्डी में हाथ फंस गया था। आए हाय बाप मारा बे, लेकिन जॉगो ने वाईजी डिसबैंड फाइनेंस। वो लोग का एक्सपेंसेस वाज मोर देन द इनकम्स। बाकी रीजंस भी हो सकता है, लेकिन दिस वाज वन ऑफ द रीजन। भाई आज इसका मैच है मिनी बू। भाई हेरिटिक्स का क्या सीन है? क्वालिफाई होने वाली है। ये का क्या सीन है चैट? ये ना ये में फेनेटिक क्वालिफाइड है, चाहे कुछ भी हो। धरती इधर की उधर हो जाए, फेनेटिक क्वालिफाइड है। इस बार फेनेटिक जा रहा है मास्टर्स। नावी क्वालिफाइड है, चाहे धरती की उधर हो जाए। हेरिटिक्स क्वालिफाइड है, हेरिटिक्स भी क्वालिफाइड है ना। कोई बिकिल होगा जो लाइक नहीं करेगा। आपके जिंक्स के आगे कोई टिक पाए? वैसे व्हाट्सएप के बात सुना है कि लाउड की जिम ज्वाइन कर रहे हो। भाई क्या जिम था ना वो, क्या फोटो था ना। लव यू, थैंक यू फॉर द 100। इसमें कौन से तांत्रिक से कोर्स किया आपने? एक्सक्यूज मी चैट, ये में देखो कौन कौन क्वालिफाई होने वाले। आ जाओ। सो बेसिकली इसमें फेनेटिक क्वालिफाइड है, चाहे कुछ भी हो, ठीक है। बीबीएल के एक मैच बचा ना, एक मैच बचा या ये सारे मैचेस भी है? आई थिंक ये सारे मैचेस भी है ना बीबीएल के, जैंटिक्स और फुट। हाँ 3 मैचेस बचे बीबीएल के। बीबीएल पे क्वालिफाइड है। ओ ये अल्फा ग्रुप में तो बहुत भयंकर वो है बे लड़ाई। पेनेटेक फुट के अगेंस्ट तो 100% जीतेगा। नावी के साथ, नावी फिलहाल अनबीटेबल चल रही है। नावी के साथ भी जीत जाएगा मेरे हिसाब से, नावी के साथ भी जीत जाएगा। पेनेटेक क्वालिफाई है, केसी क्वालिफाई हो जाएगी शायद, कॉय के सामने केसी जीत जाएगी। ये पता नहीं क्या आएगा, केसी वर्सेस टीएच, ये टफ आएगा। ये ग्रुप का पता नहीं बे क्या होएगा, सारे क्लोज है। ये जेंटलमैन के सामने जीत जाएंगे, जायंटेक्स के सामने जीत जाएंगे, कॉय के सामने भी जीत सकते हैं। ओ पांचूत लिक्विड जेंटलमैन के सामने जीत जाएंगे, हेरिटिक्स के सामने भी जीत सकते हैं। ये टफ जाएगा, हेरिटिक्स टीम वैसा है बे। केसी कॉय के सामने जीत जाएगी, हेरिटिक्स का पता नहीं। इधर नावी तो क्वालिफाई है, नावी बीबीएल के सामने जीत जाएगा। नावी क्वालिफाई है, 4-0 मैक्स 4-1 बराबर। सेन का ट्वीट देख क्या किया।
Fast forward into the next round because EG anticipates Sentinels aren't going to be looking for a mid trap again. And what do? They throw those same 4 pieces, right? Cage goes out, Viper Orb, the Omen Smoke, as well as the Fade Haunt, but they creep up 3 players behind it, and they're ready to pop quickly in towards this B site. But there's one important thing to keep in mind. Because they're defaulting that Omen Smoke over towards C every round, they only have one
Must
smoke to
come back
exec
that way.
over in towards Baby Door. But they justify their Cypher pick because A, it gives you the cage to
Come back to that.
and they can use a cage in the exec.
भाई लोग का ट्वीट का वो मस्त रहता ना,
So what do? The cage
कुछ भी हो सकता है भाई। ये में बहन कोई भी क्वालिफाई हो सकता है। नावी क्वालिफाई है, फेनेटिक क्वालिफाई, ये दो क्लियर कट क्वालिफाई है। फुट का क्या सीन है, बीबीएल के सामने जीत जाएगा फुट, तो ये होएगा 3-2, तो ये क्वालिफाई है। जेंटलमैन्स का सीन है, जैंट में ये तो मेरे हिसाब से ये 3 ही क्वालिफाई हो जाएगा यार। भाई -40 पे वे लोग। भाई अच्छी टीम तो है बे, शैडो वाली टीम है ये।
That retake, I'm gonna have nightmares about that tonight. But hey, they did a fantastic job. I'm just proud of my guys. You know, we haven't showed what we can do. We haven't been playing like we practice at all, but today we did. So, you know, that's good news for us. Like I said earlier today, we didn't really care about this match because we couldn't, right? We couldn't have that pressure on ourselves. So it's good that we showed what we got.
All right. Well, it's on to your map pick, so best of luck.
Thank you.
That's right, and Sentinels manages to pick up the win. It was their pick on Lotus.
अच्छा,
But what was even more impressive was the fact that they did it in the second half in such a dominating fashion. I mean, guys, Sentinels, just when you think you knock them down, they always find a way to pull themselves back up.
Yeah, both these teams used really the same strength, just snowballing on the attack side of Lotus. When you get the ults online, when you can win that bonus, it can snowball these games. That's exactly what happened for Sentinels. But in terms of the actual calls, like Kaplan was talking about, to make that happen, I was really impressed with the way that they were working the map. This was one such where they hear that door being open, they set up this great reclear towards C, and then again, going late back in so many of these rounds towards that B site that they found as a massive weakness.
Yeah, they found that loophole multiple times, and every single single time, it felt like EG was just never ready to properly retake. It felt like every single one of their planned retakes did not get executed the way that they wanted. They were running in one by one and lacking a lot of the util or peeking off the util that they were using.
And so much that came down to the ults. EG dumping ults on eco rounds. It fell apart, but there's still more Valorant to be played. We go to Bind next, and this is the choice of EG. But it's not a map we've seen from them thus far this year.
Yeah, but let's go back to the point that we were making at the beginning of the matchup, is that you're looking at a bunch of Raze maps here, and I think about
Oh, G का मैच है 3 दिन बाद और T1 का मैच है 4 दिन बाद. तो 3 दिन बाद G को जीतना पड़ेगा DFM के सामने, और नेक्स्ट दिन पे एक अलग वॉच पार्टी करना पड़ेगा जहां पे सारे लोग आके उनको सपोर्ट करे, जेटा को, वो भी वो जेटा को जिसने हमको 3 बार हराया है. समझ रहे हो? टफ टफ. आईच्या गावात गॉड ब्लेस यू. थैंक यू यार. गुड इवनिंग. क्लास के बाद आपकी स्ट्रीम देख के रिफ्रेश हो जाता. लव यू.
An explosive map where Raze needs to get that space and use their util in order to get to those places towards sites. I feel like he's going to be a lot more effective.
It's a lot of those same ideas where, as a Raze player, if you're getting explosive in the post plant, satcheling over truck to punish those players who are trying to stall you out on the A site with mollies. On B, re-wrapping into elbow to punish players trying to flood back in on the retake there as well. The Raze has a lot of agency, and if Judgment can find that first half form here again, I think he could push this to be competitive.
Yeah, I'm curious if also how that pace is going to go for EG, because that was something I was really liking from them on Lotus. They were quick. They were in their face constantly.
It's also a question of what comp they're going to run. The Gecko combo comps, B to Sky, B to KO, or even B at the Fade, have become the standard on this map. That's probably what I'd expect from them, and as we see it lock in, that is what they're going for. It's a mirror.
Yeah, they're going for that copycat comp, and I love this comp. I love the ability to get as much information as possible, and I feel like for the way that EG plays and the way that Sentinel play as well, actually, it applies to both teams, is the amount of layers that they put onto their executes. Now, we talked about their retakes not really being that effective. I feel like now that they have the Gecko and the Sky, a lot more util in order to start Jogno, maybe they'd be able to finally fix those retakes.
Well, can EG manage to pick up their map 2 and force a map 3? Let's get ready and send this back over to your casters. You got Brendan Sideshow on the call.
Oh, भी सब dollars में.
Let's get it started then. I mean, honestly, bless these teams for banning Icebox and Breeze as well. We get to see Bind in play here. And Sentinels, I mean, they look so damn good in this map. They haven't really been tested too much in terms of it, but in terms of their executes, you know, Des was discussing it. They're sublime with it. They have so many good ideas of how they want to use this comp because it has so many tools. You've got mollies, you've got nades, you've got double flashes, you've got all the mid-round information and tools you could ever possibly want. And they look good at this map. It's easy to pick it. And EG running the mirror. We'll see if they can actually contend and fight back against Sentinels.
I think another thing to look at here is that it's Sen on their attack side. Yes, Bind is not the most attack-sided map in the pool, like Lotus is. But John's way of being able to control the game, mid-round, utilize that ult to try to build up avalanches. All of those things EG is still going to have to try to deal with. And they're already looking to get proactive in showers, stealing that ult orb very early on, whilst threatening some kind of push out through sand.
This smoke
that we've got here, it's an unusual one. You do not often see it. So they're just trying to condition it, looking to go for some kind of sand crunch in the mid-round if Sentinels will be clearing that area of the map.
All up through B long.
मैं वैसा सपोर्ट तो कर रहा हूँ, भले मैं चैट वैट नहीं करता हूँ,
Be sure to watch those angles, so nobody holding close.
बहुत सारे मैचेस देखे, बहुत सारे, बहुत मतलब.
Superman does have 2 snake bites to his name. Trailblazer, seeing the one nade, flash. Ooh, a little bit of whiffage there. But doesn't quite get any connection to the TP evacuation from Tens.
Yeah, this is actually going to start pulling a bit of a rotation over towards A for the defenders, but there's still opportunities to go back up to B. Sen are keeping this pretty loose and flexible in round 1.
They're going to be running themselves back over towards B. They've definitely pulled these rotations over.
Yeah, there's 4 players stacked over on A. But because EG have short control, they can access the teleporter to come and help Superman very quickly. And Zelsis doesn't really have a smoke he can use for hookah.
Heavy attack by.
We can see he's put one elbow, one over
3
towards
TP
spawn.
होने वाला है यार, 4 TP
Hookah's
होने
going to be a
वाला है.
weak spot here for Sen.
That weak spot that they're just forgetting about ignoring for now.
And look
They're
at this.
taking elbow backside control.
Yeah, Derek actually goes through the TP, and this is going to make people focus on hookah.
Oh,
At
उनको
the same
लगेगा
time as
hookah
Superman
ही
is
है
running
करके.
out of hookah and coming up long.
Viper
I
का
like
main
the
है
timing
अभी.
on this.
And multiple plays occurring here, but it comes down to
Viper
this
का main
gunfight
है.
that are going to be occurring right here, right now. Shots missing ever so slightly. John QT just can't quite win his fight out, but luckily for him, his team has definitely been winning theirs. Right through spawn, last one left is Derek. Dropped to the floor, so a flawless round here for the pistol beginning
2-0
of
bolte.
Sentinels.
2-0 bolte.
Masterclass, absolute cinema, however you want to call it for John QT. I mean, he
2-0
just
bolte.
worked them across the map.
Yeah, it was a great
Read गलत
usage
हो गया
there.
ना EG
Have
का?
a default,
चार
then
बंदे
go and take some B long control, teleport back, end up hitting B. And yet, while the loss of hookah control could have been a problem for them, Sen were very quick to realize that and push forward to fight elbow
3
and
जगह
go and
से वो
look to
लोग
put
पट्टे
pressure
खा
on
रहे
people
थे.
retaking
सोचो
one
हुक्का
spawn.
बिलोंग और सिटी और फिर भी वो
I
लोग
think
फ्लॉलेस
the
जीते.
duel that we were looking at between
सोचो
Superman and
क्या
John
टीम
Cutie
रहेगी.
could have decided the round, but in actual fact, it just took so long to resolve. It ended up being a non-factor. Sassy could end up getting caught here by double flash, but now he's just going to tell his team, yeah, there's no one on B. Everybody is running me down.
Yeah, I mean, stood his ground for a moment here. Just bunny hopping around the corner, so we'll be back to safety.
यहाँ तक भाग रहे थे. बेस में
Jones
लड़ाई हो
actually
रही
used
है.
the
बेस
opportunity to
क्या
slink
खेल रहे
into
हैं?
A as well. I'm not sure they know that Superman's still elbow. It's a weird round, but I don't think EG are going to get anything out of it. Perhaps just this one bulldog, if they can hunt down Sassy.
बचाओ!
Approaching reinforcements.
मत
arriving,
बचाओ.
Not even necessary for Sassy. And Superman acknowledged and taken out.
भाई पूरी
And
टीम
one
जा
for the
रही थी
flawless
पीछे
against
उसको
that eco
बचाने.
round. Sentinels. Good beginnings here to bind.
Will G qualify? देखते हैं.
10's one away from ult. Sassy 2 away. 10's probably going to be able to build his up just by getting plants down.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have to play around these, but it's certainly an option.
Here's the danger.
Yeah. So, when we were watching Sen obliterate, I think it was MIBR on this map, they were just sending B execs over and over. All right,
Hey.
tech pause. Has someone's mouse run out of battery?
I mean, I'm looking. Let's look at the stage.
Get one of those again?
Any corporates?
I mean, it's
Looking
looking from our POV like it might be an EG issue, but
All
that's
an
just
ambulance, not
speculation on
for me
my
वाला
part
scene हो
because
गया.
the Sen players are relaxing.
Just fully leaned
आसपास और
back.
10s anytime.
Reclining in the chairs.
But yeah,
Yeah.
when we saw Sen
मतलब
play this
support
map last
किसको
time,
वैसा?
and it's been a while since they used to
हो
run that
सकता है
Yoru
आसपास
Raze
ज़्यादा goat हो.
composition. They've been
Yeah,
playing
but-
a few times with this Gecko in the mix. And they were just hammering B hits on their attack
Oh,
side,
washroom
and
break है.
Their opponents could
बंदा
not
सीट पे नहीं है,
deal with
washroom
it
break
at
है.
all. Zelsis was throwing a brim molly into elbow. It was cutting off the sky that was wanting to play there.
They do the cross
Applying
map
so much
snake
pressure.
bite as well onto be long, a gecko
Yeah.
molly. It was honestly pretty picture perfect, to be honest.
The
This
thing
comp
that-
gives you so many tools.
The thing that was working against the way that Sen were running their B execs was a re-clear strategy over towards B long.
Yeah.
Where you
This
allow
was
them to
the-
get up B long and either wait for the ult orb to be tapped or just based off of timing, you decide to re-flash and fight with Razenade or something like that. So it looks like EG are prepped on the
पहले
defense
आँख
just
बंद
based on
करके
what they were
रेस्ट
doing on
करते
the
कैसे
pistol
नींद
round.
नहीं आता रहेगा यार.
But they've got to try to find moments to take control of the tempo.
हाँ? क्या नंबर है?
Yeah, he's having fun with it. I mean, listen, high spirits of Sentinels for obvious reasons.
Yeah, I think they would have looked a lot more focused and determined had they ended up losing
There's
Lotus.
a map one, yeah. Sure.
Kaplan would have been drilling them in the
मार
back.
के कौन
But
हंसता है? किन्हें हंसते हैं?
this version of Sen, very happy they've pulled off the comeback and just looking to continue that.
क्या चल रहा है? Washroom
You
break.
heard it from Kaplan. He was saying, keep playing the same way. Jorg isn't going to drop 500 ACS every single half. They're going to cool down. We're going to heat up.
Yeah.
And that's the thing when you're playing against an underdog
क्या
team
था
and
ना बे,
you're
500
expecting to have the
ACS
firepower advantage. If it's not working out for you at the beginning, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to change anything. Things in general will revert back to average over
Aye?
time. So I think the
Excuse me?
emphasis is on EG to try to recapture some of that magic, lightning in a bottle that they had at the start of Lotus.
झाकड़ी
Gotta
मार
start
रहे.
with good ideas. As you mentioned, one good VOD review. seeing how you can disrupt some of the stuff that Sentinels were doing on this map. Maybe that's part of the reason why EG ended up picking it. Yeah, it's early days. You know, they ended up losing this pistol round so far, but it is early days. Next round should be looking to get that point.
I think we missed it off the camera there, but I believe Zekken was going for the bottle flip, bringing that back from what, 2000?
Yeah, God knows. Yeah. Okay, we will be getting into the game shortly.
आने उधर है तो उसमें क्या Red Bull ही रहेगा मेरे को लग रहा है.
Confirmations across the board. Oh, we instant replay.
Oh,
way. Leveled up.
Hey, the replay team are on it
100%
today.
accuracy.
Leveled up entirely. Trying to get something going here. Let's see. I mean, he's got that's what he's got Overwatch cheesing. He's gritted.
Fast car, Celsius.
Follow the lead. Keep it going.
Yeah, I think the problem is
yeah,
Celsius has given up on
Oh, he's given up, so he's just leaving it to the crowd.
Yeah.
They got it. It's fine. They got it. Yeah, I wasn't turned around. I couldn't see the Celsius giving up.
Yeah, no,
Generally, he was leading it.
The person who's leading it is supposed to continue and increase the tempo. And Celsius just abandoned it and started playing rock, paper, scissors with John.
That's an excellent one. Is that on buying? What map is that?
Yeah, it looks like buying to me. I think so. I was loving the, we had faces on sticks before in the crowd.
Yeah.
That's a recent new one. I do.
Are there any chance of this? There is 10%.
Yeah, every now and then. Hello, GB. What's going on here? He's like, oh, are they going to be calling me up? Up to action? The golden boy chat. You've got him creased over there in the corner. He's loving it. Right, let's get started. Here we go. Byron VG. Keep the energy going.
By Saucy by 6-0 पे क्या scene?
Them to try and shut down some of the stuff that Sentinels are doing. This is such.
Saucy पे भूल गए क्या initiator है?
All the way through the orb. Not worried about anybody playing up close here. Flash through around the corner. 4 of them standing their grounds now with 10's earning that ult.
Oh yeah.
Stimmy drop down. That's a fast fish. It's a very fast fish, and he's going to be taking a nasty chunk out of the elbow. Player detained, but it doesn't really seem like there's too much of a follow-up. Superman's still going to be holding down the ground. It is Hookah, but he is going to be spotted out. Bullets going wide and around.
Ah, short bay.
He's locking this one down for his team. That one avenue that just wasn't accounted for, and it's made that so much more difficult here for Sentinels to really get themselves through, get that plan going, running and gunning, but it's all covered with the rifles. Surely should be John QT 1v2.
The spike's down. There's no real need for EG to be fighting this.
They double up in a high-low.
Impossible. Impossible.
All of the pressure here is on John to make something happen.
There it is.
अच्छा खेला EG.
EG's strategy against the Sen BXA is just to dominate Hookah.
Yeah.
They're taking short control, Hookah control, so that they can access the teleport, come in. They can sand crunch off Superman's contact if needed. Otherwise, they can just fight this. And this is where the adaptation needs to come from Sen. Either you throw another Brim Smoke on Hookah and you don't worry about it and you go and fight for like elbow control or something like that afterwards. Or you've got to try late backstabbing, but that runs into the problem of the players with short control are going to crunch you. Or you can try to re-clear Hookah pretty aggressively. Or split with a lot of players.
Have a big emphasis over towards B long. This time not disrespecting the Viper Orb though.
Detain हुआ तो मारा कि नहीं क्योंकि हो सकता है उसको help करने के लोग रहेंगे ना.
Just jiggling.
वो लोगों को साइड खाली करने का है, हुक्का खाली करने का है,
know how close these Sen players are though.
Elbow में एकदम deep city side detain.
But loose with the Seekers now, and that will hopefully clear a path for them. But the Snake Bite's definitely doing some decent work. It's going to be stunting this push. Many attempts here to stun. There is that connection. Bullets flying, smokes fading, barely alive, but nature backs away. Surprised they weren't able to get that kill onto Zekken.
I don't think Zekken realized he'd been seen in that position.
बचा है वे उसके टीम में.
Themselves control over towards Tube here. Stuns are trying to set this one up. Flooding through John QT. He slaps them down. A pesky problem in the backside, but no longer. Chanting. Spam through the smoke. There's one kill on the 10s. With the damage done to nature, they don't want any part of this.
Giving up very early on there in the 2v3 retake. There's quite a bit of damage done to Zekken and John as well, but EG playing things very safe.
भाई सॉसी भाई एकदम डुलिस जैसा नहीं खेले लेकिन
This
सबसे
time
पहले जाके
EG
मरे
did not go for that dominating hookah approach. They had a much more standard setup. I don't really think they anticipated how deep Sen had gotten across
काम
B-long,
बंदा है
as
ना
you
लेकिन
point out,
जॉन
Red.
ड्यूटी
They
पे
had one on top of two, one under, and then they were forced to kind of backpedal a little bit. Got caught ever so slightly. Second did a great job here of getting out. Sassy's getting tagged by bullets there. But the fact that Zekken's out kind of allows the rest of his team to eventually still cross through. And the play by John seals the round. That's absurd shooting by John. This buy is an unusual
it's pretty dire. I mean, they keep the two rifles that they save, but no one else really able to buy up around it.
Yeah, Derek's got 0 credits to his name.
It's a strange one. Nine these players with the rifles. Tap, Jorg.
Apoth is also using smokes really early on in the round. He's used one already outside showers, and that's a kind of default one he's putting, but then he's generally been throwing one over towards B.
He walks all the way up again. I mean, Senna contacting through all of these options. Into the sights, over the top. Derek will at least put a stop to Zekken. Moshpit can't quite scale through into that angle just for now. Molly, good connection, at least with the bullets there. Sen doubling up, ensuring that there's no gaps whatsoever in there. Playing EG again, forced to make that tough decision and back away. Superman, he's got no weapon. Might as well make a go of things at least to do some economical damage. But yeah, it's another round that's just over for EG.
And the fact that Apoth is putting that smoke over towards showers, he didn't really feel like investing another one short that early on. Just got caught on that sideline. Everybody from Sen was able to walk up behind the Viper.
They've been doing that a lot. A lot of contact plays early from Sentinels up through either B-long and now short.
Yeah, they're really disrespecting EG.
Yeah.
The fact that they've just walked through the Viper orb on B-long a couple times, that should be starting to send alarm bells through EG. Because if you can't force your opponents to respect something like that, it's not worth the credits you've used to buy it.
Yeah.
Take a look at the replay. The fact they're all the way through here. No brim smoke, no Viper orb on short, which again something to run in. So Senna just able to guns out contact the whole way through.
Money situation, look at that, Derek. Falls down to the half armor with the sheriff. Buy up a rifle with the rest of his team.
Superman's gonna Viper orb over towards B long again.
Just saying, maybe 1v1 आसपास को मार सकता हूँ, ठीक है?
Jordo, top truck. Damage done. Dealing it out and dishing it out. EG, they've got that crossfire fallen. Hello. Trying to really let loose with the rockets.
Clean, flawless, clean. Crucial था round जीतना.
Sen decided to send it that round.
Okay.
Something over there.
But that's what you're going to do if you're EG.
Crucial.
You're going to contact through, not use util to try and take some of that space.
ये round
Yeah,
आते
they
तो
weren't even
सीधा
contacted.
6-1.
They just jumped in through shore.
अभी hope तो है
That's a
थोड़ा.
really bizarre round from Sen. Because again, they're
Question
forcing
is
out
क्या
two brim
EG
smokes
वैसे
in the
ही
first
attack
10
कर
seconds
पाएगा
of the round.
जैसा
Apop's
पहला
using
वाला
one
किया.
showers and used one short there, and there was no call to cancel. They just decided.
मेरे को नहीं लगा.
I think it's based off the dog from Sassy
ये
seeing a
map
couple
में
players
वैसा
showers. They
वाला
thought there was
attack
free
करना.
space through short. Yeah, just
sending it again.
Trying to end this game as quick as possible.
Yep, run it up again. Trailblazer does not get broken, so all that ground gained once more. It's going to be laps for them. Snake bite into the smoke. Nobody can play through that one, but they do deny the plant. G.
Launching smoke.
That showers control, but they've lost back sight in the process. Celsius. Got this one wrapped around. It's a double flash play with a molly rebounding and flying through, spraying through with the bullets.
That's excellent. Off the dizzy info.
They know that they've lost showers control, but it matters not for Sentinels. They've got this discipline to really just instill and hone it in the middle of the round in these precise moments.
Unfortunately though, Brent, the longer they take, the more Superman might be able to get something done. They're all going through teleport and Superman's here.
Second goes down. Superman is finding another one, and now he's playing for his life as well. So they do have to try and at least take care of him. Nature almost getting another one. These 3 kills dished across the map. Sentinels slapdash in their approach, really, as well as they were trying to get onto that B side. But finally, the plant is down for them, but with a player disadvantage.
They know Superman is in market, but can Sassy find the timing? No
way. I mean, Ten's just playing this one. Oh, it's but a player nature holds that one down. The bodyguard, the VIP, the correct, precise moment still. Sentinels might have earned themselves a lifeline. Now doubled up, grouped up, got to win out these duels, and damage is done to both of these. A single bullet of Zelsis or Sassy. They will be falling to it. Jorgmo sticking, not quite, doesn't even get half. Got to try and get a move on and a go of this one, at least playing towards those win cards! Sassy! On 1 HP! You're kidding? How has he done that?
I mean, the EG players must have just lined up, thinking that they were going to be able to land a bullet on either.
There's no way. With how low those players were.
Hopefully we get a replay from Sassy's POV here.
Line them up. 1 health. 1 health.
Tyson, don't stand up.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, didn't catch what he was saying at the end there, but that is absurd stuff. A round that they really had no right winning for Sentinels.
Quarter भी बोलते रहेंगे बे अभी मतलब क्या ही
I think it was the mid-rounding actually, something that was praised so much by Kaplan and
दो
Potter,
बंदे
John
लाल
Judy's
है
mid-rounding. That's the thing that
फिर
ended
भी
up
राउंड
going a bit
जीत रहे
wrong
वो
for them
लोग
in that round.
क्या
But
ही
Sen
समझाओ
still persevere.
ऐसा क्या स्टैट में बनाओ कि तुम
Early
लोग
eyes
मारो
onto this one.
आज
gonna
की
pass
क्या
the
बात
perception
करो
check?
10 Demon 1 को लॉन्ग रेंज एम मेरा 1% भी नहीं है
Derek's ahead of it.
Fredo,
Derek's
but
ahead of it, but he's brought down 3 players with rifles. Win that one through with a stimmy as well. I mean, John QT is dodging and
पर
ducking and
आपने
weaving.
आज जो मारा है मुझे भी पास
Confusing
करो
one there. EG have such great info over towards B long
अच्छा मारते हो
and have walked out short. They kind of asking to be punished. There wasn't really any info about where Sen were playing. The Sen are keeping things slow. 5v3.
हो गया पता नहीं
No reason to do too much. Seconds opened up the whole of the B site and they could just teleport through. Great mid-round call there.
As soon as they realize their site's opened up. So again, decision being made for EG
30
here.
seconds left.
Has to be a save again.
The slower that Sen play these rounds, I think the better it's going to be for them. Because EG have got, they're using so much utility at the beginning.
Yeah.
And yet Sen have
डिफेंस का
kind of been
सीन तो है बे
just going for real fast hits a lot of the time at the beginning of these rounds.
It feels like they're limit testing almost. Just
डिफेंस का
see
सीन
what they
लग
can get
रहा
away
है
with the comp.
But this setup, you know, walking out short, you haven't heard anything hookah, you haven't heard anything showers. You're just taking a gamble based on it being quiet around the map. And there's only 3 lanes they can be, hookah, showers, or short. So walking out there has got a ton of risk associated with it for Derek and Apoth. But hey, if Sen were planning to do a 5-person hookah pop, which is something that some teams do against that Viper
इजी का डिफेंस का सीन है
ultimate,
लग रहा है
then that would have been an amazing flank timing. It's a gamble, EG went for it, and they get punished for it.
Chat 3k likes करो only
Now their economy's
20
not good.
remaining
Forced to take
timeout
attack
भी मिल
time
गया
out, and Sen
full screen
have
से हट के जरा like कर दो
myriad ways
पहले
that they can play this round.
I mean, they're just getting the ults going.
Exactly.
Like you were talking about, I mean, just keeping the ults flourishing, making sure that can snowball your advantages on the attack side is half the battle, to be honest, in most days, the way Valorant is played.
Yeah, I think the thing that makes it so powerful on Lotus is that you have enormous ultimates that are great for just opening
और
up a
इसके
site.
बाद वॉच
On
पार्टी के
Bind,
बाद
they're useful for the exit.
सुबह 6
for
6:30
sure,
बजे वॉच
for
पार्टी
sure
खत्म
stopper.
हुई उसके बाद लंबा
Amazing.
रूटर करने
But
वालों
teams are
ठीक है?
very good at
तो
coming
जो
up
लोग
with
free है प्लीज आ
anti-showstopper
जाना
setups and trying to push out different lanes.
लव यू सर लव यू
So,
रॉयल
for example,
क्या
anticipating
लगता
that
है
you're
इजी
going
का
to be
ओल्ड टीम होता तो मजा
second,
आता
with second down
इजी
and
का ओल्ड
short,
टीम
so we'll try to
एनी
take
टाइम अच्छा
showers.
है
See if we can dominate that area of the map instead.
Yeah.
भाई
Or
लेकिन एक
setting somebody
क्रेजी
up on a
चीज है
high low
कि
or, across
बहुत
triple on
मेहनत है
A.
बे
Let's
मतलब
see if we
क्वार्टर का
can
मेहनत दिखता है वैसा वाला मेहनत है
So there are more ways, I think, of countering the ult advantage on Bind. but
स्टैट्स दिखते हैं
set up in
काउंटर्स
such a
दिखते
commanding
हैं
position.
सब दिखता है
So
उसके
far, the game
बाद
plan
भी
for
ये लोग
EG
थोड़ा
obviously
लेफ्ट राइट
hasn't been
करते हैं वो
working.
थोड़ा
No.
It's been a
Clear
lot of
issue.
focus on trying to punish maybe the solo lurking player
What
with
is
John
router
QT or
app?
Sassy outside showers, but I think
सोने
they're,
जाएंगे सोता कौन है बे
they're barking up the wrong tree. You know, we've been on a lot of dog analogies today. I don't know if you saw
router कहाँ पे
the
होता है
interview
बे
questions that were
ऐप
getting brought out. Kaplan coming out with a quote with, I mean, what was it, the nervous
The
pause?
nervous
पे
What was
करेगा
it? Hugs first.
पागल हो
Yeah.
गए सुबह
What was that,
6:30
Sun
बजे
Tzu? Not
बैठ के
sure,
आरती
but
सोनू को
yeah, they honestly, re-clearing B long to be very, very potent with their comp. EG though, heavy stack. They do have weaker guns. It's like satchel across shore. He's cut the line. And the angles, orbital strike, enough damage done. Derek took 145 in a moment, so he'll go down just to the tail end of it. Jorg though, he's getting disrespectful. Let's try and make a play. Beautiful flash. That's right through the TP. That's from the long B long angle.
Yeah, that's excellent to set him up. And Apoth actually drew the boombot as well at the perfect time.
Back to grind days,
very intelligently have just gone and taken the whole of the A site in the meantime.
All of that space. You don't anticipate Zelsis here, I don't think.
There's going to be a lot of timing issues right now.
Got their eyes on those guns though. EG looking to get a bit of a firepower upgrade. Snakebite sent flying for John QT. Not that anybody was playing there. They're just looking to see if they can get this plant down, maybe.
Yeah, for backside.
Yeah, hits into the back.
Jord plant.
A Seeker is going to start drifting in from the spawn side.
Their post-spawn position isn't great for Sen, I will say.
But as soon as Zelsis realizes there's nobody here and can play up towards heaven, oh, it doesn't go for it. If Zelsis takes a risk, he can win the round.
Tiniest the differences really that can make the difference. He's missed it. There's a gap, there's a gap, there's a gap. Tiniest of one, but still with the rifles. He's locking it down. Still defender and protector of that little area. And it's a critical difference, a crucial difference. A tap onto diffuse nature. He drops. Apoth last left, but he will fall.
Sexy, be. Kya nikala raha?
Tricky stuff, but they navigate themselves through that situation.
Really lovely call.
बस मैं तुम भी कोई दूसरा
John and Zelsis, I think, that do the majority
पहले
of
मेरे को grind करना
that. Taking short control at the
एक
same
बार
time as
वापस
realizing that
high
their
level
opponents are
lobby वो
fighting
सब हो गया ना
So while all this is going on, and Jorgamo has a really nice play here, set up by nature. The whole of Sen have just taken the A side, and then the plan for backside, it's all really nicely navigated.
उसने देखा नहीं बे, उसने देखा नहीं हाँ, close.
Early skirmish. Bit of lead being exchanged down A short, no kills or casualties.
But the fact that EG control short is going to allow them to go and crunch sand and put pressure on Zelsis in this spot. So when Superman takes contact in hookah here, there's a really solid chance that he ends up getting either naded or just popped. There's now 3 players that Superman might be able to hold that play on.
Duo को दुआ किया था। वो इसका dual का मेरे साथ dual करना चाहती है।
And usually Sen
avoided there.
Usually Sen are going to take hookah control with the Dizzy.
Do they know Sassy's this push?
I don't think so.
Easy का old team,
current team कौन सा है?
Easy का
timing it. I mean, Derek's got a bit of an awareness. Well, he's put a util out into his hands. Needs the gun now. Almost it. Yeah, did not know he was going to be that close. Rocking over the top. Jorgamo close. Quarters action, but he's brought down over the strike.
Sexy ult.
Apoth will. Drops it down once more. Near sighted though and backs away, pushed away. It's gunfights that win the day. Sentinels on top of the world right now. It feels like nothing can trip this team up.
It's that disguised push from Sassy. The fact it feels like everybody is going down short there, and Sassy's got such a deep timing towards showers. Comes around and even though EG trying to stuff them in short,
one-sided win वाला नहीं था, लेकिन
a lot for nature to do.
Players, it's a team or self flash.
अच्छा pick it in
towards triple. Sassy takes the timing and takes nature's life. So
what a great round.
Yeah, beautiful stuff from Sassy.
That's 2 rounds in a row that are not pulled out of the playbook. They're based on the positioning of players and what they can get away with, and just reading the state of the game in the moment.
So curious as well about that Trailblazer that just got him into that spot. We're not going to see it on the replay, but that's like that's one for the VOD watch later probably. He's on fire right now though. 14-3.
He's cooking. His Sky has become, especially on Bind actually, so much better than it was when it was a weakness for him last year.
He's looking real particularly strong. Standard util there, that's a cross map with a snakebite. Ensures that Sen can take a lot of control of B long here. Difference is they are having to use util to try and gain that space. Ultor given up. Trailblazer broken. Boombot A lot being used here by Sentinels.
And they're going for the late backstab to try to deal with hookah control. John is there. It's a 4-1.
This time Nature will have to give some of this up.
Actually, John is not going for the late backstab.
Second का race का movement बहुत crazy है ना?
And he decides to just connect with the rest of his team on site. So this is a weird one now.
Wait, what's going on? I mean, Jorg's acting like they're not already up onto the site. They've had a bit of miscommunication. He thinks they're all still there, but a flash surely indicates in second. Takes a peek from it. They're all over the place, man. They are practically in the walls. Sentinels gained all the ground and more. Thrash now earned from that plant. Ten's going to be leading it forwards here. See if he can get any more sort of entertainment. Yes, he can. And hot on the heels, Sentinels seek to capitalize, but defend it in place. Necessary engagement to win out. John now to do the most. Tens backing away. Will fall, spraying through. Damage done with the bullets, and the reload is online for him. John, chances, 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 and delivers. He's on his feet.
Last round before the switch.
He knows he's done them dirty there.
Group देख माफ करे देखा.
How of evil geniuses let him get away with that? Apoth does such a great job defending it. He's reloading next to a smoke. And they don't try to find the timing to punish. And they don't think about the fact he's repositioned around the corner of the smoke. Devastating for EG. But in all of those scrappy moments where EG have hookah control but Sen get on site anyway, in these wild situations, Sen are navigating them better.
And Sen, they just absorb that aggression. That is desperation by EG. Derek returns the fire at least once and will drop one of the players, but ultimately the damage has been done here for EG. They are pushed out through a short, losing control of showers.
In these kind of weird situations here, where EG have short control but have lost the site information, etc. Sen have just always been better. The intelligence of the Sen players really coming to bear in this map.
Poor Jorgamo watching every possible position. I mean, they just have to satchel his way through out of there.
Yeah, and they know that Jorg is playing on that side. They're going to anticipate that Derek is on B.
Hello. Definite chances here for Derek, especially after getting that one. Notice the second was tucked to the corner.
And Jorgamo still has to stay A in case they TP.
No way. His shots on fire right now for Derek. On target too, finally feeling like he's safe enough that he can use that ult, but shot down, brought down mid-air.
30 seconds
Weird
left.
round here with only 28 seconds left. Sentinels are desperately hoping that they can find
Celsius,
Celsius, yeah, he's seen both of them TP. It's called. And he does have the spikes. He's going to be able to get this free one, yet they are so fast, rapidly. Wait, Celsius towards the default path, but he might have made enough go of it.
He's got his ult now with the plant.
Back online here with the ult. Let it loose, let it rip, waiting for the right timing. And he's got the perfect indicator for it. As soon as that spike is tapped, first contact, there it is. Derek seeking to back away, but he cannot escape it. Not the eye of this team. 10-2. The first half that is just sheer domination.
I quite liked the way that EG was setting up their defense. They had some decent ideas. They tried to mix things up a little. But Sen, time and again, in those scrappy moments, found ways of being able to take even scenarios and push it across the line into a victory.
Last player
That final round, same kind of situation, masterfully done.
That pure dominance just hasn't stopped, essentially has it from the second half of Lotus. Bit of a breather here. We'll send it down to Elizabeth. She's down on the floor in the crowd with some fans.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. I'm here with Tony amongst very loud Sentinels fans, but we're gonna play a game. We're gonna play some Sentinels trivia. No helping from the audience. We're gonna ask some questions. First question, where is John QT from?
Morocco.
That's correct. Who are the only 2 American players on Sentinels?
It's Tens and no. My bad. It's Celsius and Zekin.
Correct.
Hey, smart.
Okay. Tricky one, little bit of a curveball. Person signed to Sentinels, born on February 18th, 1996.
Ooh.
सबसे old कौन है?
You want a lifeline?
Yes.
You want a lifeline? He's watching right now.
Oh, my streamer, Tarek.
Yes, correct. And one last question. Who is Sentinel's 6th man?
1996 से?
Curry!
That's right. Give it up for Tony, everyone. Brilliant performance from Sentinels fan. We love it. And now we have some gifts.
I use my
So
Sikas
let's
to
get
be
some
here.
gifts.
I'm
It's
so
gonna be a
proud
fun
of
time,
my
and we have a
car.
game to get
Crazy
back
crowd
to. So
hai.
Red Inside Joe, please take it
Crazy
away.
crowd hai.
Excellent. Excellent stuff.
They cut the other question, which is, what's Tarek's social security number?
Yeah, not a clue. I'm not gonna lie, I was scared for my life then. GB's throwing these toys out, and I thought that was about to land at the back of my head. I had to turn around on camera just in case.
Yeah, the Sen fans are happy. Their team has made a massive comeback on map 1 and are dominating that too, despite some decent resistance. It's not like EG are playing lights out. Incredible gameplay. Jorgs at the bottom of the scoreboard again. Hasn't really been able to get going.
Streamer में आपका नाम लेगा.
There were tricky moments in those rounds, and Sen showcasing that they are quite happy to navigate them and play more of that like defaulty style on their attack side. Now the sides are swapped, and this is where Jorgamo was electric on Lotus. I want to see him tip of the spear again, getting in there, entry in, and at least even if Sen are able to close this out, showing that they can still perform.
Some signs of life.
पता लगा उधर भी किसने टीबोन बोल दिया.
Down.
Sheriffs in play from Superman. Not enough bullets there to finish off the third target. Still, he's definitely done enough damage, and a TP is called. Full rotations away. Bit of re-exploration of John QT is shut down. Celsius cutting them up now with the ghost. Spraying and praying when he's fully blinded up, and he doesn't have any more bullets to do the job.
भाई क्या लोग
He's done
किया
a
दोनों
lot
को
of damage, but
दे.
Nature's
क्या
going to try
लोग
to
किया
heal as
था.
much of that as he can.
Frenzy
So
रहता
this
सब dead.
almost looks like an impossible situation here for Sassy, who's been playing incredibly well so far here on Bind, but is put with a task that just isn't doable.
No.
Yeah,
I'd
man,
say some of these fights right now, I mean, nature,
96,
yes,
ये
is
क्या है
low,
बे?
but the
ये
double
क्या
up
है
towards
बे?
lamps, everyone down short, watching for the
He's a
flank,
real
to hear a
fan.
drop.
हराम जाता
presumably.
जर्सी पहन के एड करता
And the shot's just going
इवन
right
से ज़्यादा
there. So,
बकचोद बंदा कोई नहीं
it's a
लेगा.
pistol round for EG. The beginning of what you were hoping for, right? They brought themselves a bit of breathing room at least.
Yeah, and not just that, hitting some nice shots. Superman bought a Sheriff in that round and was able to pick up 2.
Sure.
And this one in particular onto Zekken is a great shot.
Yeah.
And then reading the fact that Sen were going to go for re-explorations in those situations, catching John and Celsius. Full
अभी ये
eco
मत
round for
बोलो
Sen.
कि 10-13 होने
When
वाली है
you're up this many rounds on a map that isn't incredibly snowbally, it's just about getting ults.
What happened to
and closing
Gambit?
things out.
No idea.
So Sen, no need to take any risks.
There are too many teams which are not there.
Look at this. Saw this one before.
Yeah, literally taking every ult he can, while Celsius acts as the human bullet spot.
I mean, what?
How's he got now?
He doesn't go down there. I mean, meanwhile, Superman pressured and pushed off the angle. Finally goes down. I don't know. Flat in the face. Yeah, Jorgamo.
And not a nice angle for Jorg to be honest, with a Spectre.
Second. Bides his time, waits it out. No chance, honestly. Bit of a fox in the pen moment. Hello. No way. It's got to be something. Hello? Anybody? Nade, drop down. He's brought half. Kills coming in. It's a 2v3.
मेरे सबसे पारो किंग नाम चेंज
Surely
करके
this
कौवा
kill
किंग
come
नाम
through
डाल.
Sassy.
समझ रहे?
Damage being
और वो
done. He's
मैं
the last
कौवा
one left
चढ़ा
though.
के आई.
We'd have to do a
Song
lot
पे
more
dance
than
करो.
that. Still, gets the
मेरे
reload
साथ.
off. Heal through. Can't quite dodge the goop going flying. And so EG
भाई अभी
calmly
सोचो
able
अभी
to deliver another round
अनबिलीवेबल
for
वाला अटैक
themselves
किया
here.
तो
So
इजी ने.
10-4 being that differential. This upcoming one is going to be the big one though. Bonus round. Seeing how they deal with this.
And EG are such a creative team, or can be, with Connor at the helm, that I'd love to see some kind of set play here to push them across the line on the bonus and really start to make this a serious attempt at the comeback. There's a few rounds where you know that the economy is going to swing in massive ways, and those are the times to dig deep from the playbook. What they got here, there's going to be a big clash at short. Both of these teams want to fight.
17 Daddy?
Just weighing it out, but they are going to be sending that util now. Flying forwards, taking control of showers. Flash as well, along with the Trailblazer. All delayed for second. Takes the first kill, first blood in his direction. With Superman down. EG still going to be going for that plant. Derek not pushed back and away.
10s on an angle they might not expect.
That's an important kill.
Still reads it.
Yeah, still reads it. Now it's brought it to a 4-on-4 for EG. into this post plan. They have firm control of lamps. There's 3 players all tucked together here. Jogamo being that backup policy. He's the one player in Showers that really needs to stay alive here as this gets later and later into the retake for Sentinels. And how do they want to do it? Snakebite, he's disrespected it all the way through there, but the damage to the bullets, he can't quite get the kill. They're unaware. Still, finally cleaning him up, spraying him through and down and out. The right click's getting betrayed. That's Derek again, trying to make the move. Second away, finally.
Yeah.
So EG. They do make the most of that bonus round, and they do earn a rifle on the other end of it. Good, he's going to be flourishing.
Good stuff from EG. Yeah. Exactly when they need it, they pull out a quick A split, getting very deep towards Showers at the start of the round. Have a snakebite line up to put more pressure on Tens so he can't fight over it. And you notice that the Sen players still had Brim Molly and Razen that they didn't use to deny Plant, because they were forced back so far by the EG execute. That's a nice execute. Really well done A split.
Is Derek still using the Sentinels Classic?
I haven't been looking, to be honest.
That's what I mean, he
didn't miss that kill. I was like, okay.
The contract said 5 gifted. I don't know whether that was permanent.
Oh, what a punish. Here in the jump spot, pre-aiming at top of the corner. Hard to pull that one off, even if you know it's coming.
क्या बोलते हो? Attack अच्छा है बीजी का.
Second holding his nerve and the nade, waiting for a bit of util to get used, and he will just let that nade rip to see if he can delay and buy a bit of time for the rest of his team.
Attack के
they are
POE से
already here.
देखते
They've stacked it.
Yeah, they also know that nature is being on. He just took the ult.
Attack के POE से देखते.
There it is.
कल से most part हो गया NS वो टाइम की वजह से.
Spam with the rifles. There's danger though.
मत करना ठीक है.
There's always danger.
Help पहले.
Molly's going to be forcing them back and away.
Done it, bye.
Getting a heads up read here that they might be trying to just pivot and rotate over towards A. Look at this, and it is a correct read. Hard rotation with the players through. EG making the moves over towards A now, taking the TP. This is an incredible call. Not sure who's made it, but again, Sentinel's going to be applying that danger. Flash broken. Tens falls. Plant finally down for EG, and just like that, steadily, the options running out here for Sentinel. So
clean.
So I was crediting the macroing and their ability to really just follow the sound cues there.
One of the big problems was that they didn't have any ability to deny wingman.
Yeah.
If they'd been able to stop the plant, then maybe there's a chance. Oh, that's a great one.
Yeah.
How's he done that? The reactions to hit a shot like that. I mean, try it in your own games.
That's what I mean.
Even you're not doing it.
If you know it's coming, it's so damn hard to hit, but
yeah.
They're the best players in the world on these stages, so now better than me and you, Josh.
If you say so.
I know so. I know so.
Sen fighting really heavy over shots.
Rapid! Flash going to be blinding them up, though. It means that they can't really take a fair fight. Stalemate on either side. Hello, where's that one going? Look out through the window. Didn't even know that was a possibility.
Launching smoke.
Smokes drop down over the strike. That's the catch and punish a player that might have just been trying to retreat out the back of Showers. EG aware that they've lost control of this one, and it could be the thorn in their sides once more. Sentinels fast now. I'll take this rapidly here, but it's a thrash going to be used in response. Detainment to one of the players. Zelsis, it's his job to try and lock this one forward. Second with the showstopper, holding it with the fuse, and he's just looking for one target to let loose, let rip. No kills to be found. 4v4 though. This flank of Sassy is imperative. He finds it online, lets loose the O, but he will get traded. Nevertheless, Tens to fuse, denied from the wingman. Close quarters action occurring. Apov, last one to stand. He's going to try and stop this one himself now in a 1v2. Tens just sticking the defuse onto half the nerve of the guy. Holds it all the way down, gets the kill with the molly as well, and forced him off earlier. I missed that one. That's the reason they got off of it.
Another great round from EG. And Senna have got a real problem right now. This is not just the fact that they're, EG are winning a few rifle fights or something like that. EG are getting access to the site and the plant down so easily. And then from there, they have tons of utility still to be able to play the post plan. Sen need to find opportunities to stop these hits from coming through. And most of the time on A, at least, EG are, they're kind of pivoting between doing splits through Showers and just sending everybody short. But I think one of the main problems is that they don't have enough wingman denial. if the plant is
Attack
able to get
चालू
down
करते
that
हैं लोग
easily
वापस
with
5-0
Derek
up
just sending it
होते
in, Senna stuck in a pretty rough retake position.
हाँ?
You see it there, how tough it is. It's a 2v1, but Apoth, the molly's like as good as a second player.
Essentially.
Derek,
Yeah, I missed that one when he let that loose. I
hat.
mean, I was wondering.
Just
Well, he
facts.
was just tucked towards the corner, but
Right, he was
yeah.
kind of
Second-
baiting. I think it was Derek,
second
right?
goat है,
'Cause
cute
Derek
name,
and John were
goat है
taking
वो.
the fight on the flank.
Yeah.
And
Baby
Apoth
बाबू
was
से तो हो रहा
just
था.
waiting to
Yeah.
use that lineup that we see
Cameraman
so
ने
often.
baby बाबू से ना पकड़ा.
Just a very classic position for people to be standing around here, where you're able to get this lineup that just goes straight in onto the side. Very high
सबसे
up in the air.
cutest
Takes a
मतलब
long time
सबसे
to land.
cutest
Allows you to take the
stats
fight
है
at the same time as the mollies
बहुत
being
cutest
used.
है.
Sen gonna make an adaptation with the setups. It looks fairly
Just
similar
after
to
that.
start.
नहीं,
the round.
second भी young है बे. Second young है.
Derek's got an attack side op that he's
Oxy.
taking over towards B long.
वो भी cute है.
That is interesting.
भाई इससे
He's not
young वाले
known for
मतलब
He's really
अच्छा
not.
vibes वाले player है बे. ऐसा नहीं कि young है, ego है, ये
See,
वो.
what's he do with it
मतलब
though?
वो
I mean,
stage पे खेल रहे
able to
हैं.
get the punish onto Sassy, who was just jump spotting
समझ
for
रहे
that
हो?
info.
उतने young age में वो
In a
stage पे
prior
खेल रहे हैं.
round.
फिर भी कुछ ego नहीं.
Coming out of this
इतना
timeout for EG,
positive.
I would be
वो
expecting
लोग का
Sen to go
surrounding
for
वैसा है ना.
re-clears. So anything where you can fake a bit of pressure on the map and then bait Sen into using a bunch of utility, I think that's what you want to be
अपने
doing for
इधर
at the
तो
start of the
bench
round.
पे
But EG are
immortal
taking it
box है, तो ही
real
अपना
slow,
जाती है.
very cautious.
What's going on here? Tens. Tucked and crouched Superman. Could be favoured onto the angle there. Great awareness of Tens to realise that could be an option.
NG जिताएगा क्या फिर से?
In fact, he wants to take even more of a fight. Look at this. Smoke's dropped at his back. Turns
There's
away
a
the crosshair
Mariner
placement
Mother
for just
क्या
a
cute है वो.
moment. But it's all him right now. It's a one-man army. They
NG
just cannot
जिताएगा
cross
लग
that
रहा है.
line. I threw a short. Apoth and Derek
सब
now just trying to
बराबर
get a
कर
bit
रहे
of a
थे,
move
जी.
on, jump in right into the
Before
side
they
here.
met them.
Sassy. His game plan is just to try and hold on to
एक
control of
city,
B1, but
एक
now the
hookah.
reposition here. Wingman out and open. He's heard player at least into elbow, I believe. Knows that
One
Derek.
enemy remaining.
He's going to be there, and even the ult being committed to make sure that they can seal this one up nice and clean. So, Sen finally stop this momentum, that wind in the sail that was there for EG, getting that string of rounds on their attack side.
But that's very strange because all of those attack side rounds were based off doing large execute kind of plays.
10 चिल्ला रही है, 10
And
चिल्ला रही
after
है.
the attack timeout, EG decided to try to play a slow round where their
Third map
Gecko
जा-
was
third
attack
map
side
जा-
opping to try to set up a fight. I mean, talk about moving
इतना
away
बड़ा
from
lead
what was
Sen नहीं
working
करेगा.
for you.
Unusual.
Ten's being able to get kills there is all well and good, but Sen actually didn't prove that they can stop an execute from happening. That round, I'm almost taken as an outlier. We'll see if EG go back into doing some of their more execute heavy stuff, which it seems like they're doing now. Taking some B control very early.
Way ahead of the snake bite. We push back and away from this one. John spotted. Boombot. Pops up to the box, so he's going to be avoiding. At least the nade wasn't even landing in his direction here, but now making the call for the re-clear. Sassy, Trailblazer, info.
Excuse me.
Gathered. No, at least one plays there.
Tens and Zekken were itching to go through that teleport and try to sand crunch, but didn't quite get the connection with the dog, and Superman's watching from top short.
It's all been slowed down and paused. I mean, Sen, they do have tools to try and stop this one and stunt it if an EG hit starts to come through, and here's one of them. Okay, take the fight to them! Everybody falls! Celsius even committing the orbital strike. I mean, that was what I was talking about when it comes to tools to stun that push. Not a practice play through the flash, but how does that happen?
The call is a little bonkers, but the idea is, as far as I can tell, you flash through the Viper wall at the same time as Tens and Zekken try to fight. Look, they're about to go for that side. So the sand crunch I was talking about, they had just lost short control to Superman at the exact time they went for that. They could have just played passively and allowed the Brimot to do the work.
Yeah.
And instead they're trying to be disruptive, and Superman read it. Of course, it doesn't.
ये round जीत गया. ये round
Sassy also died inside hookah.
Alt हो जाए.
So like I said, that previous round, it was an anomaly. You know, it didn't actually prove anything about Sen being able to stop these hits on the defense. A high-low setup over towards truck as John Cutie dominates.
भाई सारे B जाना चाहिए. अगर हुक्का मिल गया ना, सारे B चलो. अच्छा से execute.
Try and cleave through it. It's a hard one. Oh, nice bullets, but kill.
जाओ भाई सारे
That's the
चलो
appropriate angle though.
भी जाओ
Derek softens up ever so slightly.
Tens is looking to make the rotate over towards B here, anticipating that this could be a hookah pop.
last round
They need a little bit of information. Sassy's got one more flash that he could use to try to clear hookah, but they haven't really gone for it. They've just kind of waited long enough, and now Tens is getting the idea that it might be a short pop.
The Trailblazer flash as well, backs away from that truck position. Second,
भाई problem है
decide to take the early peek.
Wingman, any denial? Yes.
There is the denial this
ये
time. Yes,
problem
even
है
that. Kills can be found
Plant
online.
होने
Forward.
मिलेगा
Tens still dropping it down here, holding, doubled up. Him and Celsius might be able to do more
Molly
than
भी है
tonight,
ना?
but just can spam down themselves. There's only 17 seconds left here. What is the call to be made by EG? In through the back of the site, fighting this one forwards. Tens with the flash, but is again just going to get sprayed down and traded. Showstopper. Guess what? No players inside. Sentinels, they were still locked down onto the B site in case it was a TP pivot.
Every plan there for Sen was to use Celsius smokes to apply pressure to the
Portal
players
is good,
planting,
but
they lost the spam
भाई
battle.
attack क्या crazy कर रहे हैं भाई
Little bit of luck involved, but all went the way of EG.
That's all it takes sometimes, just that coin flip going the wrong way. Send now to try and play this retake. Gonna wade their way through the pit. As the
wall up
spike
करके
ticks away,
reposition भी
so
क्या
do your
देखना है इसमें
chances.
कैसे
All your opportunities, and they've realised it.
क्या
Making
scene
no
है
noise
chat
now, backing away with the two rifles that they can at least keep. So EG, again, keeping that momentum going. One slight slip up in the round.
10-2.
Hello, rifles, A-pop.
basically
down, he
अगर
does have
attack
money
पे रहती
to
इजी तो
spend over the
7-1
next.
score चल रहा है अभी
Sen,
See if
though,
that makes a difference.
yeah, they're back up to full, full
Last time
compensation, full loss bonus. It's these kind of kills
ये
though.
round
Celsius,
पता
yeah,
नहीं
he
यार
gets
कैसे
one, but
जीते
every kill that Sen got through the smoke was either traded out or ended up, getting overwhelmed. There were just more bodies there for EG. So if you're going even through the smoke like that, you're going to end up in a rough spot. Normally, spamming through the smoke favors the defenders because you can hear where they're planting.
rotate करेगा कोई lurk करेगा तो
aim your
ऐसे round
spam a
चले
lot
जाएंगे
better.
बाकी लोग TP कर
And yet here,
जब तो
EG is
plan
starting
ना
a
तो
slow
लोग rotate
comeback.
नहीं कर
And to be honest, it's time to get worried for Sentinels.
मटके
They were up,
कितने लगते हैं कि उनका
And now,
Water
it's
है
not
ना?
exactly the same level of dominance we saw in the comeback on Lotus, where Sen were
Oh,
masterfully playing their attack side,
Gee,
always able to sync up
bhai,
different types of
Paru,
ults.
so
But
ja.
EG have found a couple of things that work, and they're
Gee,
hammering them.
bhai.
And that is just as valid a way to win a game of Valorant. To find something your opponents can't do, and just keep doing it over and over again.
As any other.
They tried something different in round 18.
तो
where
क्या
they
वो
went for a
RCB
really,
वाली
slow
हरकत है
default
बैटिंग
approach, and it
अच्छी
didn't work at all. So
Excuse
coming
me.
out of this timeout, I'd like to see them
Excuse
literally
me.
not change anything. I mean, try
Please
some
don't
small
compare
variations in terms
RCB
of where you position
with
and
my EG
how you timings of the hits.
मेरा हो गया RCB
Maybe
को
whether you
support मैं
lean
अभी नहीं
heavily
कर
through
रहा
one lane or another. But broadly speaking, this execute style is working
वो
for them.
एक run वाला देख के तो मेरा
Time
हो
for
गया
Sentinels to take some risks. They're not really
वो last
going
था
to worry
मेरा
too much about
support
that economy. Need one rifle.
Yeah, I think something that Sen could try to do is go for a contact push out through showers. They know that Superman has been watching short, even really into the late
अबे
round.
अनमोल
He's
का
been
comment
watching
देखो
short and
अबे
punishing
ऐसा बंदा
Tenz's
hide
edge.
खाएगा
So if you can sneak up behind him,
मेरे साथ
look at the way
बकचोदी
that
कर
EG are
सकते हैं
defaulting
दूसरे को
right now.
काहे के
Nobody
disrespect कर
watching
रहा है
showers at all. It's Superman's job to watch a lot over towards A. It's hard to get that read though. It's easy for us to see it. But for Sen, if they're never testing that, they're never really understanding where those people
भाई
are.
मेरी दोस्त आपको क्यूट बोली सच्ची You have good friends
Gee, look like they're going to be defaulting straight back into what was working. Seekers now pushing forward. Second, getting ahead of most of them now, making sure they can play that close cut-up angle. And it has He's put enough push back to DG. They don't want anything to do with the B side. Fast rotations now over towards A, and this time it's up to Tens to be that playmaker once more with a flash in his hand. He's missed the timing. Satchel over the top as well. Celsius now, his time to see if he can really put some good work here with a classic, putting it to test. Another right click, almost another kill.
But there's just not enough bodies here for Sen.
Spotting out his Tigers though. Hello, Apoff. Back to the wall, not expecting a Sassy could be there. Nature's low enough.
And if John's able to pick up a rifle, suddenly...
It is.
Yeah.
Rifles online.
It's become somewhat doable.
Snake bite to clear out bench. No, they don't have to watch for that
That's
one
about
now.
Tap
from John.
It's
the first sign here from EG. Kills. On each side there, the crossfire setups just winning them out.
Timeout भी नहीं बचा
So
ना Sen
EG
के
never
पास
get
अभी.
another anti-eco round. Putting down Sen.
भाई क्या comeback
Those
मारा.
players over towards A, they didn't have the weaponry. And like you said, Tens
भाई
just
सुनो.
not anticipating.
भाई मैं मजाक से हटकर बोल रहा हूँ. EG का मीडिया मैनेजर जो भी है, सेन ने जो ट्वीट किया है ना, सेम कॉपी पेस्ट कर, सेम फोटो इधर उधर करके सेम कॉपी पेस्ट कर.
Kind of big execute here. Will then have Apoth with his orbital strike, with a molly. There's just so many tools for post. Tens has an op looking towards short. Can he catch them before
escaping.
the exec begins? It doesn't look
Retreat
easy.
कर दो.
Lands it, adjusting. Yeah. Nails Derek to the backboard, and Jorgamo next on the kill feed. Still, they are pushing them back entirely
EG
here.
का
The
जो
orbital
भी
strike was
मीडिया
committed a
मैनेजर
bit
रुक
prior.
जाओ.
Sen still holding control of that backside area. Throwing EG for a loop. To Nature and Apoth now. They do swing forwards. Flash repeat into the backside is excellent. It's imperative now that these players do stay alive. They want a chance into the round. Nature planting. Could we push back, but he's aware that there could be a flank online.
And there is a flank, but it's come so far. Sassy pushed all the way out of B long, and he's on the opposite side of the map going showers. I think this is quite difficult to read.
With all that time given, EG reposition.
Double jinx.
Double up now into lamps. It's up to Sen to see if they can clear most of this one. Now Sassy has util to do it, but doesn't choose to use it. He wants a contact, but now he can use it. They know his positioning. Drop down from John QT, second flash. No connection here, but he's still going to lock this one down, so the Sassy at least gets the defuse. No, he's had to get off of it. Doesn't get the half! And another kill! Locked down by EG here. Evened up 11-11.
Apoth has been a monster today. He has been amazing. He was first half of Lotus. He was crushing it.
Yeah.
Jorg's going to steal the headlines, but Apoth was phenomenal on Lotus. And every time it comes to some kind of post-plant situation, he's there. Utility, rifle, winning the 1v1s. He's a pillar for EG. Unshakable.
Nature and Apoth just making such incredible decisions. Flash retaking that prior round just made a difference to turn that into a 2v4 to a 2v2.
Yeah,
to a winnable round.
Yeah, the push into backside off the back of Nature's flash was so good. Set up perfectly.
700 watches
Again,
complete.
Sen
Love
allowing
you,
them that front sight control, even after Tens was able to pick off 2.
Map 3 bolte.
Flash committed.
Didn't spot Tens.
Didn't spot it. He's locked into that corner. Tries to get ahead of it.
Bye,
So the Dizzy blinding him up, and he is still going to be trapped into this spot here. Still deciding what he wants to do.
The fact that Sen are going to dominate B long control, that means that Derek he's never getting that thrash back.
No.
But look at Superman's position here. He is so deep in lamps already, and the dog is going in the opposite direction. So Zelsis might not read this at all.
What's going on? Crash. Clears out showers.
Oh, वो लोग को पता पूरा shower
Needs
खाली है.
rebound. Doesn't actually deny it. So they get that plant down, and just unaware that that lamps angle could have even been contested. Superman, he's done so much for them.
They disguised it really well.
Yeah, being heard now as well. Just hot onto the heels right behind them.
दो
Sentinels just trying to increase that pace and tempo. A rapid approach into the round, but they're blinded up and flashed up. Nature fights taken, but eventually traded once more. Jordan nade backs, but he catches himself onto the corner. Still EG. They wrap it up, collecting all the kills and filling up the feed with red. Up to 12. One more round will do it.
Let's make them hurt.
Sentinels cannot figure out how to deal with this. It was a more slow, reactive, defaulting approach from Sen on their attack side, but EG are hitting things hot, heavy. Sen have got no answer.
No.
And this is not being powered by Jorgamo at the tip of the spear, ripping everybody's heads off. He's only got 8 kills.
Yeah, 8 and 15. I mean, he's playing this role well, don't get me wrong, but
he's making space, but this is not a superstar impacting the game. This is
great understanding that
language. Sen have just got no idea what to do against this.
Blinded.
OT जाएगा क्या? OT जा
with quite a cautious beginning.
So if the hit comes into B,
I return in 20
we're going to
minutes.
see Sen go for something similar to what we saw from EG earlier on. Dominate hookah. They have John Cutie with the judge. Sassy can play inside hookah as well. And then you can get those teleports going. Jorg might find it difficult to stay alive.
Sand crunch. It's being called. Jorgamo. It's got those satchels, but he can't get out alive still. Vulnerability applied. Superman gone for the second one, swinging this one. Alpha 10s can evacuate and retreat. At least to safety now with a TP. Door still open, and he finds it. 3 now to stand here for EG. The Molly in their feet, they just can't quite claim that. Kills Elsis. He's getting away with it, not quite. Plant. 2v3. EG. This is for the map, a continuation of the series. Will Sentinels get their time to try and close this one out in a 2-0 fashion? They're just trying to earn their way to OT.
They have a player advantage, but they have no info about where EG are.
This fight is important. Tens lose it out. And how do Sentinels take it? On the cusp, on the precipice, time running short and running away from them. EG realize it, they recognize it, and they can feel it and sense it out. Sassy burned to a crisp. And if the Molly didn't do it, the button certainly did. 13-11, EG got all the way here. Map number 3.
2 incredible comebacks. One comeback deserves another, and EG on buying look amazing on their attack side.
Yeah.
Sen have got to go back to the drawing board there on Bind because there are tons of teams that are doing the same kind of stuff. That's very reminiscent of the way that EG played to a team like 100 Thieves, where they just execute heavy, finding good mid-round pivots through the teleports. That looked really good from EG. And I believe that was the first time we've seen them play the map as well.
It was. They come out swinging.
Yeah, looking lovely.
I mean, this is just, it's always the games you don't expect, right? Always the games you don't expect. You look at this one on paper, you're thinking, hydrogen bomb, coffin baby, should be wrapped up. No issues for Sen, but this has just been lights out from EG.
Please, I beg you, up to pray as well.
Yeah.
Gordon, thank you so much for the one gifted, Gordon. Love you.
And yet maintaining that composure and belief. We're going map 3.
We're going all the way. Quick break time, but when we return, the analyst can be getting us all nice and ready for that critical map number 3.
Thank you so much. Huh? Huh? Itni jaldi. Gordon, thank you for the 5 gifted and the 10 gifted and the 20 gifted. Excuse me? Excuse me? How so fast? Hello? Hello? What the fuck? Yo, 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 yo. Guys, those... Huh? Bro, holy shit. Holy shit. Gordon, what the fuck? Guys, those who are getting gifted, please tag Gordon Walters and thank him and kiss him. Like this. Everybody who's getting gifted. Thank you so much, Gordon Walters. Thank you so much for sending a lot of gifted within a minute. What the fuck? Thanks, Gordon. Bye. Love you, Gordon. Love you, love you. Take this vada pav. Take this. Love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much once again. Guys, those who are getting, please make sure to tag and thank him as well. System hila diye. Gordon OP in the chat, guys. Gordon OP in the chat. W hai. Heavy gift, huh? I think total of 75, if I'm not wrong. 70. 86 gifted. 86 gifted, bro. गॉर्डन भी लाइक मेरे को जो भी दिखा मैंने दे दिया. पहले 1, फिर 5, फिर 10, फिर 20, फिर 50. 4-5 ऑप्शन थे, पांचों दे दिए. हाँ. God will like, I can see only 5 options. I gave it all. Crazy scenes, crazy scenes. Send tweet by sends needs a apology tweet. Hey, sorry. भाई वो लगते रिवर्स किया. ओ भाई साहब, भाई सेन का ट्वीट्स भाई, सेन का ट्वीट्स ब्रो. ओ शीश, दोनों रिट्वीट करना पड़ेगा, दोनों रिट्वीट करना पड़ेगा. क्या ट्वीट कैसे ने देखो बे. रुको मैं वॉशरूम जाके आया. I'll go to washroom and be right back. पानी भी लेके.
Advantage picked up for Cloud9. They're going to excel into this B site now. APOC had a rifle.
So Sentinels picked up their first map, and then EG decided to return the favor in kind. And EG now have forced a map 3 in this series. Welcome back, everyone. Golden Boy here alongside with Athena. You got Mimi and Ender to break it all down. And guys, I mean, what a way for all this to go for EG. Unbelievable.
I have never seen anything like that. In 24 rounds of play, neither team won a single retake. EG was 0 for 10 on retakes, Sentinels was 0 for 11 on retakes, and it started with EG's post plants this comeback.
Yeah, and they won in their second half, literally all but one round. They were disgusting on this one. In particular, I think you have to highlight this team's site execute. So well put together, combining the Gecko and the Sky utility. When Sen was trying to fight forward or use that normal Molly stall util to stop the plan on the A site, they were getting ran over.
Yeah, it felt like every single part of their executes were so good. They were execute heavy. When they got their plants down, they didn't stop to just sit there and wait for the other team to retake. Instead, they were pushing and pressuring backside and putting a wrench in every single time Sen tried to retake. They played that phenomenally. Even their mid rounds were on point. They pivoted so much with those TPs. They decided to play the mid round so good, faking out a little bit, taking those TPs and just playing on the fact that they know that Sentinels gives up that shower position, gives up that long B in the middle of the rounds.
This game was so indicative to me of why the Gecko pick has become so incredibly common here on Bind. When you're on those executes, not only do you have the strong flash combo with the Dizzy, but you can also be planting. Well, you have all 5 guns up, ready to fight forward and ready to deny that Flood retake. For a long time, those Floods front sight have been dominant on Bind, but like you said, Chrissy, no one won a retake.
No one could do it, and I think so much of it, if we're just looking at the second half, was APOC. I mean, most of every round, he was just playing somewhere in A short, sending off a Molly lineup, and the combo of those Mollies with the Mosh and his gunplay in those late round moments was unparalleled.
This morning, we were talking about if EG's gonna win, Georgimo needs to be back. He was map 1, they lost. He was double negative this game, and they just came back into it.
And they beat the best team in the world.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It was crazy. Like, every single person performed. Every single time in any retake, when it looked like there was any doubt, one of the players just had an insane 2K or 3K to finish the round.
Yeah, that post-plan stats, like that's...
I've never seen that before.
If you can do it, I can do it too. Like that's what, yeah, that really is quite bizarre. But hey, it goes to show you, man, this has been, honestly, this has been a bizarre series. I'm going to be completely upfront. From the way that Lotus went with, obviously it being such an attack-heavy, map and, just the rounds that were just being dropped. And now this one being just such a attack-heavy game as well. It just feels like both of these guys just forgot, defense wins games, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that the old adage, right?
Something like that. But the guy who won this game for EG in large part was APOC. We already talked about him, but he was insane. He had huge impact in map 1 with his Cypher cages and his anchoring to make that Sunset game so close. And then in this one, it was those lurks that were impactful seemingly every round. Sen really couldn't commit to these flanks, commit to fighting forward space, because he was such a thorn in their side.
Yeah, most of rounds he was, just playing that Molly stall, but you saw like the round he went all the way around the world, putting on his best calm cosplay. play, you know, and going into backside to get his kill. Like, it was working for him no matter what he was doing. And I think the reason why a huge flank round like that works for him is because every other round, Sentinels have to spend 15 seconds hunting him down on short, because where's this guy throwing the lineup from? So they don't think it's surprising when he doesn't show up on the map and he's actually going on a flank.
Well, folks, this puts us at a map 3. Here we go. Look.
Hey, भाग के आ गया मैं.
Murna might be a gosh darn
भाई
genius,
क्या
because
चल
she
रहा है?
did say 2-1 and you guys scoffed at her. You
आज
scoffed
100
at her.
gifted मिला है chat.
Sentinels,
That's
who knows
very
at this
true.
point?
She did.
Chat जिसको भी वेनम वर्नॉन फ्लावर से गिफ्टेड मिला है, प्लीज उसको टैग करके थैंक्स बोले. थैंक यू वर्नॉन फ्लावर, थैंक यू सो मच. Thank you for giving me gifted when I'm in washroom doing my nature's calls.
The crazy thing is that this
Thank you
series
so
been
much.
like a 13-1 game 1 for EG, and then a
100
13-2 game
gifted,
2
bro.
for Sentinels.
102.
Won the pistol round map 1 in the second.
102 members today.
Right, it's like that.
OP!
Imagine you hadn't won the bonus round. In the second half, you're bind. It's a different game.
Both teams in their second half went down have won the bonus round to then go on this comeback. It's crazy.
Well, here we go. We got ourselves a game, folks. We're going to map 3. I know all the Sentinels fans
VCT attackers, not Americas. VCT
How
attackers.
this is going to play out. You cannot sleep
ये
on this
टूटा
Evil
चाहिए,
Geniuses
ये
roster,
करता.
not by a long shot. Here comes the agent select, and let's see what we end up getting out of this one here, Myrna.
Yeah, I think these agents are gonna be sick. We saw Sentinels kind of keep this KO Gecko going, and I really love the Gecko, but I do want to see more trap plays outside of this because it is a little bit harder. We do have EG with the full trap play comp, the Fade Tether able to go with the raised nades, the breach stun, but we did see actually just yesterday a lot of teams falling to these trap plays on Sunset. It is so important for this defense side in order to be able to shut down those choke points, and it feels like with a comp like this, EG is more
ये
than
ट्वीट अच्छा, ये ट्वीट अच्छा.
EG have a
VCT
chance to
attackers.
do something unbelievable. Everyone thought their season was over. If they lose this map, they are guaranteed out of playoffs. But if they can make this comeback happen, it'd be ridiculous.
Well, let's see if the Evil Genius's master plan comes to fruition.
But
All
we're
the
like,
Sentinels, hold on. Let's
चलो आज Zomato का खर्चा निकल गया. Chat, like the stream.
Let's find out here. Map number 3. It's Evil Geniuses versus Sentinels. And EG, I think, are playing with that
Guys,
kind of
EG's को भी
momentum
किसी भी
behind them
membership
that Potter was talking
please
about
make
right
sure
at the
to
beginning
thank
of this
them, okay?
series. Win or lose, we don't care, is what she said. You know, the pressure's all on Sentinels here. They realize that ultimately it's unlikely for them to make playoffs even if they do end up winning this one because it's a hotly contested group, let's face it. And for them, they're just showing what they've been, I guess, you know, hyped up to be. Potter has been in a lot of interviews saying, you know, we're not really showing how we've been playing in scrims, in practice, what we're capable of. And now, finally, you've brought the Sentinels all the way and dragged them out to a map that some might consider it their home ground. They're definitely very, very well rehearsed on it.
They are. I mean, I think that home ground has actually already been backed, like first round by EG. That would be split, but this is a pretty decent second for them. And EG did lose on this map just recently too. So again, on paper, Sen are the favorites. That doesn't make any difference.
Toss the paper up, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't mean anything. Not in Super Week. Second. In through the choke. Nade will take care of that unbreakable trip, so they've got access to the site now.
Lord.
Seeing probably a bit of a classic affair. Hello, actually denying the plan. Never mind. Let's pause into the play here, but a Paranoia is a second wave of that util. Allow them to try and at least get a bit more ground.
Sen wins.
It's with that kill, pressing forward, seeing if they can use all that util. EG winning it out with this pistol round once more. Under their belt, just keeping it going.
Very nicely done. They had a stun nade combo to deal with Wingman that forced the second wave out of Sen, and it bought time for Superman to come through B main. He wrapped around on the flank and got really far behind them and just got 3 easy kills. The Sen players didn't even know where he was coming from. So great understanding of EG, what they need to do. You always need to be able to deny plan.
EG wins.
See if you can set up a secondary win condition. They had a high-low setup in market as well. Had Superman not been able to do something there. Lovely beginning for EG. Now, this is going to sound ridiculous, but that is only the 8th defense round of the entire map for both teams combined.
Yeah.
People have just not been winning on defense at all.
Not where the strengths have been placed.
So, I am expecting this map to buck the trend. I think EG are probably going to be a bit more comfortable on the attack
Superman.
side. But
Superman needs the cover and fire of Apoff.
Oh, and he is there.
Yeah.
But even so, like I was saying, getting that pistol round off the ground, if you are going to trend attack sided, at least you got this to be able to work on. In theory, the EG comp does have a lot of places that you could run trap plays. It's actually a little difficult to get them working. I think it's easier when you have maybe even the Gecko online. To be honest, Sunset's just a difficult map when you're on defense to try to capitalize on stuff. It's mostly about using utility to push the attackers back, not necessarily to get the kills off the back of it.
I'd agree with that. Sentinels though, just seeing if they can scope out some of the setup. Overwhelm it now just with the raw bodies. Aftershock be good there in terms of the placement. It is
very nice. Set up with the fault line as well, so John could not escape.
24 seconds left. This again just gathering that information, so we're knowing that
this is like pretty common.
One of the massive strengths I think of EG's composition, or this kind of style of comp.
Where are you sending the spike?
10 seconds left.
it doesn't matter.
It's not going anywhere. I can't see they're walking into EG, into the mall. But I think one of the big strengths of EG's compositional archetype is that you can stack a strong side of the map with Initiator utility or a Paranoia and Jorgamo, and then the weak side of the map is where you have your Cypher. So if they want to rush the weak side, they can excel up in trips, and that is the only way you improve solo. But Sen used to play this composition themselves, so they should be pretty good at figuring out its weaknesses. That's what you would be expecting anyway from the team that won Masters Madrid.
Yeah, certainly.
अभी से बता के रखो देखते हैं.
Alternating.
Yeah, there's so many different setups you can run.
भाई उनके पास guns तो है दो बुलडॉग दो स्पेक्टर. Upset तो कर तो सकते हैं.
There are just almost an infinite amount of ways that you can set up the cipher.
Good bonus possible तो है.
This is nice. Control of B main early.
भाई क्या होएगा बोलता
हूँ. Sentinel players Jorgs there early as well.
Blind ये सब करके Jorgamo एक को मारेगा उसकी ult आएगी वो दूसरे को मारेगा 3v5
weak side with the cipher on it. And then you can mix it up a couple of times on your defense where it feels like the strong side but then it has trips behind it.
एक को मार के मरेगा फिर पूरा retake
towards the A side. The trouble is it's quite a distance to try and get over, so you're going to be making a lot of noise in the process here. Apoff chances. He's with the raw spray through with all those bullets. Double flash play. Apoff has to respect it now, and he will back away.
वो लोग introvert से.
Having to push it away and back. Lovely molly. They just sailing into the right corner and spot there where Apoff was just trying to hide.
This is a really nice spot because you don't get caught by the Paranoia, but did get caught by that flash.
And then just trying to play off with it. Paranoia pushing forward. Celsius capitalizing off the advantage. Still kills. Going to be evened out here. Might even be forcing these ults out of Sassy. Has it available just in case it's needed.
The call made to save it.
2 players left alive on EG. I think it should be a smart one. Assuming that they can get themselves around it. Fault line. At least with the one, should be a kill. Indeed, it is, but it's crossfire setup, and now finally the ult, just to really seal it up. No more time left allowed. We're available into this round, so EG, consolation prize. A lot of damage being done to the economy here for Sentinels.
Yeah, that's an astoundingly good bonus.
Pulled out.
Yes. You force Thrash.
Good bonus.
Every single gun drop for Sen. Apart from getting the round win on the board, it couldn't go better for you. And you see here that Sentinels actually do understand what they need to be doing in the post plant. They can't just hold post plant positions because you're going to get hit by stun, Paranoia. There's a great Paranoia that Superman's going to throw that catches people at default and in that back diagonal corner. And so instead they're trying to be proactive and take the fight over towards A-Link. They have got a buy out the back of this. Light armor on everybody and a Guardian for 10s.
Deep haunt over towards A. Jorgamo. Happy to take that angle up. Could have even chose to just play the angle aggressively with a showstopper, but might still do so. Does need to worry though about Celsius with a knife.
Now we're seeing. Zel's is giving a lot of respect there to that potential play over on the A side. Seeing a lot of teams just default break the trip at the top. But Sen not going for that. It's pretty spammable.
5-4. Sexy
ult
sailing a serene arc there, right into 10s with him dropped.
Bro, sexy alt Derek ka
That's going to make things
sexy.
much more doable. Jorgamo just got a walkabout. It's disrespectful, really. It's in his nature.
Nice
He's going to take
shot,
those
I'll take
liberties.
it.
Still, we'll see. How can Sen bail themselves out of this spot? There is still 40 seconds left
Clean
into
shot.
the round, which can be enough to work with.
Look, if they'd broken the trip earlier on, there would be so much more worry in the hearts of EG. 30 seconds left, and they've still got
straight into
market here. Market.
Yep, and the
here.
fault line stun. Just off of that first contact! What an adjustment from nature!
That's filthy. But Sen were not expecting there to be 3 players
अरे
ready
कौन
to
सा
receive
late
them
हुआ अभी
there.
घर पहुंचा कैसे
EG were
सब
not
बढ़िया
worried about any kind of pathing through top mid. They just left Jorg to cover A site on his
Guys.
own. Happy to play the retake. What a lovely re-clear of mid. So many teams with these kind of strategies. Very reminiscent of what Leviathan were going for. Beautifully cooked up. I found the gorgeous
guys
time.
is it time for some upset? Did Sen just jinx
Oh, you know, once
themselves?
Derek had died, Jorg had already done all of the work. He's 7-1.
had.
This time, A is very weak for EG.
Very weak indeed. I mean, no trip setups here. It's only Derek trying to feign like, okay, they are playing the fade over
Absolute
towards here, so there
jinxema.
could be more players lurking around. But Derek's just forced to give the space up. So one hell of a round to pick it. The Sentinels just go all in on their eco round, see if they get
Candy
this plant
मारते
as
रहते
well.
मेरी Twitter पे please.
The ultimate there for Superman kind of faked out a little bit. It allows him to get over here quickly for the retake, but also maybe Sen are going to be worried about this.
What
there
if
shouldn't be too many
Zekken
chances for
ult
Sen to win the
do?
round, only with pistols.
No, but Zekken did earn his ult. Just from that plant, stand up into the corner. Now that has put the fear of God into the EG players. Paranoia. Sent alongside it, the fuse is going to be running out, but there's the kill to be
gun
found,
mila.
and a gun, an upgrade claimed for Zelsis. Picks someone up and now seeks to defend the back section of the site. Still, they do have that disadvantage when it comes to the weaponry, and so it's all on Zelsis. But is 2 going to be enough? When to push back and away, talking over to the fuse. Another kill. Has he bought enough time? Sentinels from the brink. From the bloody edge.
What the
A
fuck?
monumental turning point
One
there.
ult,
At least
one
for this first
gun.
half.
When Zekken pops the ultimate, they're in just a straight up 5v5. But not only does it
I'm a fan of
kind of
Bangladesh.
delay
By
the
iOS
retake and
6,
stop
1 year
EG
ago,
from
I went to
capitalizing on the
India.
fault line, he gets a kill off the back of
I
it
tried
and
to
can
buy a
snowball
membership,
that
but
because
my
Zelsis
card
picks up a
didn't work.
weapon.
No problem, man. Love you, yaar. I
What a
hope
way
your
of
health
turning
is
things
super
around
fine
and
now.
halting the momentum of EG.
Love you.
The economy flips completely, and now Zelsis has his ult. If they can find where the Cypher's playing, although having said that, EG with a good anti-KO setup, running the Cypher on the A site while the trips are on B.
Well away from it, yeah. Round from
Oh,
Sen.
shot.
Shots.
Just a pre-fire.
Online.
Shot,
We've
way.
seen Derek go huge on this map before. Surely we don't see back-to-back thrifties. It's gonna be jiggling
Technically,
here,
easy
seeking
can
to
win
delay
this
with the
round.
Cs.
But I think Sen will win. Huh?
I'm
I think
always
Sen-
worried when teams run an anti-eco and they don't do anything for
Sen
the first minute
wins
of the round.
this
Yeah,
map.
because time is going to really become your biggest enemy.
Yeah, and you give the defenders a lot of info. I mean, you're trying to play
Already
quiet to
qualified
deny it,
now,
but
it's
you
gonna
haven't
be,
broken trips or cam or anything like that.
As they
So they
won the
keep
championship
good info for a long time.
I
Inviting
think they'll qualify
opportunities.
easy.
Maybe a chance for EG.
By Walter by.
Look at
You
this.
got
And they
by.
rip now here with that no
Gordon by
command.
bhag gaye.
Sent flying through the back of the site. Now Tens does have that paranoia. Lovely movement from Zekken. Straight up in their faces. Now he was near sighted, but despite the blind, it did not matter. He had the rest of his team to help him out. Over the last few should be Jorgamo caught, wandering.
Sen looking
Flank
clean
angle.
now. Sen
So,
looking
3 to
clean.
3. Sentinels drawn it
Sen
nice and
looking
even
clean.
early on here for Sunset.
Zels is forced to use an ultimate. There's a
भाई अभी
huge one
Sen
for the attack
जीतेगा
side.
4-3
But I
उसके
think
बाद
Sen will be
ulti
super
आ
happy
जाएगी
about that.
so
The fact that they've managed to stem some
5-3,
bleeding. All we've seen in
फिर
this
वो
game
लोग
so far is
नीचे जाएंगे
teams
6-3.
running away
6-3 for Fed.
with leads. It's
मेरे
been
हिसाब
one of the streakiest matches I can ever remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get streaky matches when one team just destroys another, but for every single half to have been like that in the match so far is bizarre. So getting something that's a bit more back and forth, it's going to feel good for both sides. Whoa, that's aggressive from
ये
Super.
message
I mean, if they
कर
just
रहे
chose to take that flash timing a little bit
Heavy
earlier.
amount.
Backwards into
Yeah.
B main.
So why?
Look,
There's no
this
way
many
he's just
members
aim, but he does
gifted,
get
yeah.
away with at least breaking that knife. Here we go. An attempt made, but shut down. Entertainment is there. Might be able to get a kill. Apoth, he's taking up that space once more though. Just trying to avoid these bullets away from it inside the smoke, and they do deny that plan, but dealing with Apoth. Still, put a pause into the round. Whether Sen wanted it or not. TP faking it out. Tens is inside the smoke now. Expecting it onto the high ground angle and approach. I think that's just spam potentially. No, it's down. It's taking up that main angle. Kills all over the place here, but only 3 bullets left for Zelsis and not a lot of health to do it. They peek him together. And a kill collected once more. It is back and forth, man. It's scrappy at times, but EG holding on to a bit of a lead.
And I love what EG are doing with their B defense. Somehow, Superman's in position to kill 2 over towards market. So already a huge advantage for EG. What is this? The fault line to back him up as well. But it's this flank that's happened both times. Sentinels have tried to go B. The plant gets denied. And then because that takes so much longer then for Sentinels to get into good post-plant positions in B main, because EG are dragging out that portion of the round where you fight on site, they buy so much time for somebody to come and flank. Yeah. It was Superman who did it. Was that on the pistol round, I think? Yeah. It may not have been. Memory might be failing me there, but Superman's definitely gone for that pathing before. Derek doing it again. You know, we're watching the players on the floor here, but I can see the minimap and Sen are pinging that out. They're pinging out the flanks, the flank pathing that EG are going for on the B retakes, and that's a big thing to deal with. You know, you can shrug off rounds where it's a bit of a rifling issue or something like that, but if there's some big strategic flaw in the way that you're playing the execs, you've got to address that. And so I think it's the right time for a timeout.
More difficulties that potentially Sen might have to overcome in these next few rounds as well. If you look at the ults, EG are coming online to, I mean, a heavy number of them. Showstopper, Nightfall, Falling Thunder could cause any number of issues if they. EG have been disrespecting this B main take of Sen. At least Superman has.
This time though, contacting, no knife being thrown, a cam.
Close most of it. That's the way the info too. It's flashing an A to peek through Zekken. He's in with the satchel still. What about Yuto being broken? Turns. It's back to the wall here. No shot, no chance. Eventually
almost 3 kill mara.
So they've gone in fast onto B, taken the fight to EG, and got in before the plant could get denied.
Question is, has Apoth done enough? Especially with Jorgma, he's holding it heavy artillery ready and waiting. Right to the feet. And Zekken, it's turned to mince meat. Jorgma though, has to dodge and weave around this pillar. And Sassy, that's precise. Just the aim in time there to bring this one again. It's 4-4.
This is guaranteed back and forth. This is guaranteed to be our most even half. We've had a 9-3 and then a 10-2. Even if one of the teams runs away from it from here, it's going to be more even than we've seen so far. This time, very different approach to the beginning of the round from Sen. And then even with EG, 3 players on the retake, all 3 very close to their ultimates or had it online. And Sen managed to spread out. They didn't just default back to that B main post plant situation, which would have been too readable in that spot, I think. So great calling on the fly from them. And a great adjustment from Kaplan. But how many times can you run a strat like that?
Still, Sentinels have found that economical advantage, narrowly avoiding it. Jeez, fault line, it's a flash, it's a nade, it's all rebounding, ricocheting. Zelsis, man, he's not allowed to play the game!
But he's given information that there were 3 players over towards A, so he's made this call for Sen to hit B. They should be able to get planned down, there isn't really any denial here. The issue is, EG have got massive ults for retake. Look at it, Nightfall, Rolling Thunder. If Sen all just drop back into B main, I think this could be a bit of an issue.
It's a chance for sure, but you gotta think, I mean, he's only talking about yeah, Tens his way out of it. Insanity! Just dropping him inside the smokes and talking about it's a level of unawareness, and that's a timeout. Accounting
Aim is fully warmed up.
So good from Tens.
Aim is
EG have got such
fully
huge
warmed up.
ultimates, and Sentinels could have very easily fallen over there, even with the better weaponry.
Reset कर ले किसके साइड पे हो? Sen.
It's a teleport play that he goes for in order to get inside this smoke. He goes in front of the Nightfall, doesn't give away that he's on site, and cuts off those players that are getting in for the retake. That's massive.
It's not just that as well. The prior adjustments they were taking and talking about in the timeout. The flanks coming in.
Yeah.
Jorgamo was a threat in that round, arguably. I mean, with the rifle in his hands, but John QT deals with him.
Getting a
good read of what EG's setups look like. This one, I'm not huge on. This is what EG have gone for a couple times where it's just the Cypher over towards A. I'd like to see them run a weak side that still had somebody supporting APOT so that they can do a little bit of spam, a little bit more pressure. Because Senna getting the site too easily.
No Jinx brings Jord. Thank you.
Site. Zekken. It looks like he's out in the open here, but he's playing an off angle. Should be able to get one kill. Andy has his ults really just overstayed out.
Will Sen get out of Diluz now?
Now he's going to use it. Doesn't matter if he's stunned up. And it is going to put that pause once more into the round. It saved them last time when they were on that Thrifty. Rocket Fuse running short, but it doesn't matter. The kill is there, EG. They paved the way, and can they really battle through all of this one, especially with that flank coming out from John QT. Superman defusing, half on board already, and it is being defended. Locked down onto these angles, sideline stuck all the way. And yes, everybody falls, but EG, they win the round.
Yeah.
That's a rough one, man, from Sen's POV. They had the flash, they were ready to peek, but it's not planted in that tuck default position. It's out in the open. In theory, a better place, but nobody's A-Link, and John's flank a little too late. It looked really nice the way that they popped Zekken's ult to stop the retake happening. But EG really decisive retake from them.
No hesitation.
Especially considering we had 0 successful retakes on Bind, not one. That's the first one we've seen in eons.
The stats are wild for this game. That is an unusual smoke. I mean, it just cuts into the floor. And Celsius goes down. That's an early peek from Tiles. I mean, Jorgamo, how's he found his way into there early? We catch it onto the replay a little bit earlier. Senna left wondering, now which direction do we really take this round into? Losing a player for your opening, never ideal. The door being closed down, market, a decision being made for them, really. Contacting though. This can be risky.
As soon as Jorgamo sees that smoke, he should have an idea that there's somebody trying to pass through mid.
And still alive.
I say C, I mean here, but
yeah, drop down to 3 health.
EG are still dominating B main. It's a really odd round where Sen have control of the middle of the map. Can they catch Jorgamo again?
They do.
And I think what we saw on Bind is when Sen found themselves in tricky spots like this on their attack side, they were so good at figuring out the correct decision.
It's a bit of an experience diff.
30 seconds
it's a high-low now for Sen. Towards Boba, the map really just flipped on its head. TP forward, Superman.
Wow.
Pretty much required. I mean, the man's got a judge near sighted. Can't quite fire it blindly into the traces. Tens gets away with it. Still Sassy. It's avoiding all of that utility that was sent flying across the map. Pop with a Spectre. So he's disrespectful. He's all over the place, but John QT pops up that kill. What can he do in this spot? Flash avoided and dodged. Nature spots him up top now. The call is made for EG. These two players need to double up here. Derek. Side by side, John QT. Could be pulling off an absolutely magical performance. There's the first one, Nature not gaining it, not having a defuse, but the kill was sealing up anyway.
Had to hit that one, Nature. He shot with the Guardian just before. Had to go back, tap, headshot with the Guardians. Lovely to put EG up to 6.
Last round in the half.
It wasn't a difficult bar to clear, making it the most competitive conflict we've had in this match. But this one, it really has just been much more of the adaptation of figuring out each other, rather than one team just getting the edge.
It's been excellent to see. I mean, in a sea of just one-sided performances over the course of Super Week. To actually see that back and forth between two teams.
Yeah. And what a round from Apoth too. How has he managed to do 2 with the Spectre in that? Playing inside the cage. Knife for market. It's going to tag onto Jorgamo here and let them know that the raise is over in that direction.
Okay.
Good job.
No command.
It's not catching the Cypher.
Go button press, Superman. So he's going to do some damage there, just playing and dominating that main angle, but he's brought down. Gorgamo does up the Phantom. Surely doesn't make a go of this one here. There's a trip at his feet. He spotted it. Out broken. Goes for it.
NT.
Not sure if there was some util to at least just combine and conjunct it together here. Tens eager to really take even more fights away from them here because this is the final round of the half for EG. Your options are now massively limited.
I feel like with the lighter weaponry, EG lost the plot a little bit. So many solo plays in this round so far.
Yeah. Nice one, yaar, second. Nice one.
Sticking together, supporting each other. A flash peek to close things out.
NTRG.
A 6-6 half. Couldn't get closer.
Could not get closer. 6-2-6.
But I want to remind people, we've seen no team do well on defense. Coming into this match, we had 7 rounds total from both teams combined on defense. So maybe EG have already done enough by getting 6.
Something is going to miss right now, but we'll see and find out, of course. I mean, the series massively heating up. Let's send it down to the AORUS steps to break it all down.
Thanks very much. Thus far, the closest defensive half we have had. It is a great start for Evil Geniuses. Myrna, you wanted to walk through one of these rounds of how they made that happen.
Yeah, EG had a really phenomenal round on round 4 where they actually prowlered all the way deep into A main. They saw that Zelsis was running away, so they took that space. Derek took that space towards mid and actually pushed and use the fade ult. This is actually the thrifty round Sentinels won, which I think went crazy
It stole it right back. Look, Zekken pops the showstopper so early, which is such a gutsy call to go for on the full eco. But it shuts down that entire shot flood for a good 10 seconds. Then EG, they'd already used their fault lane, they'd used all of their retake utility. That gets countered out by one ultimate, and Sentinels fight their way out. The spike isn't able to be held for Jogamo, and Sentinels play a very nice round. I thought that was a great call coming through.
Yeah, it was wild, but EG really played it well mid-round. They used the fade ult towards mid that round to go really aggressive. They got the ult off. They got the players peeking towards that mid, and they made such good mid-round rotations towards the defense side, something that we haven't seen from either of these teams so far.
And genuinely, if it wasn't for the trap plays EG were running, that half could have been much better for Sentinels.
But Sentinels have recovered it to that point where it's 6-6, and it's still possible for them to close it out. They already stole that map 1 away from EG. How can they stop that from happening again?
How can EG stop it from happening?
Yeah.
Honestly, I need to keep seeing Jogamo. I think he's looked much better in this third game, and we need to keep that form on top. It has been very hit or miss from this player, but if they're going to beat Sentinels, he's got to be hit.
We've known EG to make a miracle happen before. Last year, we thought their season was over. It was out of their hands. It was another team winning a game to even get them into playoffs to start that wild run. If they want to stay alive in stage 1, they need to close this map out as we head into the second half with Bren and Sideshow.
Let's get it started then here. A lot of questions that we've got that are about to be answered as well, especially when you take a gander at the defensive halves of these teams. For Sentinels, they're going to want to get that pistol round started. Build up the economy, build up the momentum. But for EG, they're on the cusp of pulling off the impossible, really.
In this pistol round, full initiator utility being bought for both initiators on EG.
Busy flash re-engagement, it's all being combined and connected. Surely it's a little bit messy. Sentinels barely seeing if they can squeeze out the edge in that mid fight.
Nice reaction from EG, realizing that they were losing the mid fight. Or
rather, the mid fight was petering out, let's say.
They decided to pop in the beat, make sure they could get the plan. Didn't hit the trip. I mean, what are we looking at over here with Apoth? I mean, you are miles away.
Absolutely, Eon's away. It's got to get a move on, it's got to get a jog on here. It's already, that pressure's being applied here with the tap and tens with the kill. John QT though, dropped down to 15 health. One bullet, one single bullet will do it, a reload! And a smoke fades, clearing the way.
Great pistol from EG. Really utilizing both teams, all of that initiator utility that they brought into the pistol. EG went for a very classic mid take there. Sen went for a mid re-clear, and the EG players that were in B main just decided, yep, this is our chance, going to accelerate into the push. Great response from them, and good shots being hit too. I mean, Superman does a good job there of being able to take down Zekken, put themselves up into a favored situation. EG in the driving seat.
This is a nice spot.
Sentinels
took a thrifty to swing that momentum back, at least to make it even in this first half. Thrifty and some ultimates, which they're not going to be anywhere near.
Second's game plan on Bind when it comes to these ecos is literally just to run around and hoover up the ult orbs.
A lot of noise being made here by the 7 players. I think EG don't really want too much to do with this market, but it's going to be that face with the guns, seeing if they can earn themselves a free kill. Good discipline from EG, though. Cam will be able to see all. Great spot onto the players. They can't quite pre-fire it either.
But are taken out.
Sen can now look to try and stack.
With APOC not going down, though, there isn't too much danger here. Sen are going to try to play a little bit of a flood, put pressure on the planter.
Yeah, a few kills coming through. Denying the plant for now. Maybe even a few more. 2 bullets. No, it's watched for.
No. But usually that's not going to be how Sen play the A-side defense. Yeah. Normally, they're going to be looking to play retakes with an overwhelming amount of utility. They've got nades to come through, a paranoia on the line, flashes, molly, and then all of the gecko detail too. It can be very overwhelming the way that Sen play the retake game. But we've seen more and more teams in post-plan figure out good ways of being able to use their initiator utility to put pressure. And they cancelled the fist bump there.
It's getting frantic. Bonus round again for EG. Let's see what they can do. Jorgamo. He hasn't taken a pause or a breather so far from his absolutely sublime performance in the first half.
This is very fast up through mid.
Yeah, they are just fully disrespecting it. Look at it. I mean, they're going to put a squeeze onto this Boba play. I mean, Tenza stands up entirely. John, he's got to respond, and he will do so. Blinded up, but still gets the 2 kills necessary. In fact,
Derek may end up getting pressured here as well. They're going to figure out where Derek's positioned.
Got the info. Showstopper. This is Jorgamo, I believe, just holding on to it.
It's difficult for Sen to do anything in this spot. They don't know where Jorg is. He's not making too much noise. Now he gives it away. Knife just came back on.
Beautiful, really. Absolutely meticulous stuff from Sen. Taking on the defuse here. There's really no chance. And so 8-7. Sentinels win their gun round. They shut down that bonus.
There's a decent amount of damage done there, but it's not the greatest bonus that we've seen in the world. This pathing, though, almost caught them off guard. Tens, with his dying breath, managed to get off the paranoia that John was able to work with. Other than that, if he hadn't, in the moment, send out that flash, could well have been curtains for Sen.
And
actually, what sells it is the pace. EG were up mid onto that trip very quickly. Way before Sen had done something over towards A. You have to match the pace of your opponent.
It feels incredibly similar. Look at this. I mean,
very fast.
Yeah, very quick. Out through mid, in through B main. A little bit missed time in terms of the peek off the flash, but still almost able to collect that kill, and they still want to apply that pressure. Heat turned up entirely. Tens just backs against the wall towards the pillar. Satchor's out, holding his ground and holding it down with the rocket. Rebounding and no kill found.
Saw collapsed in a moment there.
Zelsis, something to say about it. The plant goes off though. No problems with that one. Still does damage done to plenty of these players, but he's got to try and find these fights. APOC not going to be going for any cheeky flank plays, just regrouping out from main. Zelsis dropping down, making noise. Bullet fired. He's worried about that market. Swing nature. Just takes him out anyway.
This pace is ruining Sen. EG are so fast through mid. The Sentinels are trying to set up some coordination and control info towards A main with all of their initiator setups. And EG have already taken mid through market and are splitting B. Yeah, Zeken's disappointed about that one, but even if he had got the kill, I don't think that makes it winnable for Zelsis.
Yeah.
He gets cheated perhaps just a little with that one, but EG were quick into positions, putting good utility pressure on their opponents and hitting good shots. They're in control of the game, looking to deliver us for sure the biggest upset that it would be of Super Week.
You'd have to say. You'd have to say so. Paranoia though, re-clear out in a fight. Just don't quite have the guns through him with the util online. God almighty.
This is one of the first rounds where we're seeing, I mean, the pistol was very similar to this, where Sen are looking to apply a lot of pressure at the same time as EG are taking mid. These are fast fights in mid, first 10, 15 seconds. And the thing is, if Sen can do that kind of counter-utility play with rifles online, then EG have got to start making mid-round decisions, and maybe you can start to punish them more. The strengths from EG that we have seen in this match and this year have been in their set ideas and their executes. If you can push things off rhythm, make the rounds go longer, Sen might have more of a chance.
This round lead is going to creep higher and higher here for EG.
Superman ka baap
Very little opportunities for Sen to get back into this particular round. The tide, I mean, it's just shifted. Always notice. They will make a go of things. Contacting up. Second. Seeing the jiggle, but not really the weapon for the job there. Not with the stinger.
Shot my wingman.
Wingman down. ADS with the Bulldog only returning to 1 kill. So 3 rounds now being the difference for EG versus Sentinels. 10-7. Their attack side flourishing. Looking large and in charge.
And a reminder that, yeah, even though there are 2 champions winning players in this match, this is a 0-3 team beating the winners of Masters Madrid.
Yeah.
It's a slim lead, but at the moment, they're in control of this game in the 3rd match. A belter of a comeback, 10-2 down on Bind.
Might see another bit of a coin flip here.
Is he playing really good?
Potential's there for it to take place. Second plays down that boombot, nice and early. Taking a lot of damage right through the box. Player's going to be pushed off these angles. Disrespect showcase. This is Tens. Realizing he can't give up this space, and he is going to get himself a kill.
And this is a fantastic pick for Sen to get, because it does push EG now to make a kind of decision. You know, the plan A has failed. So how good does plan B look? There's no trip. John's got to be aware that that is a gap. No way. And APOC continues his excellent gun skill all throughout today.
And this is going to sow chaos into the mix, into the ranks of it. Rolling thunder forwards, APOC! Sort of know where second is. He lands it. Perfectly precise there with that shot, and so he survives and lives another day. There's 55 seconds left in this round. EG have some options available to them. Now they seek to slow it down.
Zelsis on the other side of the map has been clearing out B main, clearing out market, just walking around trying to allow Zekken and Sassy to stay on A.
Comes down to the timing of this one. The crosshair placement, Sassy.
Nice.
He was on it before, but just getting off it for a moment as the smokes were fading. A kill allowed.
30 seconds
Offwards up now, 2 versus 2. Nade flying through. There's definitely 2 flashes here, so Zekken can work off of this one. A peek from the first, denying this plan from really going down. EG feeling like they have to take these fights down. It's only 17 seconds. Superman winning it out. Fault line, pushing them back and away. Zelsis! No chance! EG 11-7. They are dismantling Sentinels in so many of these rounds.
Nature and APOC here just looks so calm on cam. The way that they played that clutch situation towards the end is excellent. What an avenue for APOC to find an opening. But look at this.
Yeah.
Superman, Nature, they tapped the plant a couple times, bait that out. All of the utility from Zelsis baited, the peak baited from Zekken. Zelsis doesn't swing with. And they separate a 2v2 into 2 individual 2v1s. EG are 4 rounds ahead in a situation where Sen's economy is on the brink of being broken again.
Sailing away with it.
They are.
Absolutely sailing away with it.
And a lot of it is about applying a ton of pace and pressure early on, forcing Sen to play at your tempo.
I think part of it as well plays into the fact that Potter was right to some certain degree. I mean, Sen are the ones that are going to be feeling the pressure to win this matchup out.
Which is a ridiculous statement, because EG are the ones that actually get eliminated from playoffs if they lose this match.
But I think they've already accepted that, you know, this iteration of the EG squad right now, it's a long-term investment.
Yes.
It's a long-term plan in terms of the growth of the team, in terms of what their expectations are. They're just hoping to improve day in, day out. For Sentinels, it is expected that they make playoffs. And I think
it would be devastating if they missed out on playoffs because they lost this game.
I could be wrong, but I think that will throw a lot of disorder into the mix here for the groups. Because Sentinels are in a highly competitive one. There's a lot of teams that are undefeated. Sentinels have already lost 1 game. They're going to need more than just the fan support as well. Crowd is going to be behind them here, but they've got to string up. Nice set a few rounds to try and even it up against this EG squad, but they are not letting loose.
I think the 0 point there from Zelsis spotted 2, maybe even 3 players. Derek's getting
way, and you can feel it. It's overzealous. in its nature.
Face your fear.
Finalizing and finishing it. All of the util, all of the ults, cutting away these sound cues. Sassy is deafened. He's got to rely on the rest of his team here with the double face, the satchel through and away. Sassy lucky to be alive. Tens top of the box. He's earned himself at least opportunity. A breather for his team.
This was a 5v3 for EG. Potter is going to have nightmares if they lose this round.
Spike has been dropped down as well. These bullets are flying right through the box and maybe into the heads of these players. EG getting peppered into the approach. The angle will be a watchful tent. It's going to be all day long. Now with the paranoia. Triple face. Moving away. A pop. Deleted tens. One more will do it. One removed. Derek traded out.
5v3 again. If this marks a turning point for EG, Sen have managed to rally back. After they got 2 opening picks, baiting out the reclear from Sen, which didn't have enough utility behind it.
No way.
Potter won't be able to look at a VOD of this for a month. She'll feel sick every time she looks.
Stunned into shock, I guess.
Yeah, that's how ice cold tends is. No reaction he expected to win. Now that really is a missed opportunity. Now, for EG, they will be hoping that more of those opportunities are still going to go their way. But you can't let those squander against Sen.
Don't tell me it circles back again to EG not being able to close out these rounds. They should be able to win.
I mean, they're 3 rounds up at the moment. They're still doing all right. But their economy is now not so good. They're coming into the next round with Stinger, Guardian. There is actually a chance. So they've just thrown away that momentum shifter that could have seen them close out the match.
It would have put them on the 12th round.
Yeah,
of the series here.
And it would have broken Sen's economy. They would have been coming into the next round with, you know, odds and ends. They're still going to be coming into the round with a pretty bad line. But they had at least that 100 extra credits for actually winning it. So yeah, Bulldogs onto Zelsis and Sassy. Stinger, Guardian on the other side. And EG, you don't need to change the early round. It worked. You got up into a 5v3.
That's been the difficulty for them. Sentinel though, these players have been put in these spots before. Target have even come back from worse.
There's my buddy.
The Dizzy grabs info, but actually not great at being able to put flash pressure onto those EG players. They both dodged the Dizzy. And meanwhile, APOF is getting a mid for free, man.
Almost every single round.
So many of these rounds, there's not really that sense of... The couple rounds that Sen have tried to run some kind of mid re-clear, it's been when the whole of EG are in mid, not the lurker. So APOF really isn't going to punish for this. There's also a cam that John GEELI could be using that's in market that sees the toes of anybody walking through mid, but they've not gone for that one. Trip broken in market, but there's a second trip here. So nobody needs to play market just yet.
Cross is still going to be watched for.
Oh, and actually, it's not an info trip, it's a kill trip.
Yeah.
So you do still need to keep eyes on it.
APOF. He's taking these fights. I mean, he does not shy away from it. This time, though, second. Be the recipient on the other end of things. He will survive as well and give that advantage now over towards his team. EG. In the midst of all of this, though, they did get that A site.
One of our first opportunities to see Sentinel's full A retake, and it's deadly.
They've got a full kit.
EG needs something to disrupt.
They do indeed.
Oh, I mean, and this is it.
No way.
Oh,
moving around the smoke.
What an insane play.
What is going on here? Waiting for it to fade. I mean, tens in his face. It's going to be cleaned up by, I mean, evened up 1 for 1. Still with that showstopper. It's sent flying through. Zekken, Fuse. Falling short of the mark there, not for the kill, EG. They're finding all of them. It's still Sassy defusing hard, but eventually shut down in their tracks. It's 12-8.
What the fuck?
And EG now. We said they need to not let it slip. There's opportunities, and that was honestly like a 4v5, right? APOF went down early.
I mean, they shouldn't have been able to win that one. It's a 4v5 where Zekken's coming back in with a retake with his showstopper online as well. Jorg, this is such a cool idea to get into this spot. But that actually allows the rest of his team to dominate A lane. The retake comes through from spawn.
Let's go!
how much it means.
Yeah, the rest of the post-plant players just fighting there. We're already into the last one.
With Zekken, he's so quick onto it. The approach here to fall line not enough to slow him down from
Hero Vandal Bay.
But again, advantages. What do they really even mean in a match like this?
By rotation पे कितना
both
fast
sides
किया
converting
है
them,
उसने B में.
even when they're a player down.
There is a 3-player stack on B. Sentinels reading the fact that this reaction would come in this side of the map. As they can start to lean away. But the fact that the trips have not yet been dealt
तुम लोग
with,
सब मेरे पे डालते हो भाई. 10 जन उधर खेल रहे 2 कोच के साथ.
Jog should be able to deal with it with the blast pack.
मेरे पे डालते हो यार.
Goes back around the corner, worried about some sort of trap play that could be on the cards here. Tens, shotgun, Judge, not able to get it off there. Not even a single shot. I mean, Derek winning that out is imperative. Sassy, hoping to catch the backstab here. A lot of noise being made. Sassy could be that difference maker. The TP players in. They think it's fully cleared out. They're looking in the complete wrong direction. Backs around the corner now. Rocket at the feet. To claim this kill
30 seconds left.
for them now. Just 2 standing for Sentinels. The guns aren't good. And 1 round will do it.
G जीतेगी.
Spike planted.
Turning point in the series and the map overall. Superman smoke. Drop down. John finds it. Doubled up now with him and Celsius spamming and spraying away with a Neurofeft will reveal these positions, and Jogamo forced to respect it. He backs away now.
C's caught onto John.
But it all comes down to this. C's will slow them down. Knife against it close. They're going to do it with just that sub-par weaponry. All down to the fight. Celsius comes alive.
That's outrageous that Sen keep themselves alive there. It was all set up. Alley-oop for the EG slam dunk, and they couldn't get it across the line. To be honest, though, that doesn't feel like as much of an opportunity wasted compared to what we were looking at previously. Bit rough from Superman there, but it's nice on the flash, and the shots are just so good from Zelsis after he managed to pick up a better weapon. They came into that with double stingers. So all right, Sen keep themselves alive, and EG gonna take an eco, gonna try to build up. They are so close to the Nightfall, to the Rolling Thunder. They're gonna get those online in a rifle round at some point, so they can take this eco. It's not important for them to win round 22.
Money's dodgy on either side, to be honest, with how little players ended up surviving into it. Apoth again disrespectful. Up through the gut into mid. B main still being locked down here by Sen, but it's a re-clear with that fault line. Second, eager to take that fight again inside the cage, and Zelsis has made a sound cue with it. Has to flash and disengage and back away. They're crunching these players onto the site. This is where they're going to be feeling that heat again. Mid-net match. Not quite ships in the night, but a rat-a-tat-tat go to rifles. Rat-a-tat-tat goes the guns. And a flash into the corner. The fake TP will not evade that capture. It's Sentinels here.
भाई comeback लग रहा है हाँ?
Once more in charge of this round, Nature realizing it.
EG को support कर
Like I
fast.
said, Brand, EG do not need to win that round. They would have liked to do some damage, for sure, and keep Sen's economy low, which they didn't really accomplish. But they've now got up to Nightfall. They're 1 away from Rolling Thunder. This is the round for EG to get things across the line and pull off a huge upset in Super Week.
Arguably our biggest one that we've seen.
I mean, mate,
मैं देखो एक फाइनल चीज बोलूंगा, अगर सेन ये राउंड जीता तो कमबैक है. आज के लगा है ऐसे होना चाहिए, ऐसे होना चाहिए. सुपर जेट का आता नहीं, लगाने के लिए बराबर पैसा है. ऐसे होना चाहिए.
Bit of redemption for this stage one for them, I think, as well, with how close they've been to numerous moments of glory.
Double trip setup into market.
Nightfall. Any tags avoided, dodged away. John QT still got all the sound cues available to him here with the trips broken. Tens
bolte.
Don't expect him to be playing that one, but the fire is returned almost immediately.
Apoth's been so sharp today. These players are in on B. Do they realize at all how deep Jorgamo is? Oh, he gets away with it. And yet, still didn't realize where Jorgamo is. Jorgamo might have a clue that he's got the round winning position right in his hands.
Fox independent. So many moments have just come down to these timings right now, here and now. Jorgamo, could he be that difference maker? from behind here.
By
Dizzy,
nature
that is
के
going to be
पास
acknowledged at least and
alt है.
recognized that he is going to be playing into this
Rolling Thunder.
position. What the Sentinels do, Rolling Thunder push them back. The time
बहुत जल्दी मार दिया यार.
is going to be buying them.
Lulin
A bit
Thunder.
more for work with here for EG. They're going to be backing away now in through B main, and a re-clear of market is essential. Mosh pit has to be committed. Jorgamo pushed back away from Pillar with the flash as well. Stands his ground but backs away, and he's still alive here. Full line. It's perfect. And it feels like it's just slowly tightening around them. Sen, they're going to power through this one with brute force at its core. Gunfights need to be won. And all of this comes down to one. Derek, Sassy with a defuse.
ये क्या रिवील था?
But EG have done it.
What a victory for
बाप
Evil
केला.
Geniuses!
Easy बाप
Somehow,
केला.
technically, keeping their season alive in stage
बाप
4.
केला.
Kidding me.
The 0-3 team in Americas comes out after losing a comeback on
बाप
Lotus,
केला
being
दिया.
down 10-2 on Bind. They run it all the way back
Always
and
give
win
it
on
easy
Sunset, taking out
Excuse
some
me?
big maps in Sentinel's pool.
ये सब
To
बातें यहाँ ना
upset the
करे.
Masters Madrid winners. And Nature, he's ready for the fist bumps already.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
like,
Way ahead of him.
yeah.
I mean, this is just a massive, massive step.
भाई देखो ये सब बातें आप मत करो यार. लेकिन जो भी कुछ भी अगर लाइफ में कुछ जीत रहा है, समझ रहे हो? तो तुम लोग मेरे को लव दे सकते हो डायरेक्टली बिना बोले. मैं समझ जाऊंगा.
For them.
And Potter, she talked her smack at the beginning of this. I mean, delivered.
इजी
and
सच में अच्छा खेला.
delivered.
बाप खेला
She
भाई.
is not losing to Kaplan,
बाप
to
खेला.
John, or to Sentinels as a coach. Somehow, though, today, EG believed in this.
Yeah.
The comeback on Bind was absolutely bonkers. But also, the
10-2
individual
comeback
play today
मारा भाई,
was so much better than we've seen from them.
It was all coming together.
10-2.
The fact that we got Jorgamo at the beginning of Lotus, dropping 500 ACS, and Apoth, I mean, Jorg was up and down throughout the series.
Yeah, map 2, he didn't have a great showing, but still.
Apoth was there every time his team needed it.
Absolutely.
Just what a pillar, finding them so many openings here on Sunset. Bind
Yeah,
closing
but
out
they're
every
big
round
now,
in the post plan. And just fragging out the whole time, winning duels against players that you would normally put, favored against him.
And the amount of interviews, that Potter was doing, saying, we
Good
came so
play,
close,
good
we just need to
play,
show our
babe.
potential,
Good
what we
play.
know we can do, and know what we can achieve on
Good
this big
play,
stage. And it
babe.
feels like finally that turning point is there for them.
कोच तो है.
Like you said, all the big picture moments. I mean, Jorgamo having that massive step up, Apoth, massive step up, but everybody, really just pulling their own part here.
Yeah.
And they've managed to overcome the winners of Madrid.
That's a ludicrous upset here in Super Week.
Yeah.
And one of the few games that has felt like there was some contest going on.
Yeah.
Still had such streaky halves to it. A really bizarre match. But it sees Sentinels in a bit of jeopardy.
I think this is a precarious situation for them. I mean, you look at that group, they have a hotly contested group, they have teams that are undefeated, and now that is the second loss for Sentinels. I mean, how that's going to be shaken out, I'm not too sure, but for now, let's celebrate the winners. Let's send it down to Liz, who's down on the stage for the Verizon post-match interview.
मजा आया बे, मजा आया.
Well,
मजा
listen, the
सकते
nervous
मजा आया.
dog may bark
भाई, अभी
first, but
Demon
that
One का
doesn't
मैच
mean
है.
it doesn't have
बाप के ला
bite.
बेजी.
A convincing, incredible performance from EG, and I'm here with Apoth,
क्या
who was a
चौक हुआ? कहाँ चौक
superstar
हुआ
that
बे?
game.
बाप के ला.
Absolutely incredible. Now you're telling me this is the first time
बहुत
you
बाप
have
के ला.
ever you've done an interview and spoken to the
Yeah, it
people.
is.
Would you like to say anything to the people first up?
I'm just
देखो मैं
happy
कहाँ
that everybody came out to watch us, I'm just happy that they came to support. It's a sea of red in the crowd, but,
Well, Sea of Red did not win. You won.
Yeah.
To be very, very clear, I want to talk to you about map 1, where you had that head
सीधा
start, had
mic
that lead,
लेके
and
बोल
you
देते,
guys just
देखो मैं
couldn't
कहाँ हूँ.
convert it into a map win. What was the
बस
conversation
बस
after the map?
शर्म करो
I mean,
शर्म.
map 1 was really close. I think even though we couldn't close it out, all the rounds were really good. So we were very confident the entire time, even when there were
Points
9
table
rounds
check
straight,
करो.
one on their attack side.
EG qualify नहीं कर सकते.
We
मतलब
knew that we
EG
had
को
a shot in all
NRG
those
को भी
rounds.
हराना
So
पड़ेगा.
at no point did we falter.
ऐसे खेला
I
तो
feel
हरा
like,
देगा,
and
लेकिन क्या ये
that's
form
why in
रहेगा
map
तब
2,
तक?
even though we went down 2-10, we were still confident the entire time.
Right, that's my other question for you. Is the
Binks
map
team
2
को
comeback
guy-
was so
excuse me.
intense. How was the morale? What was the conversation after map 2?
हराम
Same thing as map
ज़्यादा.
1. Same thing as map 1. We were down 2-10 on the first half, but
भी
every single
कर रहे
round
हो
we
ना,
felt like we had a fighting
diversity.
chance.
कर लो
Small
यार.
things lost us those rounds, and
कर
we knew
लो.
that if since they 10-2'd us, we could
Sen
10-2
is
them
not
back.
qualifying. Sen will
Yes, I
qualify.
would like. This is kind of
101%.
a more macro question. in the scheme, whether we on the analyst desk or online, there have been plenty of people who have been doubting Evil Geniuses with your performance in kickoff and stage 1. You just defeated the Masters Madrid winners, literal world champions. What do you have to say to that?
I mean, we trusted the process. At no point did I think we couldn't beat them. So it's to be expected. Hopefully the public can believe in us a little more after this game, but yeah, we're gonna continue to work and try to show out for you guys.
Out of curiosity, what do you think that you, what do you guys think you still have to work on after this?
A lot. Every single aspect of the game. You know, we're not perfect. We beat the Masters Madrid winners, but I mean, giants fall sometimes, right? So
giants do fall, and sometimes new giants are made.
Rise.
Exactly. But one last question for you. Potter said the pressure isn't on us. That's what she told me after I talked to her about what Kaplan said. If that's how you play with no pressure, what is EG like when the pressure is on?
We'll have to find out.
We'll have to find out. If you had to make a guess, what do you think?
We're the dogs.
We're the dogs.
Yes, sir.
Woof. Yes, ma'am, but next time, I'm kidding. And I'm asking everyone this, and I want to give you a chance to say, in the rankings of like the America's teams, where would you put EG?
I think we're in the top 5, even though we have to show us 100%.
So something's still to prove, but you believe you are top 5?
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Everyone give it for APOTH. An incredible performance thus far. And we're going to go to the break, but we have NRG versus MIBR. So stay right there.
भाई भूख लगी है यार बहुत ज्यादा। ये भी बीटी है बे वॉच पार्टी का, पता है डिनर मेरा होता है 7-8 बजे पैसिफिक के बाद, उसके बाद साला 6 बजे तक ऐसे ही बैठता हूँ। क्या था इवेंट्स ये मी है, अभी कौन सा है ये मी नहीं रहे, अमेरिकास एनर्जी का मैच है MIBR के साथ, जीत जाएगा। फिर है EG के सामने जो कि सबसे मेन है, और फिर है 100 Thieves के सामने। कुछ भी हो सकता है बे, अमेरिकास और ये मी एक ऐसे कि किधर कुछ भी हो सकता है। पहन लव यू जिंक्स भाई, सॉरी बग्स भाई, लव एक्सक्यूज मी, लव यू यार दिव्यजीत भाई, लव यू। व्हाट डिड आई टेल यू, सीरियसली सो लेट्स गो बेबी। भाई पोर्टर को क्रेडिट दो, कैसे हो सकता है। अभी डीमन वन का मैच है गाइस, मॉड्स वो चेंज कर दो पैटर्न। हमें भी यार का म्यूजिक बेबी। Is it really the same things ended after one map? बोला ही था। हाँ मैं देख के आया रे, कुछ खाने को है क्या? कुछ तो रहेगा लेकिन साला फूड में ढूंढना पड़ेगा।
A NRG, eles montaram meio que o Dream Team do NA, né? Apesar da gente saber que é um time muito bom, a gente vai entrar com a mesma cabeça, focar no nosso jogo e fazer o nosso melhor para poder sair vitorioso.
Oportunidade, acabaram conseguindo fazer o dele. 3 eliminações pro ArtZ, 4 eliminações ArtZ de novo!
MIBR, haven't seen too much of them. They look a lot better than they did last year. Good up for them, but yeah, we're pretty confident in that match, so we just have to play our own game.
Demon 1 caught, knife out, Mark snapping onto 2. The 4th will fall as NRG get to 10.
Eu sinto que a base da NRG já enfrenta times brasileiros há muito tempo, o Marvel, o Crash e o Victor. Então eles já sabem basicamente como que os brasileiros jogam, acho que desde os confrontos deles de antigamente contra a Loud. Mas é sempre um jogo muito bom. Eu joguei também 2 vezes contra eles no ano passado, foram confrontos bem duros. E são jogos que sempre a torcida hypa muito, tipo, o público geral hypa muito, é muito legal de jogar.
Well, welcome back to day 4 of VCT America's Super Week and our second match of the day. I love it.
Every time, man. Every time.
Did you just beat Sentinels?
Huh?
Didn't you just beat Sentinels?
Honestly, that was... Well, let's go ahead and do a little reaction for a minute there. We usually don't, but we kind of have to this time around. Holy crap, that just happened. EG won, and Potter was right.
Yes, Potter just does not lose to Sentinels, Kaplan, or John QT. As a coach. As a coach. Very important coach. That's all that matters.
That's it. I was nuts. Mimi, your reactions from that?
They played amazing. A huge step up from players like Jaw and Apoth today. I think in a fantastic game plan to come back there on Bind. And honestly, there's something about EG, and when they think they're out, just becoming unleashed.
Don't get too high on the cope just yet. But that was genuinely a really good series from them, right? Especially after getting beaten down, because you get so much momentum in that first half of Lotus, and then get smacked down to lose game 1. To be able to bounce back and then do your own comeback into a really solid sunset is amazing.
No, that was wild. That was like literally a movie from start to finish of like a roller coaster of emotions.
Again, this week is upside down. That should have been a stomp game of the week.
The whole week has been crazy, but today I feel like we finally saw the EG that we've been waiting to see this whole time.
It's crazy because usually John QT games are movies, but this was like the end game of movies where all of your favorite characters just died.
Yeah. That was Infinity War. Come on,
okay,
man.
well, I
You're
tried.
So close, dude. You're so close.
Spoiler.
All right, guys. Well, let's go ahead and move on to our next match because we got to get into this one. We'll talk about MIBR first. Now, here's the thing. We were optimistic about this team after kickoff, but the thing is that they have definitely suffered from some one-sided losses that have really, I guess, wavered my confidence in this team, whether or not they can pull off this win today, a la EG.
Yeah, I mean, their last game was against Sentinels, who, as we've seen, is maybe like a top 6 team in the league after...
Maybe top 8.
Yeah, something like... No, but all jokes aside, this was not a great showing from MIBR. I think seeing a lot of mistakes where players are kind of inching up, trying to find timings where they don't really exist, and then getting punished in the late round, even when they have advantages, making some mistakes in how they're playing together and ending up losing a lot of these clutches. It was just a pretty sloppy match from MIBR.
Yeah, 100%. It felt like as a team, they didn't have a solidified plan of the way that they wanted to play. And every single time, it felt like someone was just like, okay, we're losing, I'm going to do a hero play. And it would just never work out for them. MIBR just felt so all over the place when I was watching.
I mean, like, JZZ was so often going off and playing like these solo lurks on the sky, trying to like be able to sell a fake on his own with just like a Skydog. Just the macro ideas on top of kind of those individual mistakes we're talking about weren't up to snuff.
Yeah, well, let's actually find out what's going on in the MIBR camp because we've got Artson standing by with Elizabeth.
Artzine, can I talk to you really quickly? So you
Binks,
moved here all the way
bye.
to LA to participate in Tier 1. How do you cope with your emotions after a rough start to Stage 1?
I mean, it's amazing emotion to be here, to have this opportunity.
और
but
रफ होने वाला
at the
NRG
same time, I'm
सामने.
not happy with my performance right now. I think I could do more for my team and for myself, so I'm working on that as well. So I'm getting at the point that I'll be
मैं
unstoppable.
अभी आते
So
आते मैं क्या
I just
सोच
need
रहा
you
था
guys
पता
to
है
wait and let me prove it, you know.
अभी मैं जाता हूँ सो जाता हूँ, दोपहर को आता हूँ, फुल बूमा
He
मोटर
wants to
करता
prove
हूँ,
himself, and I
क्योंकि
totally,
वैसे भी 2-0
totally
होने
get
वाला
it.
है
And here's the
एनर्जी।
thing, a win isn't
फिर मुझे एक
impossible
मैच याद
today
आया जहाँ
for
पे मैंने नहीं
MIBR.
किया
Of course
स्ट्रीम
not. I mean,
और
you know,
अपसेट हुआ।
one thing
I mean,
we
look
learned
what
from-
just happened.
Literally, like, when we were thinking about this whole thing, we're like, oh, maybe not. But look what happened there, right? So
वो लोग
here's the
जीतेंगे बे
interesting part.
दोनों मैच,
It
इजी है।
happened last year. That's right. RGL, FRC, and JZZ were on that roster, and they took
भाई
down
लेकिन क्या
NRG
रीजन है ना
2-1.
भाई ये
This
मी और
MIBR
But that was
team-
last year.
That was last year.
अमेरिकास
That was last year. But Ender,
कोई भी क्वालिफाई हो सकता है बे,
Yeah,
कोई
I
भी।
mean, I suppose they did. I can roll with this. I didn't realize this is what we were doing, but
history.
Okay. Look, EG are repeating history after a tough early start. I can get behind MIBR beating NRG, I guess.
And I mean, MIBR has been an upset team before. I think in a lot of ways they have also had a
एक बार
better
ये मैं
season
अमेरिकास
thus
का
far than
क्वालिफाइंग
last year even. And
मुझे
even then, this is a team who sometimes
इन
the players
बता
can
दो।
have a game like that. FRC especially. I mean, these are some.
शैंक स्पीड देखो जल्दी। आधा टाइम तो तुम लोग मेरे को स्पीड ही दिखाते रहते।
Team when they play, but come on, man, look what you did to my boy. You didn't have to do that.
What does that have to do with anything?
Why did we just run that? I hope FNS sees this. In any case,
Is this your doing?
No, not my doing. Not my doing. I just listen. I'm just a minion. Okay, I just read commercial breaks. I'm
CHUMMI भैया सही नहीं कहा।
It was
क्या हो गया?
production. You know what? You're going under the bus production.
What do you have against him? He's just chilling at home trying to watch the game with his friends.
Like, he might have been minus 31 there, but he's like plus 30K now. Like, I feel like he's winning.
FNS is my boy. I would never. We love you, buddy. Anyway, all right, well, let's go ahead and move on, though, because MIBR needs a win today to avoid an early elimination in the Omega group. And their strength of schedule coming up is very challenging because you got a G2 who anything could really happen with that team. Cloud9 as well. Like, there's a lot of, roulette that can be played here.
Fellas, this is looking rough.
These are dire straits.
Yeah, they need to win minimum 2 games to even have a chance, and even then, it's a very unlikely situation, seeing as they have been pretty much stomped in both of the games they've been playing.
Especially because I'm only counting 3 games left.
Yeah, they need to win out, and it's very tough opponents left, especially today against NRG.
Yeah, it's going to be a difficult journey for them, without a doubt here. But we're going to go ahead and focus, though, on the NRG lineup because, NRG, we're looking like the team to beat heading into this Super Week. And they, of course, could make a flawless run to the playoffs. But then, unfortunately, Leviathan happened. And, oh, boy, that was quite...
Slappening. I like that.
You like the slappening there?
I mean, it was brutal. Honestly, like, NRG looked really flustered, especially on this map of Bind, because they were just never allowed to plant the spike on their attack. It felt like every time they were trying to do something, 3 players are coming out of smokes, utilities being unloaded on them. It felt like it really just threw off their game.
And a lot of people are being really doomer of NRG out of this, right? Because I think they made a lot of mistakes. On Lotus in particular, round after round, they're trying to contact into A main and falling victim to a lot of these trap plays that Leviathan was setting up. But that is far and away the best Leviathan we have seen. I think that Lotus from them was a masterclass, the way that they were calling on the defense. They did a great job of moving around their Cypher setups, kind of feigning pressure on one side, hiding that strong side, and NRG kept being called into it. Even when they went back into mid-control, the pop plays through the smoke off for Leviathan. They were really ahead of the curve there. So a lot was wrong for NRG, but I still feel like it's hard to rate because Lev is just so good right now.
Yeah, I 100% agree. When we were watching Lev, it was like every single protocol that they had was just so on point. They were so quick to gather as a team and kind of execute every single play.
Sen will qualify. They'll win both the matches.
And on top of that, for me, I genuinely feel like NRG was having more of a bad day than they were having just bad game, bad protocol.
It has to be a combination of everything, right? You're having a bad game, the calls aren't hitting, and your opponent is stepping up to an incredible level. All of those things are true. The question now is how much did they learn from that, and how hard can they bounce back against MIBR? And I'm inclined to think they will.
Well, you got questions? Maybe Elizabeth has answers because she's standing by with
so good at getting
IGL. Ethan, let's see what's going on.
How does she do it?
सब तो 0 पे ही है बे.
Ethan, I'm going to stop you right there. I have a quick question for you, actually. 2-pronged question. 1, what happened against Lev? And 2, how are you approaching the next match as an IGL with comps?
Definitely just played our worst Valorant, I think, I've ever seen. I think these guys have probably ever seen. And, luckily, everything was easily fixable. So, we had one day to fix it, and I think we're going confident for this game.
All right,
मैच इंटरेस्टिंग नहीं होगा फिर शायद मेरे को नहीं लगता ये वाला
We'll
इंटरेस्टिंग
see what
होगा
those adjustments are that NRG makes. I have no doubt in my mind that Ethan and the team have a plan, but there has been a lot of online discourse regarding one individual. As always, we love discourse. Demon One, and there's been discussion regarding Demon One playing the Raze role when, of course, you have Victor on the team, who's one of the best Razes to touch the agent. So now the question is, like, do you feel like that is justifiable to a degree? But at the same time, though, like, maybe it just fits their plan. Right? This is what they want to do moving forward.
So I think both things are true. Again, going back to the point that that was just an overall horrible match for NRG. And
People have bad days.
The Raze on that was a part of that. I think when you watch him play the agent, a lot of the ideas he's setting himself.
That I think so. कल्टी मारना पड़ेगा bro. I think so. दुनिया जाए MC Jinx by OP. Excuse me. That I think कल्टी मारना पड़ेगा क्योंकि है ना कल का दिन बहुत बड़ा है कल EMA के बाद ही अमेरिका है तो 8:30 बजे से लेके सुबह के 7 बजे तक स्ट्रीम होने वाली है 12 घंटे और उसके बाद मेरे को रूटर भी करना है मैं अभी रूटर नहीं कर पाऊंगा क्योंकि मैं सोया ही नहीं हूँ समझ रहे हो बीबीएल वाला सीन ना हो जाए भाई इम्पॉसिबल है भाई एनआरजी हारना इम्पॉसिबल है इम्पॉसिबल है हाँ वैसे भी चल रहा है ना स्ट्रीम चल रहा है मेन चैनल पे देखते हैं ना थोड़ा रेस्ट लेना पड़ेगा रे मतलब हर दिन मैं ऑलमोस्ट 1 महीने से 3-3 4-4 घंटा सो रहा हूँ तो थोड़ा रेस्ट लेना पड़ेगा वरना सीन हो जाएगा यार मेन चैनल पे देखते हैं मैं भी प्रॉमिस कर रहा हूँ मैं देखने वाला हूँ पहला मैप तो मैं देखने वाला हूँ दूसरा मैप तक मैं सो जाऊँ शायद बट पहला मैप मैं देखने वाला हूँ ठीक है चलो मारते कल्टी मारते थैंक यू फॉर वॉचिंग द स्ट्रीम गाइस बाय बाय थैंक यू फॉर द सपोर्ट लव यू मिलते हैं चटकते हैं ठीक है ऑफिशियल चैनल पे आ जाओ देखते हैं साथ में और 20 एनर्जी समझ रहे हो 100% 20 100% चलो हेल्थ प्रायोरिटी फर्स्ट हाँ यार चलो बाय थैंक यू एवरीबॉडी बाय थैंक यू बाय
Chance concealing what deep down I felt for you. Oh, I regret for losing the one who loved me.